You're listening to the best Radio VPS.
Yo, this is Heavy Kevy from Insanity Alert, and you're listening to Metal-O-Mania.
This is Patrick.
Mike, Max, Cody, and we're Hangman's Park, and you're watching
Metal-O-Mania! Hi, Billy Mays here, and have I got a special offer for you? Have you been down and out and losing your faith in humanity? Well, we have the cure right here. It's called
Metal-O-Mania.
In search of Sasquatch, that was a kick-ass in search of, with Leonard Nimoy kicking out the jams.
Messing with Sasquatch.
Alright, I already killed me fucking two. Now I found a fucking third one. It's a big cocksucker. Look at that motherfucker. It's a big fucking Sasquatch. Holy shit.
I'm a fucking mermaid.
Holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that?
The Jersey Devil. Is it a kangaroo-like creature with the head of a goat, horse, or dog? Most agree that it has wings, hooves, horns, and a tail. Where does it come from? Many describe a dragon-like creature. Or does it walk on two legs like others have reported? Some say it can fly. Legends say it has been killed. It supposedly once survived a cannonball blast. It emits a blood-curdling scream. It may be a pterodactyl. It can die and come back. It's almost certainly demonic. It's murdered its own human mother and some midwives moments after its birth before flying up a chimney. It has a NHL hockey team named after it. There's a good chance it worked as a roadie on Bruce Springsteen's Darkness tour in the summer of 1978.
That's crazy talk.
This is the Crypt, and it's time to find your happy place. Light a stogie, pour a stiff one, and let's fucking party.
Hey Metalheads, I'm Skully, and this is Metal-O-Mania on Radio VPS.
Oh, you got a lot to lose, and that is if you miss out on Metal-O-Mania tonight.
Fuck yeah.
Welcome to the show. Ooh. Little Suicidal Tendencies to kick us off tonight. Brand new Suicidal Tendencies, by the way. Brand new EP from them coming out on March 9th. That's their sneak peek. They've just put out for you to check out. Nothing to lose. And no better way to start the show, right?
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And welcome to our panel tonight.
Love it.
I got an awesome
Full
panel
house.
for you tonight. We got a full house. Of course, you got me and Skully here, but check it out. There's a Layla sighting.
Yeah, we're old hat now.
Yeah, I know. You're here. Yesterday's chicken. But Kenny is here. Welcome to the show, Mr. Kenny.
All
Finger
right.
of Doom.
Thanks.
Our Doom man is here. And you guys are here to talk cryptozoology with us tonight, aren't you?
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Excited about it.
It's going to be fun.
Awesome topic.
That's what the show is going to be about tonight is cryptozoology, the study of, is it real? The animals that people believe in that most people don't believe,
It is not the study of the crypt.
Well, I don't know.
Cryptozoology.
The crypt is only rumored at this point, not necessarily. There's rumors that wherever he's been, there's like a slight air, smell of marijuana somehow in the air.
A skank is in the air of some sort.
Right.
He's been here.
Lots of rib bones left behind somehow, but actual sightings are few and far between. So, but I'll tell you, cryptozoology is what the show is going to be about tonight. But before we get to what the show is going to be about, let's get to a couple things that the show will definitely not be about tonight.
Oh, Lord. Here we go.
Uh-oh.
I know, and many of you probably argued all day today on your Facebook about politics.
Yeah.
We are not going to talk about the State of the Union. We're going to talk about the State of Metal tonight. The State of Metal address is what we're going to get into. Politics, go somewhere else for that shit. So the show's not about that.
Because the Metal Union is in great shape right now. I mean, it's fucking awesome.
Well, yeah.
Metal
Already more than I want to know about it. What were you going to say, dear?
I was going to say I'm actually fairly proud of my friends. I have not seen a bunch of ranting on my Facebook news feed about either the State of the Union or apparently Bernie was going to give some kind of response. I haven't seen anything.
Well, you
on
have
my
better
newsfeed.
friends than I do.
I'm proud of you guys. I really am. I have to say.
Yeah.
If you did have something to say about it, you either took it somewhere else or just for some reason the Facebook algorithm has not put you on my newsfeed. So
thank the
Either way.
algorithm for that.
Right.
Mine has been nothing but feuding back and forth.
Really?
Well,
And
Facebook knows you like to fight, so.
Well, I used to, honestly, I used to engage in a lot of it. I really don't any longer for several reasons. One, you'll never change anyone's mind.
Not once.
I don't
No.
care
Not a
how
single
great your
time.
argument is. You can break out graphs, you can break out drawings, you can, show measurements on
You
the end
could
of your
be
dickhead.
right.
Bring out
You can be
scientific
right,
papers,
right. Facts
I
don't
mean,
matter,
yeah.
right? So
Doesn't matter.
it's a waste of time to have that argument for one, and for two. Honestly, it's my belief, and I'm going to say more than I want to usually say. This is all I'm going to say on it.
So after we're not going to talk
After we're not going to talk
politics.
about it, yeah. This is what the
Here
show's
we go.
not about tonight. Right, left, whatever. They all suck, man. They all suck. I'm
Oh,
sorry. they all
thank you.
suck.
All right, yeah, I
They all
totally
suck.
agree with that.
Right.
I've lost faith in 100% of all of them.
right.
No confidence.
The day you wake up and say this politician's got my back is the
No.
day you need to have your head examined. In my opinion.
Absolutely.
No.
Yep.
But that's all we're going to say on politics. The show tonight is not about that.
Yeah.
The show tonight is also not about the lady today that tried to bring a pelican on an airplane as her safety
Lord.
animal.
Jesus Christ, what is wrong with people?
What the fuck
I missed
is wrong
that
with
one.
people?
What happened?
As her,
Since we're not going to talk about it.
She's got anxiety.
Well, that's
so she
anxiety,
needs,
right? These are the things the show's
you know,
not about
a
tonight,
pet.
right?
Yeah.
So is this her service animal?
Her
I guess?
service animal, right?
Okay.
Her claim was that the pelican was her emotional safety net animal or whatever the
Right.
fuck, which is
Where
a
do you
trend in
get
this
a
country all of a
pelican?
sudden, right?
Yeah, was it well trained? Was it trained? I mean, how did it behave?
No. In fact, there's footage of her bringing it into the airport, and the thing is losing its shit.
Well, I would imagine it's
Wouldn't
shitting
you?
too because they don't control their shit. You can't teach a bird to shit somewhere.
Right,
It's just
right.
gonna shit.
Right?
I
It's
mean,
amazing.
Fucking ridiculous.
It's fucking ridiculous. Well,
They're big birds too. I mean, they're not tiny. What was she? Was she
not a-
carrying
no,
it?
yeah,
What
it was
she doing?
huge.
Was
Yeah,
it on a
she was
leash?
trying to carry it and bring it in with luggage and everything. Well, and it does bring to me many a question. And starting of which, fuck you and your service animal thing. Unless you're blind. If you're blind and you have a dog that's up, totally get it. Totally right on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you have, you're sad and you need a fucking puppy in your pocket, fuck you, man. Grow up. Am I wrong
When
with
I
this?
was a kid, we didn't have puppies to take with us everywhere.
Right. Your dog stayed at home, and you played with it when you got there.
And it
we
stayed
went,
outside.
And we went out,
And
and we
during
were
the-
traumatized as fuck when we left the house, and it was
Yeah.
You dealt
it was
with it.
hard, and it
Yeah.
built up character.
Right.
And look at us now. We're awesome.
You know, I get invited to be on radio shows.
Yeah, right. Well, why is your emotional whatever it is more important than the fact that I don't want a fucking dog in my restaurant I'm eating at and
I
a
don't-
fucking pelican on the plane?
Yeah, I don't want a pelican on the
grocery
plane.
store.
What about my fucking
I wouldn't
safe
mind the
zone?
dog. The pelican would be a bit much, though.
Yeah, well, dude, if I'm sorry, I love animals, but if I'm eating at a restaurant, I don't want your dog next to my food and all that shit. I'm not down with that.
Right? I guess it depends on the dog. My dogs, they sit next to me at the dinner table, so I mean.
Yeah, right. Well, that's you and your dog's relation. I don't know your dog like that. You know what I'm
I
saying?
love dogs. I love your dog
That's
too.
a stranger dog to me.
I
don't
love
wanna-
your dogs. I love your dogs. I love your dogs.
I'll tell you
Yeah, I
what.
don't like
Even
it.
I was at a fantasy football draft years ago, and there was a girl there, and I won't put her name out or whatever, but people who were there will know what I'm talking about. But she was had a glass of milk and a hot dog, and she was sharing the milk and the hot dog with her dog.
Oh my
no,
God, I
no.
remember that. It was
Milk.
Have you
dude,
seen people?
Milk.
Have you seen people share their ice cream cones with their dogs?
Yeah.
So I can't.
dude. It was a hot
No
dog,
way.
and they went bite for bite on the same end.
Yes. That's too much, right? Is that
Yeah,
too much?
absolutely.
sharing?
Well, I mean, quite frankly, milk is a little gross to me anyway.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't
Yeah.
drink
Yeah.
cow tit juice.
Yeah, I don't
Sharing
drink
milk,
either.
especially.
I don't drink, but yeah, backwash.
Ugh.
We don't even
Yeah,
want to think
no,
about it.
no,
I
no.
wouldn't share a glass of water
Why
with a
don't
dog.
you just tongue kiss your dog at that point, right? I mean, what's the difference?
I had a friend who used to do that with beer all the time. He had a kegerator at home, and he would do the pint, and he would let his and he would.
Oh yeah, no. I'm cool with giving your dog its own beer.
Its
If
own
your
beer,
dog
yeah,
likes
but no,
beer,
he
give
was
him his
drinking
own
the same
Pour it
thing.
in
I
a
mean, the tongue was
bowl.
going down in there and everything.
Right. Well, these are the things the show's not about tonight.
Clearly.
Well, I'm glad we got it out of the way.
Right, exactly. And another thing the show will not be about tonight, and this one's painful for me. It will not be about the new Machine Head release, Catharsis. Have you guys gotten a chance to check it out?
No. Why won't it be about that?
Because it is awful. I'm sorry. I tried.
yeah.
I tried, you guys. I tried. To
Yeah.
our friend on the board on Facebook that brought it up and asked about it, I tried for you to
Yeah.
have your back that it was a good. It's fucking awful.
Sometimes you got to be honest, you know.
Dude. There's shots of it where it's like trying to be new metal, I think, in spots. The lyrical content is literally, in my opinion, borderline a joke. This is my opinion. You're welcome to love whatever you love. I don't give a fuck what you
Yeah.
love. my personal opinion. And dude,
So calm down.
and there's an anti-drug song on it called Triple Beam, where the chorus is, "That's what you get if you base your life around the triple beam." Nobody's used a fucking triple beam since Reagan was in the White House. What the fuck are we talking?
Yeah.
It's 2018.
Right,
Does anyone know what a triple beam is?
I had to
Say,
struggle to remember.
Nobody younger than me does.
Am I too young for that? I don't know what I'm a little older
it's a
than
scale.
you, I think. But
It's a scale, right? Triple
Remember in
beam
science
scale.
class?
Used to have in science class.
Yeah.
Well, in my era, we had them in science class. I'm sure they don't even now. You know.
Yeah, yeah. It's all digital now. They just.
An anti-drug song in 2018 called Triple Beam, man. I'm not kidding you. I'm not joking. That's for real. It's a shit album. I'm sorry. I'm a fan of Machine Head. I like Machine Head. I'm on the record with this.
Isn't that so disappointing when a band comes out with something you want to love it?
Yes,
You really you
you
try
do,
and you
man.
try. That
You
happened
do.
to me recently. The Electric Wizard. I try. I just I'm gonna go
not
back
good.
and try it again. I don't like it.
I think I got over the wanting to try to love something about about 5 or 6 years ago when like the third album in a row of bands that I thought were really good
Yeah.
came out with something.
Suffer.
I was like, maybe I'll get used to it. I'm like,
Right.
no, I don't have to. I don't
Right.
have
You know,
to. It's okay
eventually-
if they put out something I don't like.
Right.
Yeah.
Some of them will overcome it. In my opinion, Megadeth put out 4 albums in a row that were terrible, and then it's not coming to me, but Dystopia. Dystopia was great. I thought great Megadeth
A
album.
comeback. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a great comeback album. Right.
Yeah. Well,
You
Maiden
know.
kind of did that as well too.
Right.
I'm kind of
Yeah,
an
right,
old
exactly,
Maiden guy and everything.
exactly.
They came back in 2000 with Brave New World, and it was just a
Right,
it was a
fantastic.
return to grace,
Right.
really.
Well, and I know I'm going back a ways, but Judas Priest survived Turbo, so you know.
Yeah, everybody goes through. I mean, it happens. So
Well, Black Sabbath had a great comeback album too. I mean, it goes. So.
All right. Well, these are things the show tonight will not be about.
like
Right.
that. Just like that.
Right. The guys at Sanctum Defile wanted to correct you that it's a peacock.
Oh,
It
it's a
was-
peacock.
It was a peacock,
okay.
which is even fucking worse.
Even worse.
I mean, but at least it makes more sense because I was wondering what, like, the pelican came kind of out of left field, but everybody loves peacocks.
Wait.
these
Did you
days.
just say a peacock makes more sense?
Yes, because peacocks are
In what
trendy.
way?
Peacocks are trendy right now.
Oh,
they really are. Yeah.
Male or female? It had to be a male, right?
It would have to be
That
a male
thing
to
is
get
like
the plumage.
10
yeah.
feet tall when
Yeah.
it spreads out.
But
its
they
feathers
are
and all
very
that.
in, absolutely very in right now. Everybody on my friends, the ladies anyway, love peacocks.
Well, of course.
Okay, who knew?
Just like
Wow.
our board censored peacock. He couldn't
They
even
just
write
love
peacock.
You
cock.
can't write
I
peacock.
think
What?
Yeah.
all the ladies
The
just
board-
love
Peacock.
cock. Yeah.
Peacock.
We can
That sounds
say
like
it all
that
we
sounds like a
want,
little
but-
dick. A peacock.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a he had
It's
a
a wee little peacock.
He had a wee
in there.
peacock. He just had a wee peacock.
Women are not obsessed with that.
That's what we were talking about anyway, really.
I went home with him. I was all excited. He pulled out a little bit of weecock. He did.
Little wee peacock.
Little peacock.
It's all right though. It was pretty.
I was like, that's all right then. That's rubbish.
It made her calm down. She was less anxious with her peacock.
With her peacock. Well, she needs to suck a real cock and get over that shit because fuck me in a church.
Yeah,
That
not
is
on the same
crazy.
plane as me.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
not
sorry.
nice.
You know, that thing goes crazy on the plane I'm on. Who knows what happens?
But it's going to shit. I'm telling you, it's going
Yeah,
to
it's gonna
shit.
shit.
It's
I don't want
most
to smell your
definitely going
animal
to
shit
shit on the.
because
Yeah.
you
Absolutely
have
will.
emotional problems.
And it's going to be a big shit because that's a big bird. My uncle years ago was riding a bicycle and he got shit on by this like big beach bird. I don't know what it was, like a herring or something, a big bird. I mean, he said it was hot.
Herons are big. Herons are big.
And
Yeah.
it's just like all over. Yeah, it's not
Herons are-
not a trivial thing. It's not like a little sparrow
Right,
on your
it
windshield.
ain't a pigeon.
Oh my
we ain't
God.
talking pigeon shit here.
Yeah. Herons are roughly comparable to the size of peacocks,
Right,
so I can
yeah,
imagine.
big body produces a lot.
Yeah.
Fuck me, fuck me.
Oh, that's gross.
Yeah, again, all of those things.
We won't be talking about
We
bird
won't be
shit
talking
at
about
all tonight.
Metal-O-Mania.
I guarantee it'll come up again.
Oh,
They're
well, we
gonna-
will get to
Sure it
shit.
will.
We'll be talking about shit throughout the night. There's, shit's a part of the
There's
evidence
shit
for
going
sure.
on.
Absolutely.
Right?
Where's the scat?
We have,
Bring me the
we
scat.
have scat.
That's
right?
right. Scat. Little scat. I know it exists because I saw some scat.
Do you want to take a moment actually and talk about what we got going on behind us here tonight? The moon,
the moon. It is the
tonight.
Oh
moon
yes,
tonight.
yes,
Sure.
we have the moon. We have a
Spectacular,
really
guys.
awesome. We have. Oh, hang on. It's a super blue blood lunar eclipse.
Right.
Right?
Okay.
And when was the last time this happened? Like 100 and some years ago or something? I forget. It was a long
Well,
time
that it
ago.
happened all at the same time.
Yeah, that
is
all
pretty
of
impressive.
them happened at the
But
same
if it's
time.
going to be an eclipse, how can it have the blue and red colors? Because there's no sun.
Well, their color, it's not. It doesn't actually change color at all. It's the blue is actually named for an old English
having
word.
2 moons, two full,
In the
two full
same-
moons in the same month. The second one is a blue moon. The blood moon comes from the fact that it's a lunar eclipse because the red color is from the Earth's shadow on the moon.
So it
that's
filters
what
out, and so only the red spectrum gets through or something.
exactly.
Right.
Yeah. So that's why.
Well, and we're in here missing
so
it.
go look at the moon. Go look
when-
at the moon right now.
When's it going to be
right
at,
now.
its, at its peak? You know?
Actually, at 4:30
right
this
now.
morning.
Right. Yeah. Okay. but
Yeah,
it's still
in
really
our
pretty.
area, at least at 4:30 this
Coming?
morning.
Right.
No.
This morning.
Yeah.
That's when.
But
that's
still,
when it'll
be amazing.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Leading up to and.
So while you're listening to Metal-O-Mania tonight, check out the moon.
Go take
It's
your
super
laptop
because
or
it's
your
super
phone
close.
or something. Yeah, it's
Right.
And you
it's
know-
It's
at its
super
closest.
close.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
at its very closest. Yeah.
Werewolves are cryptids.
Right,
technically.
exactly.
Yes.
And these would
Yeah.
be the ideal conditions for it.
They'll definitely
Exactly.
be out tonight.
Yes, they will.
So-
Yeah. If-
Cryptozoologists will definitely be out there
So
looking
go
for
take your
werewolf proof
laptop or
tonight,
your phone
yeah.
or whatever next to the window so you can look at the moon and you can keep an eye out for werewolves
Right.
too.
Right.
One of us might be a werewolf.
I'll make a standing offer right now for Metal-O-Mania. If you got any kind of proof of any of these cryptids we talk about tonight, I will fly you here. I'll do whatever I got to do to get here and host a show with me, and we'll talk about your evidence all night long right here on the show.
Yeah, especially if it's a werewolf. I would definitely
Oh,
wanna see
especially if
that.
it's a werewolf.
Fuck yeah.
And if you need
I'll be
proof
here
of
for
that,
that one.
just come to my house later. Okay.
That's a bold offer. You might get somebody to take you up on that.
Coming
you
to
know?
my
I mean,
house?
yeah, you're going to get a lot of,
Yeah, let's go.
crazy pictures and shit.
Oh, I'd love to, man. We haven't seen. The crazier you are, the better, man. If I can get you in here and everybody at home is like, "What the fuck is wrong with this guy?" Come on, I'll talk to you.
Yeah.
That's why he drags us in here.
Oh,
Hey,
seriously.
like Suicidal Tendencies just said, I got nothing to lose. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
no doubt.
Right.
And this all started because of an album that you wanted to like but didn't like. I think this whole.
Yes. Well, yeah. I mean, it got me thinking. You know, the machine head thing. Just, you know, I'm very upset about it, man. You don't know. I'm very upset. I'm very upset.
You know.
It can be
I'm very
heartbreaking.
upset.
Well,
Oh, and
let's
also,
hear something
oh, well,
you
no,
do
hold
like.
up. Jeff Hanneman, though. Jeff Hanneman's birthday is today, by the way. Slayer, Jeff Hanneman.
Okay.
You know.
Yep.
Happy
So-
birthday.
What was I going to say? Oh, we're going to play some Slayer tonight. In tribute not only to that, of course, but the talk that this upcoming Slayer tour is going to be their last tour.
Oh.
Which is another thing that I'm getting really sad all of a sudden.
All good things have to come to an
What
I
the
mean, they're
fuck?
all. Why? Because bands like.
You know,
Yeah.
we're a little heartbroken over here.
I really am. But we love Slayer. But you know what's funny is, I would like to open up a poll. We're going to get to all this shit. This is the last off-topic thing. But I want to start a poll with you guys early. Somebody start a poll for me on the Facebook group. I'm playing Angel of Death tonight from Slayer. And we've been doing the show. This is our 66th episode. I've never played Angel of Death. And there's a reason, honestly. Sometimes things are obvious. Almost too obvious. So over the course of I've never played Master of Puppets. I feel like it's too obvious a Metallica choice. I've never played Peace Cells, you know. But it got me thinking, and this is the poll I would like to see is, you know, you can go into lots of record stores and see the sign that says no Stairway to Heaven, no Freebird, no, you know, the songs that are just overplayed, Rock and Roll by Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
You know, you're not allowed to play those songs because they've been played to death. Yeah. What are ours? What are ours as metalheads? What is our own personal list of, man, fuck you? Yes, great song. Not saying it's not a great song.
But done with
awesome.
it.
But
Yeah.
done with it.
Right.
You know, for me, Peace Cells probably makes that list. You know, most of mine are probably thrash songs like Practice What You Preach. I kind of never want to hear that one again. Great song. Loved it. But I'm done with it. You know, a lot of Metallica songs. Master of Puppets, I probably would say I'm pretty done with.
Yeah.
And honestly, till tonight, Slayer's Angel of Death. I mean, I pulled it out tonight because it felt like I had to play it eventually.
I wonder what
Sometimes
they'll come
it's
up
so
with.
obvious that you got to play it eventually.
Well, especially if you're trying to bring new music and stuff. There's so much new music to cover that, you know,
Right.
it kind of takes up the space. You're like, can I go back to something everybody
You
knows?
especially don't want to do the opposite.
Right. Well, you know, we play one old school song every week. You know, we go for one back in the day song every single week.
But you want one that's going to be exciting.
Right, exactly.
You know?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that you hear it and go, oh, fuck, I haven't heard that in a long time. That's cool. Instead of, oh, my God, fucking.
Yeah, not
For
this
whom the
again.
bell tolls, fuck me.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, why?
Right. Why? Not again. Right. So, who was our list? Let's see. You know, talk to Scully on the chat board right now throughout the show. Let us know.
Let me know what
What
you
are the
think.
metal songs that you love them, but you're done? You're done. Never want to hear them again. Had enough. And while you think of that, and while you gear up to hear all of us talk about the actual things we're going to talk about tonight, cryptozoology, starting in our next break, let's play a song. And for it, let's go to Brazil, man, a sophomore album from the dudes in Crucifa. Dude, I'm going to tell you what, they got a groove thrash thing going. I fucking love it. You're going to love it too. FOMO off of Inhuman Nature. Check it out right now. Badass jam. Stay with us. I believe that's pronounced a-hole on our list, right? Is that a-hole? A-hole.
I've always pronounced it a-hole.
Well, you know what's funny?
Nobody knows I'm talking about him when I say that.
I'm confirmed.
As soon as I say a-hole, they all know I'm talking about him.
I have absolutely
That's hilarious.
proved that a-holes exist. That's a whole different show we did.
Proven it.
But yeah, man, that was
so many responses.
But none of us disagreed.
I was going to say.
I'm going to pull out my
Got me there.
Rarely do people open the door and invite me to tear them down that hard.
Did I just invite you into my asshole?
To tear it down.
I think you did, actually, yes. To tear it down.
Well, you're an inhospitable guest.
That's why he loves you so much.
I do love you, Layla, very much.
That's why I kept my mouth shut.
But that was Crucifa from Brazil. Crucifa from
Yes,
Brazil.
badass. Very badass.
Oh, you know what? When we have, I missed my cue. I'm sorry.
Swear to fuck.
I
I threw this much of the show out the window.
I know. I'm sorry. I got distracted. We have our other friends from Brazil with us on the chat board. Broken and Boned.
Yes, indeed. Much love to you guys, man. Awesome.
Hello.
Awesome.
Yes, yes.
So stay with us tonight because we're going to play some Broken and Bones
You
tonight,
guys
man.
will love it.
Yes.
It's pretty exciting.
New album from them guys, too.
Yep.
Killer.
Right?
And
From
they're
Brazil.
laughing. They like Kurt No Brains, by the way.
Kurt No Brain.
Mm-hmm.
He's, look, what you got, it's lifelike, too, because check it out. Big ass fucking hole in the back of his fucking head.
Nice.
Too soon.
Whoa. Whoa.
It was, no, it wasn't too soon.
Yeah, right?
It was understood.
But he is a confirmed existing animal.
Yep.
As are 2 out of the 4 of us up here. You'll have to guess which ones those are. The other 2 are completely speculative at best right now. Of the 4 of us that you're looking at,
You can do great things
2
with
of us
green
are
screen,
holograms.
right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Holograms are a bitch these days. But Kenny and Layla and Skully, have you guys heard of my a-hole?
I watched the show. Of course I have.
Every time we're not quite ready for it, you know.
Oh, you know, that's going to throw me off track for just a second. My mother-in-law finally watched the show, apparently, part of the show.
Hi, Mom.
And her entire walking away opinion is the entire show's about my dick.
Yeah.
And it really isn't.
At which point I knew she really had watched the show. She wasn't just saying that. I was like, see, she cares.
Damn it.
What were you doing inviting your mother-in-law to watch the show? I mean,
She was like, I want to support
You know what
guys,
happens
but I'm
on
not
here?
really sure it's like for your mother-in-law.
That's really
Yeah.
sweet. I like, it's not even about the show, but I told my mom about my band. My mom doesn't like heavy music at all, and she was asking me about it, and I said, Mom, don't bother.
Right.
Yeah.
You're not
I
gonna
love
like
you,
it.
but
It's not
please.
for you.
Right.
I don't want people not liking my music, so please don't.
it's not for you.
My mother tried this show once for about 5 minutes, and she was like, you said the word F like 5 times in 5 minutes.
I
You
raised
made
you
a
better.
joke about bringing pussy, getting pussy, and you were talking about a cat.
I was talking
you were
about a
literally
cat.
talking about
Right.
a cat.
Oh, yeah, you know what? That's right. A
was a-
listener of ours had sent us in pictures. Apparently, her cat, when our show comes on, her cat sits in front of the computer and is rapt with attention and watches our show.
As it should be, because
Right,
cats are metal as fuck.
Exactly. And all I said was, and many people out there told me when we started a metal
See where
show,
this
I
is
wouldn't be
going?
able to attract pussy.
I was, yeah, see? We all saw it was going there.
But it was still funny,
it
even
was
though
funny.
you saw it coming a mile away. It's
It's
like,
all
oh,
right.
you got me.
It was
That's
a
a
little
good
train
one.
track coming at you. But
But that was her one shot at the show.
yeah,
and
and
she
she was
said,
like, no, one pussy
But I'm
joke
actually
too many.
kind of glad that was what she heard, because it could have been
Because
so
it really
much
was about a
worse.
cat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Right.
That's the
You
one
know.
time that it wasn't actually about.
Pussy.
Yeah.
If she'd
Right.
watched the fetish show, we
Or
would have been
so
in
much
trouble.
worse, right?
Yeah, okay.
Exactly.
Speaking of which, I posted a clip from the fetish show. People were like, that shit is hilarious.
That
Well,
was,
it was.
I think you may have caught the funniest moment of the show, honestly. I was
It was.
cracking up
Yeah.
watching that again. I was like, oh my God, I forgot about that.
Well, and as we embark on our cryptozoology show tonight, you should know, if you're a new viewer to Metal-O-Mania, we don't often do this, and we especially shied away from it during the holidays, but we do occasionally like to do an episode where we tackle a certain topic and bullshit about it all night. We have done serial killers. We have done nightmares. Layla was here for the nightmare episode. Kenny came in once, and we talked about Satan all night, which was a fun episode.
Absolutely.
We've done scary movies. We've done conspiracy theories, unsolved mysteries, all
that's
kinds of
right.
cool stuff. So if you're interested in checking out some of those episodes, get into our archives. Check them out. They're a lot of fun.
Awesome.
And tonight is about cryptozoology, and perfectly in line with the way we do things around here, we're going to kick it off with my a-hole.
He's not kidding.
I'm not kidding.
Really not. I'm looking at his notes. It says a-hole right there.
A-H-O-O-L.
Yep.
I'm probably saying it wrong, but who gives a shit, right?
I really do think it's pronounced ahul, but
Ahul.
I think that's more likely.
Well, what
I'm
it
gonna
is.
start calling your anus that
ahul.
from now on. We're gonna talk about Crypt's ahul.
Yeah, it'll catch on. Everybody's like, man, that guy's a real ahul.
Can you tell I'm winking if I'm wearing glasses? Okay.
Not really.
No.
But you can talk dirty to me now in public without like the kids getting offended.
Can I?
Yeah, with that.
Oh,
yeah.
I can talk about a-hole.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
yeah, that's true.
I
Our
love
kids
your
hate us.
ahul.
Our
I
kids
think
hate
they'd figure
me.
that out pretty fast.
Yeah, our kids are adults. They're going to
Yeah.
see through that shit in a second.
So you're gonna try to spell it
Right.
in you know, like
Sure, it's a cryptid, Dad. Sure it is. Fuck you. Okay.
Sorry, Will.
A-hole, though, the other a-hole, is a carnivorous bat. Apparently, a man-sized bat.
wow.
I see a picture of it earlier, and it's similar. It reminds me in a lot of ways to like a Mothman.
I was gonna say it sounds like a Mothman.
Right,
Yeah, because a giant bat kind of thing.
But except it's a mammal, so it's not an insect like a
Well,
moth.
the
would have a bunch of-
Mothman is said to be a mammal version of a moth, correct?
Right.
Oh, really? I don't
no,
know.
Mothman is like a bird size. Excuse me, a man-sized bird.
Bird,
Yeah,
right.
they believe that
Right.
it's sightings have reported feathered wings. So,
Right.
but
They
huge,
believe
of course.
who's they? Like, where is this?
This
Right,
is
there's
in
a lot
West,
of they. We're gonna
Yeah.
This is
refer
in
to a
West
lot
Virginia.
of they and them.
They are
tonight.
gonna prove everything tonight.
Right. This is in. I forget the name of the town, West Virginia. Someone
Right,
call get
right.
on the chat board and tell me the name of the town in
Yeah,
West
right.
Virginia.
I remember.
forget.
There was a
That
Richard
sounds
Gere
like
movie
a cool
about it.
creature. Yeah, exactly. That was a cool movie, but I didn't
Right.
realize it was based on a real
Oh,
myth
yeah.
or
No,
something.
Based
Yeah,
on a
it
real
is, yeah.
creature.
Yeah.
It was
a real
originally.
myth.
Cryptid. A real
cryptid,
well,
yeah.
a cryptid, right?
Yeah. Originally seen by. Oh God, I had all of these facts the last time I was on this show.
I know, I was
It's
hitting
gone
you.
out of my head.
Well,
Yeah,
just so
anyway.
you know out there, if you don't already, a cryptid is what the cryptozoologists refer to as the animals in question, basically. You know, a Bigfoot is a cryptid.
An
a
unproven
Loch Ness
animal,
monster,
basically.
right. And it's really funny because if you go story by story, a lot of them remind you of other ones. You know, there's probably 50 of them that are different versions of a Loch Ness monster that
yeah.
are in different waters.
Right.
You know, areas, bodies of water.
We
across
have one in the
world, and-
Chesapeake Bay in Maryland.
Right.
We have Chessie.
Bessie, right?
Chessie. Yeah,
Chessie,
Chesapeake
right.
Bay monster.
Right. So they're pretty spread out, but there's a lot of bird men. There's a lot of fucking, crazy reptile men type of things. There's a lot of that shit.
Yeah, we have the goat man.
A lot of
Yeah,
ape
goat man.
versions.
Yeah.
Ape versions, of course. Skunk ape here and there.
Yes,
And different parts of
yes.
the country, it kind of goes by different things. But
And a lot of things that seem to be different variations of different animals stuck together.
Yeah.
What's interesting to me is I didn't realize certain animals, like a unicorn, is a cryptid. Did you know that?
Mm-hmm.
I assumed that was purely a fantasy.
Like a myth.
Yeah, no.
Mythical.
Right.
It's believed that the original sightings of unicorns were either simply mistaken, like they saw them at the wrong angle, or actually malformed, like antelope type creatures, like the antelopes
Well,
that have the long horns that stick straight
yeah.
backwards in their from their
that's
head going this
possible.
way.
But there is
so
a sea
like-
creature, the narwhal, I believe is what it's called. The
Yeah.
narwhal, and it has a long, horn off.
Yeah.
It's a real thing.
And I think that's where the myth of unicorns being in the sea came from, because you'd see them coming out and all you see these giant
Yeah.
long
With the
horns.
horn.
Yeah.
So one large. It's a unicorn horn. I mean, it looks exactly
It really
like
is,
it. Yeah.
That's wild.
It's really cool looking too.
My
actually.
question has always been, why do girls love so much the unicorn? Why is it something about a horse with a dick on its head? What is it?
What
is
did you
it?
You just answered your own question,
Oh, I
dude.
did, didn't I?
Come
I
on.
totally did, didn't
And
I?
it flies.
Well, no, that's
that's a Pegasus. Yeah.
That's a
However,
Pegasus.
they do have pegacorns,
Yeah.
which are unicorns with wings.
Oh, see, there you
That's
go.
a pegacorn.
So, are you sitting on the horse's dick nose while it's flying you around?
No,
I mean,
no,
in your
no,
fantasy
no.
as a young child, what's going on?
Horses, girls and horses. There's always going to be that draw there, and then you
Because
turn them
women
into like,
orgasm while they're riding them.
well, there's that too, but
Yeah, okay. All right.
there's lots of things. We could go. I'm a horse.
It's always
person
a
myself.
hidden motive.
So I could go into an entire
Truth.
episode about why horses draw women in
Oh.
particular.
Well,
Lots of reasons.
I notice. I find the older
Some
I
of them
get,
are slightly man-hating, so careful. Just slightly.
you women are just as depraved and fucked up as us men are. I'm finding.
We really
so,
are.
Yeah.
We really
Very
kind of
true.
are. We just kind of make it look better.
Right. Right.
You hide it a little more. We're a little more out on the end of
We
our
don't even
comfort.
hide that shit. We just make it look
not
okay.
anymore, yeah. That's true.
Right? Or we just straight up do it, and then when you say it's not right that you're doing it, we go, what?
Right,
What
because
do
we
you
have
can't
there is a double
criticize
standard.
me.
Yeah,
you know?
we can do things that they can't do.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
that's just
absolutely.
like the
yep.
woman that's walking around touching everybody's beards and stuff.
Yeah.
Have you seen these videos?
Yeah.
If a man did that to a woman, you know, at
Or
all,
even
knock
if
it
it was
over.
innocuous, like just touching her hair. Yeah, no, he'd be
Yeah,
no,
he
absolutely
would be
not.
No touch
charged with
zone.
assault.
Yeah, yeah.
No touch zone for
Right.
sure.
Well, and I'll
or if she was unattractive. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
Like,
true.
let's,
She is
you
pretty.
know,
She's a pretty girl.
I haven't seen the videos. Is she hot?
Oh, yeah,
she's hot.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
She's
so
got
what's
a
the
really
deal?
big
Is she
rack,
trying
so
to
of
prove a
course.
point or something, or is she going around? I mean, why is
It's
she
just
doing
this
this?
weird videos she does. She'll walk
It's
up to
just the
guys that
internet
are
and
strangers
people
and
like to
start
make
playing with their
videos.
beards.
Don't get me started on that.
And the worst
Don't get me
reaction you'll
started.
ever get is a guy going, "Whoa, like what are you doing?" bitch?"
Yeah.
Right?
But again, yeah, if a guy decided I'm going to go make videos and me going around and playing with to get a different girl's
He'd
hair,
get
out and
arrested.
straight-
Yeah,
you
he'd be
get
arrested after the
Straight up
first one. It would
arrested,
last
yeah.
like 30 minutes,
Yeah.
basically,
If that.
before the cops
Yeah.
got
Right.
there.
The second girl you touched, you're going to jail.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep. And that's if the first one didn't do
Yeah,
something
that's
about
right.
it. you
That's
know?
right.
But yeah. So that can also be an entire another show.
Yeah, and that's something else we won't talk about tonight.
Yep. Just like that.
So far, we haven't talked about everything we're
like
not
we
talking
haven't
about.
talked about
Yeah,
a lot.
no, we've only talked about an a-hole that we're going to talk about. But how do you
We'll
pronounce
talk
this,
about that
Layla?
one
Can
anyway.
you help me with this word at all?
Which one? This
come
one here?
on, man.
Yeah.
All right,
That's
hang
not
on.
even fair.
Yeah.
I'm going to break out my phonics here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's Hawaiian.
A korikamu?
Kamui.
Kamui.
Yeah.
Kamui.
Kamui. Let's go with
Yeah,
that.
that's
Right,
what it is.
yeah.
Go look it up.
Nice.
This
That
one,
definitely does not exist.
this one is
Right, it can't possibly.
like the female orgasm. It doesn't. No. But that is actually a Japanese. This is a Japanese one that lives off
Oh,
of
okay, that makes
Volcano
sense, yeah.
Bay.
All right.
So it is a Japanese name. This one to me is like a fucking. Basically, it's another fucking Yeti, right? I'm not Yeti. It's another
Kraken.
Loch
right?
Ness. Another Kraken,
Another
right?
Kraken, because it
Another
says
sea
it's an
creature.
enormous octopus.
Right.
Yeah.
Although I guess we must be talking really enormous because we do have enormous octopus.
Yeah.
Those are.
Well, you know,
Yeah,
we're going
well,
to
we
get to
have
that
squids.
because
Yeah.
in one of the breaks tonight, I definitely want to talk about that. I have brought with me a list of 10 former cryptids
Yeah.
that have
Yeah,
indeed
that-
proven
that
Those
to
are
be
the
true.
most
Be
exciting
real.
for me.
Yeah,
Those are
me
exciting.
too.
Those are really
I
exciting.
can't wait to get into
They're
that.
like
Including the
actual
Kraken.
monsters. Yep.
Including the Kraken.
And that's
Right.
what keeps
Yep.
people searching for all these things. It's like, well, they
There
found
are
the
a
Kraken,
few.
you know,
That's
so
right.
I'm going to find
It could be possible. Those
right.
creatures make all the rest of them plausible.
possible.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Or
Possible, plausible, yeah.
Yep. I'm with you.
Wow. you
Either way,
guys
we're
are
putting together an
awesome.
expedition. We're going to find
Dude,
it.
a Metal-O-Mania fucking expedition. What do
Do
you
that.
think?
Oh my
That would be
goodness, we should
awesome.
totally do that.
In
Yeah.
search of Bigfoot's nuts.
We need to.
I mean, oh, wait.
If
what?
anybody wants to fund that, just send a check right to you. Is that?
Yeah.
Hey, we'll
right.
film the whole fucking thing for you. It'll
I'll
be great.
start a GoFundMe.
Yeah. GoFundMe, the search for Bigfoot's nuts. The Metal-O-Mania crew.
We need to find one of these that's in the coolest place.
We're gonna take a big bag of
Right,
weed, right?
right.
And
Needs
we're
to
gonna
be,
go off
needs
into
to
the
be
woods.
someplace awesome.
Like
Well,
tropical.
Japan's not a bad place to
Exactly. It
start.
can't be someplace that sucks. like
no
no
doubt.
Arctic crypt, no Yeti. We're not
No,
looking for
yeah.
Yeti.
Right.
Let's go up into Maine. We'll bring a
No.
big bag of weed. We'll bring fucking
Maine's
Vienna
cold.
sausages.
I was gonna say
And-
Maine,
and
Maine is
metal.
cold. You might get me for
No.
Bigfoot because he's out in like Oregon and all those really nice places.
Let's go to
But
Washington State. We can visit our friends in Hangman's Park while we're there.
There you go.
It's a little cold there still.
If you get the wrong time of year, it can be.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's about 2 months in the summertime where it's really, really pretty up there.
Well, let's go look for this one. It's in Japan. I mean, that's a nice
Yeah,
place
Japan.
to go.
Let's
That's
get a
the food's
Japan.
awesome.
Well, yeah.
You know.
Except
Right
this
on.
is an octopus, so we'd be looking.
Well, that one's in the water. Yeah, I don't want to
Go
go
out on a
underwater.
boat.
Gonna
We,
get like
you know.
seasick and
No.
stuff.
No, that.
Have you ever tried to smoke a joint underwater? It's very difficult.
Well,
You had the wrong apparatus. I'm sure you need to, invest in that.
right.
Listen to us all being picky. This is why none of these have ever been found.
I know,
Right,
right?
yeah.
You know, oh, it's cold. Oh, it's wet. Oh,
America.
I won't go there.
Well, and you're going into their territory.
That's true.
Right.
You know, in the water, you're.
I don't want to
food.
be, just like poking around looking for a giant octopus and
Right.
find him.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. No
Like,
shit.
what?
You can very well be octopus food in the water, man.
Heard you were looking for me.
Right. Sorry. I'll go back to the boat now.
Can I
somebody-
tweet your picture?
Selfie.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, got it. See ya.
Here's a selfie of me getting eaten
Right.
on vacation.
Giant octopus beak over your head.
Actually, as you snap it, it's just going to be a big black ball of ink, right? Don't
Yeah,
they ink
right,
and
yeah.
everything?
That's
And you
right.
get nothing. So all that sugar you get eaten, You don't prove anything.
You wasted all your
That's
time.
their defense mechanism, and it's also the reason we've never proven they exist is their
There you
ink.
go.
Yep.
Damn it.
Foiled again.
I used to date a girl that could. Anyway. If she didn't like you. Anyway.
That's kind of like a skunk, I guess.
Right?
No, she smelled like that when I met her. But, okay.
No, you know what I'm noticing on this list is I can't pronounce any of these.
None of them.
I know. They're all like, like, they get
For
worse.
instance, the next one is Altamaha Ha.
Yeah.
Like, what the
Altamaha Ha. Altamaha. It's so funny. Yeah, right.
See, we're not looking
Can't
for
you
that
hear,
one
like
either.
anime music while they're going on an expedition?
Well, this one's in Georgia, so it's not going to be anime.
Oh,
we're not
you're
going
right.
there to find this one either.
Yeah.
Right. And
Swamp
this is
creature in Georgia. Fuck that. No.
Yeah, Altamaha Ha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't need to find a swamp creature in
You can
Georgia.
draw it out with Georgia sweet tea. But basically,
most
this is
of
another
Georgia,
Loch
you
Ness
can.
monster. It's Georgia's own Loch Ness monster down
All right.
there.
What is it?
It's,
Is it in a swamp? What is it?
It's like a
River monster.
Yeah, river
monster.
With
monster.
large flippers and seal-like snout.
At the Altamaha River is why it's the Altamaha
Oh,
Ha.
okay.
But see, it's got to be real because it was discovered by Scottish Highlanders in 1736. So
Yeah, see-
that's,
What were
they
you know,
doing in
totally
Georgia?
fucking legit.
Right, right.
What were Scottish Highlanders doing in Georgia in 1736?
They were discovering the Altamaha Ha. They were, you know, searching
were
river
going,
monsters.
Ha 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 ha! Look what we discover.
Right? Yeah, with that accent too.
And the only reason we don't prove it now is because it was 1736.
It was 1736.
Nobody took any pictures.
No
You
pictures.
don't remember 1736.
No, I don't.
Damn it.
That's like sticking a floppy disk into your current computer.
Yeah,
I know. Even
right.
if you had it on floppy disk, what would you do with the
Right.
evidence?
Right.
If someone handed you and says here,
Trash.
No amount of lube will let you stick one of them old things into your computer too. I noticed.
No.
None. No Astroglide at all. Won't work.
No.
Crazy. But then you got the Dobar Chew. The Dobar Chew. What about the Dobar Chew, you guys?
It's a water hound.
It's a water hound. It's an otter-like animal.
Another otter-like animal.
That supposedly lives in isolated freshwater
None of these could
lows.
possibly be otters, by the way.
I was going
Right,
to say,
I know.
The second
What's
otter-like
the
animal
difference about
Otter-like.
that lives in a river, but it's
Right.
not an otter.
fresh water. Okay, all right.
What is
So
it
we're
that makes
describing
it
an
crazy?
otter so far.
This
Well,
one
it's
is
because
Ireland.
it's described
Ireland.
as a half dog, half fish hybrid.
Right.
And
That's
it's got
an
a
otter.
long snake-like body, but
That's
it's
an otter.
covered in thick fur.
That's an otter.
Right.
Long
fucking
snake-like
otter.
dogfish hybrid covered in fur.
Yeah, right. That is
What
a
do you
fucking
think it
otter,
is?
right? Well, I think we just proved that was real without even
You just
leaving
I was gonna
described
say
the
that
dog.
sounds
Table.
real to me. Yeah.
Right. I saw that shit at the zoo, bitch.
It says they're very fast, both in water and on land.
Yeah.
They can go as fast as a horse,
Wow.
a galloping
Wow,
horse on
okay,
land.
Wow.
Whoa.
Okay. Maybe.
So you don't want them to catch
I
you.
can swim really, really fast.
Sounds like a fish story to me.
Yep.
I'm a fucking otter.
Not with it.
Did you just break out that's a fishy joke? God damn it.
Yeah.
All right,
good,
well,
that was good.
let's play a song and we'll come back and talk about a few more, including the Jersey Devil, which I know a lot of you have heard of.
Yep.
And I saw the Jersey Devil. You know.
yeah?
Yeah, they played the Capitals. The Capitals beat them 5-3. You know. There was a whole bunch
Jersey
of them,
Devil
man.
doesn't
They-
sound
they
very
had
impressive
ice
to
skates
me.
on and shit, you know, right?
That doesn't sound very scary.
Well, we got to talk
Fuckers.
about the Groot slang too, because that's a great name. The
Yeah,
Groot
the Groot
slang.
slang.
That's,
That
that's
would
like
be
a
a good
band,
band name,
yeah.
too.
Yeah,
Excellent.
you know, I was gonna say that's,
Groot
that's
slang.
one word too. Groot slang.
I'm glad you brought that up because really quickly too, let me give a huge shout out to Bongwood first of all. I love you, man. You fucking rock, dude. Bongwood was trying to make it
I
here
love you too,
tonight.
Bongwood.
He's got some
Bongwood.
vehicular issues. I'm trying to start a GoFundMe and buy him a helicopter so we can make sure he can make it in here every week.
Ooh, I want too.
Well, that's going to put
Yeah,
the
right.
expedition for the Groot slang on hold if you're buying
Yeah,
helicopters
yeah.
and shit.
Dude, we can use the
I was gonna
helicopter for
say,
the expedition.
The helicopter.
All right.
Oh,
This
there
is
we
gonna
go.
if
expedite
that's the
the
deal,
expedition.
if that's the
totally
deal,
use
then
that.
yeah, we'll do
Yes.
that.
We'll be able to write it
We'll
off.
pick up Bongwood, and first we'll prove he's real,
Yeah.
and then we'll go from there. Because at this point, people are starting to wonder he's never in the studio.
Say, Bongwood's a rarer sight than I am
Yeah, that's true.
around here.
But I will tell you, whether you see Bongwood or not, man, he does amazing shit for us behind the scenes. He helps me do a lot of editing for the show. He helps me with the interviews. He's
I
amazing.
don't do any of that. So
And-
he's better than I am.
Well, and right now, Bongwood has initiated a project I'm very, very excited about, which I know you guys are aware of. He has put some fantastic music stuff together, which I have started to write lyrics for. I'm already done with a couple of them. And we're going to incorporate some of you motherfuckers, and we're going to put out a Metal-O-Mania album, man. We're going to do it.
All right.
We're gonna get Kelly to do some voiceover dub parts where she's gonna tell you all to suck a dick. No, I don't know. But it's gonna be
If it
fun.
fits, sure, why not?
You can write your own script, Kelly.
Yeah, right. You can say what you
I'll
want.
say what I want.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, that's gonna be a lot of fun, man. I'm hoping to get Bozier involved. I'd like to reach out to Jeremy and Tommy and some people, you know, Vincent Matthews. I'd like to talk to about it. You know,
It's
just-
gonna be a big,
you know,
a
best
puppy pile.
of, yes.
It's gonna be a big
Right.
Metal-O-Mania puppy pile.
Puppy pile of love. Wow.
Oh, love it.
I just got a picture of getting licked all over. And I'm
course you did, yeah.
strangely aroused.
All right,
Okay.
back to the show.
How's
yeah.
that?
Okay.
Moving on.
Okay. But you know what? I was just talking about Maine. So let's go there for some music, shall we?
Oh my God, what are the coincidences?
The Maine, New Hampshire Avenue, man. There's a sophomore album from fucking dude. Are you Death Rattle fans yet? I know you are. You are a Death Rattle fan.
Yeah.
Dude, Death Rattle is fucking awesome. They kick ass, man. This is their sophomore album also. The album is called Volition. This is the second song we're playing off of it actually so far because I fucking love this album, man. Death Rattle kicks ass. Let's check it out right now. Love and War. Keep hanging out with us, motherfuckers. You catch different cryptids based on the weapons and the resources available to you.
Yeah.
Whatever you can catch with a Death Rattle, I want that shit.
Right,
Yeah.
man.
I want that shit.
Death
you
Rattle in a
apparently can-
helicopter.
You can catch two. You caught two tonight.
Yeah, right. Holograms. They're the two holograms.
No, we're not the holograms.
Oh,
you guys are
we're
the holograms.
Are you?
We're arguing over who the holograms
Fuck,
are.
I don't know who is anymore.
All right. Maybe you guys can help us figure it out.
This just became an episode of Black Mirror.
Yes,
that's a
you're
good
watching
show.
Black Mirror now, right?
Yes.
Yes.
I watched
What-
them all.
What do you?
I binged them all.
All of them?
All of them.
right? Aren't they amazing?
All of them.
How many
Aren't
are
they
there?
amazing? There's like 4 seasons.
Oh shit!
What I
That's
love
the
is
fucking
how
thing
it
about-
doesn't matter when you catch them.
Right.
Ones.
Well,
Like,
Yeah, they're
Okay.
not.
All
They're
right.
not chronological. They're all short stories.
Well, I've
to
only
be
seen
fair,
one. And I thought it was awesome.
The first 2 seasons are only 3 episodes apiece.
That's true.
You
That
know.
is true. Yeah.
And then the next 2, I think, are only 6 apiece. So it's not like it's a bunch
Yeah.
of episodes.
There was
I
actually,
know I
I
got
will
one.
say there were 2. There were a whole 2 of them that I did not really care for.
Oh,
But that's
really?
okay
I
because
don't
you know
think
what?
there was any I didn't like.
Really? Well, that's good because there were 2 that I was kind of like, they were in this both in the second season, and I was kind of like, I hope these 2 because they're back to back. They're literally like this one. Nah, I fast forward through it and then got to the second one. I was like, man, this is starting to suck.
The
You
Pig
know?
Fucker one was crazy good.
That one was that one was actually hard for me.
Yeah.
That one had a little
That
bit of
was
emotional
tough.
baggage. That
Yeah.
was the most emotional one of all of them for me. I had a hard time getting like
I don't
leaving
wanna
that one
spoil
behind.
it too much.
You said the
but yeah.
pig fucker. Is that what you said?
Yes,
The
I did.
pig fucker.
The
Okay.
pig
Yes,
fucker.
it's
Making sure that
it's
that
the
was.
first
I heard
one.
that right.
It's the very first. I mean,
Okay.
they come out of the
Very
gate
first
swinging.
yeah, they do.
They
the very
really
first episode pilot.
They don't
The
fuck
very
around.
first one that when that episode is over, you're like, what the fuck just happened?
Right.
Yeah,
you know.
really, that's
Especially
true.
with the twist at the end, like it's.
Yeah, you know, and
Yeah,
it really, I mean, honestly, I'm not going to say that they never lived up to that one again, but it really is their best episode in my opinion. But the rest of them are still very, very good. So it's not like
I
it
like-
went down after that.
I'm wondering which ones you didn't like because I'm wondering if there's some of the ones I did like a lot. The one where you could replay the people's memory and
Yeah.
the dude was obsessed that his wife was cheating
Yeah.
was fucked up.
I
I
love
liked
that
it.
one.
That
That's
one
the
was-
one,
yeah.
one I've seen.
Fucked
That's
up.
the only one I've
Oh,
seen.
really?
That's
Right,
awesome.
right, yeah, that
I
was.
could see that shit happening like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah,
You know?
some of them are just really emotionally hard to watch because
Yeah.
they're so, they really nail it on the human nature
Yeah,
side,
I
you
think
know.
that's the point of the show. Right?
Yeah,
They-
no, it
they're
is. Yeah, yeah.
thought-provoking in a way.
Well,
that-
that's the scary angle of the
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
Many of these technologies seem to be right here.
Right, a
You
lot
know
of
what I
them.
mean? They
I've
don't
seen.
seem
I've
far-fetched.
seen some of them like in the prototype stages.
Right,
you know?
right, crazy.
Not all of them, of course, but there's some in there that you wouldn't think were too terribly far in the future. That they're
Right.
really sort of were right on the
And
verge
in
of
the
some of this
digital
stuff.
age, that one that was basically a Yelp for human beings, which is a total fucking
Yeah,
played
that one
into
was
my
the
ref
one.
idea.
That
yeah.
one was the one that I thought of when you guys
Yeah.
were talking about the ref. I was like,
When
you
I
gotta
watched
see
it, I
Black
was
Mirror.
totally like, that's the one Layla was talking about.
Yep. Wasn't that fucked up?
Yeah.
Wasn't that really
It
that
was
that
fucked
episode
up.
was horrible? I mean, not horrible like bad, but it was like
yeah.
it was good,
Oh, I'd have the worst score ever. I would.
Oh, we all would in here. Oh my goodness, we'd be in jail.
But let's be honest, like with society, with what it really is, there'd be a whole group of people with like negative numbers, and we'd all band together.
We'd all hang out.
Yeah, we would. Yeah, we'd be all like giving each other
Those are
negative
my
scores.
people.
Right.
Like giving like the lower your score is, the cooler you are.
You can't get in here if you have 100 or
Yeah.
higher.
Right?
you know?
Yeah, you can't be
We'd
positive.
say hello to each other like, fuck you, man.
Right, score down.
Negative.
We would too. You're absolutely
That
right.
would be our underground
That'd be
thing.
the underground crowd right there. Yep.
I dig it.
Anyway,
I dig it.
Yep. So no, it's a
Well,
great
then
show.
we would take all of us crazy, fucked up assholes and we would go looking for the Jersey Devil together.
Yes.
Okay,
we
yes.
would.
So tell us
Yeah,
about Jersey
yeah,
Devil.
back on that.
I'm sure a lot
this?
of people know about that one a little bit.
Well, it is a hockey team.
Right?
Yeah.
As many of you do know for sure.
that.
So that exists.
All right.
But
That
are they
is
named
true.
after this cryptid? They're not named after the cryptid.
They are. They actually
yeah,
are.
They,
The
they
myth.
actually are. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is
they
it
really are.
now? I don't watch hockey, so I'm not gonna don't slam me for making a derogatory statement. But are they named after the Jersey Devil because they don't win very often? I just thought it was funny.
I'm a fucking Capitals fan, so I can't say. You know, they do it better than we do. But yeah, they actually are. They are named after the local myth, the local legend, as it were, of the Jersey Devil.
So what is this thing?
It's another one of those Birdmen type of deals. You know what I mean? It's like there's
What
a
I
lot
know
of
about
different.
the Jersey Devil, I learned from the X-Files.
Oh yeah, there was an
That's
X.
right,
Great
I
X
remember
Files.
that episode. Yeah. That was an old one too.
Mulder and Scully were
Goes
looking
and-
for the.
Yeah.
Let's see. My notes, though. It's a cryptid said to live in the Pine Barrens region of New Jersey. According to legend, the creature was an unwanted 13th son of one of the state's earliest settlers, Mother Leeds, who offered her son to the devil on his birth in 1735 because she and her husband couldn't afford to raise another child. 13? I guess not.
I was gonna say 12 is fine.
What's
I
one
know.
fucking more at that point?
She
Jesus.
had so many
everything.
kids,
It's
her
between
uterus
broke and
fell
not broke.
out.
It's, you know.
All right, sorry.
Sorry.
I went
What?
Dice Man Clay on y'all for a second.
We didn't hear it anyways.
But ever since then, hundreds have reported sightings of grotesque two-legged hooved monster with a sheep-like head and large scaly wings have been reported in the Pine Barrens area, including one famous incident in the winter of 1909, so recently, when a long trail of hooved footprints crawling under fences and over walls and rooftops mysteriously appeared in the snow one night, and thus a legend was made.
Mysterious, because it couldn't have been the goat next door that got out.
Well, on the roof.
Up on the roof, goats will climb up.
Yeah,
on
right,
the
that's true.
motherfuckers.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
You see them in trees and shit. They're
Yeah.
all
Say,
up on the cliffs and stuff.
Goats don't play.
I want a goat, but that's a different story.
Not only that, it sounds exactly like Satan in the Middle Ages, which we've talked about
Right,
before.
yeah,
It's
right.
exactly what he looks
It's
like.
a little devil running around New Jersey.
Yeah.
I
Sounds cool. I'd love
I
to
thought
see
he
one.
went down to Georgia all this time,
Oh,
and he was in Jersey.
nope. He was in Jersey. Yep.
Fucker. Devil went down to Jersey. He was looking
doesn't
for
have a fiddle either.
crack cocaine.
He doesn't have a fiddle either.
Devil
So
went
he
down
went
to
to
Jersey.
Georgia.
He was looking for some Guidos. Okay.
What?
But yeah, Jersey Devil. That's a cool one. No, that one's got some legs. That one was pretty renowned.
Right.
People,
All right, but I don't think it's very likely to be real.
No, well, yeah. There's not a whole lot of these that are, to be honest.
Right,
but,
right. Yeah.
The Groot slang.
The
is,
Groot slang.
Yeah, what is a Groot
Or
slang?
Great Snake. Go ahead. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Yeah, tell us about that one.
Yeah.
Well, it's a great snake. I mean, it's in South Africa.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
great.
So I mean, it's just a big ass snake. But see, the thing is, those exist. Big ass snakes exist.
I was gonna say a huge.
I
I guess
think we're describing something that exists.
I guess what makes some of these cryptids is just their sheer size. I mean.
Well,
let's go there for a
wait,
second,
wait.
shall we?
So now, what makes it special? Wait a minute.
what's
No,
because
it's
it
big.
lives in
Because
caves or
the
something?
Groot slang has the head and front of an elephant.
Oh,
What?
okay.
Oh, I missed that.
Oh, okay.
That does
Okay.
make it a little bit
in
different.
local
and the
Yeah.
back
Groot
and
slangs are
tail of an
primordial.
enormous serpent.
Yes.
Right,
So
okay.
it's like the front end of an elephant, but it goes into a big, long tail of a serpent.
Well, it'd still be a
Okay.
cool name for a band. I'll tell you that. whether
Groot
it's-
slang kills,
Yeah.
man.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It'd be a great mascot, like
Dude,
you know.
Bongwood, what's up? Groot slang, man. You want to call our record to the Groot slang?
Yeah.
Yes.
And that
yes!
could be the the Groot slang would have to be on the cover for
The
sure.
Great Cryptid, you know?
Would that
Yeah.
not be the coolest album art right
Dude.
there?
I want to. We're
elephant
gonna have to reach out to
snake?
Megan.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk
She
to
would be
Megan
all
about
over that, would she
Yeah.
not, Megan? Right?
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
an elephant snake.
Megan,
Yeah.
Groot slang.
We can do this.
Start your brain
Well,
churning.
you can do
An
this. I can
enormous
I can tell you
tusked
you can do it.
snake.
Yeah, an enormous tusked
Yeah,
snake.
big old tusks.
Now that one's in South Africa. If we can get our helicopter there, that might be fun to go
Yeah,
check
right.
that
Oh,
one
yeah,
out,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
we
you
can
know.
do a little Groot
Right.
slang action down
Exactly.
I can pull my pants down and show you a Groot slang right now. But anywho,
His wife is laughing.
Yeah.
I'm not going to point that out.
another thing we won't be talking about is the wife laughing at that on tonight's episode of Metal-O-Mania. But let's see, we got a Felico Terrace.
Oh.
A Felico Terrace. This one
Okay.
is said to be in the National Park of Cyprus. Where is that? In Felico. Felico
Home to
Terrace,
a
wherever the
sea
fuck
monster.
that is.
Another sea monster. I like the sea monsters.
There's a lot of sea monsters. A lot.
Yeah,
Well, you
but
know, the sea
we've already
monsters are
rejected
ones.
boats.
Right.
We've rejected what?
Boats that we're not going out on boats.
Oh, well,
How we
our
get-
personal exhibition.
I like them.
Right.
I'm never gonna go find one,
Right.
but I just I really think they're cool.
The cool thing about the
Spent
cryptids
enough
that are
time on the
underwater
ocean in
to
my
me,
life.
there's so much unexplored water.
Yeah,
And
there's so much,
you know.
and the water is so like dark and scary, and
Right.
just leaves all kinds of stuff to the imagination. It's just really, really like.
And
awesome.
there's living things that we've proven to be at far greater depths than we originally believed was possible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So the things that might be down there, who knows?
And those creatures down there, they are alien looking. I mean,
Right.
They
you
are.
swear you're looking
Crazy
at
Oh my God, they are. They're the
fucking
coolest looking
different,
damn things. Yeah.
man. That one, what's that thing that's got like the light thing that hangs over
The
his forehead?
triggerfish?
Yeah, and they have all these
that
spiny
motherfucker's
things.
badass.
And they can take
Yeah.
the pressure down there. The pressure
Yeah.
would crush those
Yeah.
submarines, but they're living down there.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like they've been married.
Right. They're under such pressure.
Under pressure.
That they're ugly looking.
All they do is go fishing all day. They just say, "Fuck it, I'm out of here. I'm going
deformed and
fishing with my
fucked in the
little,
head."
pole."
Am I real? Am I fucking real? I don't even know.
Do I exist? I think, therefore I am.
Oh, fuck.
Okay.
If I'm not real, will she stop yelling at me? No.
Good luck.
Let's do one more. A semi-aquatic creature known as an Imula nutuka. What do you think of that?
Right. Okay.
It is similar
Central
to,
African.
but larger than a hippopotamus, and armed with a single long bony tusk or horn in the center of its forehead. See, doesn't it just sound like a really big rhino?
No, you know what it
Yeah.
sounds like? It sounds like, have you seen the I think it was the Siberian rhinoceros? That was an Ice Age woolly rhinoceros that
Right.
literally had this gigantic horn coming out of its
Used to
forehead.
maim, right.
Yeah, it wasn't coming out of its nose like a regular rhino. It was coming out of his forehead. And it was actually, they theorized that it was actually used to sweep snow out of his way because it was an Ice Age thing. So this
Yeah,
is
but
not
you know-
an Ice Age creature, so this is not the same thing. However,
Right. Well, the funny thing about this one, it has a reputation
all right?
for being dangerous when confronted.
Which is
How
unusual
the
for
fuck
wild
does it
animals.
have a fucking reputation
Right, yeah.
when you don't even know if it's real?
Yeah.
What the fuck is... It's gotta, fucking...
Yeah, but I mean, this sounds like a rhino, and there was a
Also
rhino.
sounds like a hippo.
There was a new rhino that
Right.
was discovered a couple years ago, and
Right.
I mean, this is a creature that was previously unknown, and it's up to I think it's a ton or more. I mean, it's
Wow.
a big thing. So,
Wow.
Well,
my point
rhinos
is,
are not semi-aquatic. Hippos are. So that's
Well, yeah, but
sort
you
of
know
like
what?
it's like
I
it's like
mean,
a
so what?
rhinopotamus.
Well, until the platypus, there wasn't none of that shit. But we'll get
Yeah,
to that.
exactly.
Platypus is one of
yeah,
them.
yeah.
Well, the
This
name...
sounds like a rhinopotamus to me. this thing.
Imila natuka means
stay away from them. Don't fuck with them.
elephant
Yeah.
killer. The name means
Elephant
killer.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's apparently known to kill. It's known to kill creatures
It means bam.
bigger than itself.
Badass motherfucker.
Yeah, but a snake will
We
kill
don't
an
know
elephant,
if it's
right?
real, but it's known to kill creatures bigger than itself.
It's believed.
Am I fucked in the head
We'll
here?
change the
Right,
word
right.
known to believed.
Right.
That's not that impressive, though. If you're a rhino walking around, you got a big horn on your head. All you have to
You
do is
better
sneak
be
up
able
on,
to kill.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fucking. You just go up under
Right.
and get its gut. That's easy. That's not
My
a big
my
deal.
protrusion's nowhere near as big, and I get a lot done with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Surreptitiously. There, yeah, that.
Wow.
But they don't call you
Boom!
elephant killer. They don't call you elephant. It
No,
hasn't
they
gotten that
definitely
much
don't.
done.
No, they don't. No, they don't. They call me the pincushion man. Oh, no, I mean, no, they don't. No, they don't. Not to my face. Okay.
Start the elephant
He's
killer thing,
asked
though.
them
See if
to
that
a
ball
lot.
gets going, right? Yeah.
I keep saying, call me elephant killer.
Yeah,
Call
my
me elephant
I
killer.
told you
What's
my
going-
nickname's Elephant Killer.
And they're like, you
can't
can't
start
give
your own
yourself
nickname,
your own
yeah.
nickname, right? Oh, fuck me
T-Bone.
sideways.
T-Bone.
Fucking Costanza. All right. So let's play a song, shall we? And we'll come
Yes.
back and talk
Yeah.
more about these.
do it.
We are going to talk a little bit more about the cryptids, of course. We're going to talk about this goofy shit all night long.
Right.
And we are going to get to some of the ones that did prove to be true, which I know many of us are looking forward to talking about.
Oh, we gotta tell him about
Very
the bloop.
fun.
We gotta tell him about the bloop.
The
We gotta
bloop,
tell him
yeah,
about what
yeah.
the bloop was. Yeah, we'll talk about that when we come back.
Yeah, we'll get to the bloop.
If you were watching the episode where we talked about the bloop because we didn't know what the bloop was, we found out what the bloop was.
Oh, the sea bloop or
Yes,
something,
the
right?
sea bloop. It's the sound
Right.
that,
Okay.
that was just called the bloop. We'll go into it.
Layla was here on the night we did Unsolved Mysteries. In fact, that was the night the studio was
That-
crashed
yes,
by the
it was
Snipers of Babel
full,
gang.
Full of
Awesome.
snipers of Babel. The whole
Right.
studio was full of snipers. It was great.
And one of the
My band.
things that, awesome band. If you, you should know that already. I didn't even say that because I assumed you knew, but Layla, Snipers of Babel, go get it.
Go check out Snipers
Fuck
of
yeah,
Babel.
25th Parallel is out now, man. Awesome. Amazing job.
Thank you.
Truly.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Thank you. Really appreciate that.
Love
All
you
of us
guys,
do.
man. I love them, and the music is like almost like a creamy dessert.
Right?
Because y'all are awesome, and then it's like the music's awesome. I'm gonna eat you fuckers up. Anyway, but no, we did talk about the bloop that night on the show,
Yes, we
and
did.
then we will talk when we come back after this song about that. Is one that it was an unsolved mystery when we did the show, no longer unsolved.
Yep. They figured it out.
Layla's crackpot team got on that.
Yes, we
Crackpot. I didn't say crack team. I said crackpot team. Okay.
Spoiler alert, the night of the show that we were here, we determined that what the bloop was a whale.
Having an orgasm. That's right.
That was the determination because that just made the most sense.
Well, let's give credit where credit was due. Tommy Mott. That was
Tommy.
Tommy Mott's
Right.
suggestion,
That was
and I
Tommy.
thought he was onto something.
Every single one of us.
Right.
Every single one of us were like, of course.
Yeah,
Why?
obviously.
I mean, why would we think anything else?
It had to have been the 52 hertz whale.
Right.
Yep.
Well, what I thought he was on was alcohol, but apparently he was onto something.
Yep.
But no, apparently he wasn't though. He was wrong.
Yeah. So we have found out the truth. We'll tell you when we come back.
All right.
We will. So let's go to a Jeopardy song. If you guys haven't heard of these guys, man, it's a Vermont thrash band. They call themselves thrash band, but I feel like they got a very crossover kind of feel to them as well. Right. They got that punk tinge to it, and man, you get me when you get that.
Right.
You know, I'm a crossover guy. That's why I opened the show. I was excited about the new Suicidal Tendencies. I've always been a metalhead, but when I was young, I had the mohawk. I used to sneak out of my parents' house at 15, 16 years old, run to D.C. to see Fugazi, The Exploited, and the Misfits, and Agnostic Front, and all Dead Kennedys, and all those bands, you know. So, man, the best of both worlds is when metal meets punk in my eye.
You turned out okay.
Oh, well, yeah, that's
Well, yeah.
Boom!
Easy
No.
there, Kenny.
You can talk to Scully about that
Let's
later.
not jump to any conclusions.
The jury is still out for sure.
But I am a big, big fan of Jeopardy already. Female vocalized, Bam. All I could find out was her name was Bam. But
Bam.
I
Bam.
love you and
That's
the guys,
all you
man.
need.
Yeah.
There you go.
I
You'll
love what they
see.
do. So off of their brand new album called You're Doing It Wrong.
Female vocalist.
I
all right.
dedicate this to you, babe.
Yes. I know. I knew that already.
You can tell there's a chick in the band.
And there goes all chances at the Elephant Killer nickname. That's right.
Yeah,
out
right.
the
It's
door.
all out the window now, right?
There you go.
You're doing it wrong, but you try hard. Connor Family Moments from Jeopardy. Hang out with us, motherfuckers. Enjoy. All right. Bam! Connor Family Values.
Nice.
Bam and the dudes, y'all kill it, man. I really dig that Jeopardy album, actually, man. It's fun and it jams. So go check them out. As with all these bands, go give them some love. Follow them on Facebook. Tell them that you like them. Tell them that you love them.
Why
Tell
they're
them that
doing
you
this?
touch
We're putting them
yourself.
out here so
That's
that you
right.
can hear them because you never heard them before, and you can go, "Oh, I like them. I need to hear more."
Go
The
see
whole
the
purpose
concert.
of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go see the
right.
concerts. Buy
Right.
the T-shirts.
Yep.
Buy merch.
Yeah.
Yep.
Buy merch. Buy merch.
Please buy merch.
Yeah. Merch is where it's at, man. Right.
Right.
That's what they rely on.
Yeah,
I mean,
really is,
they-
man.
They're really,
today's-
in all seriousness, if you want to
Right.
support a band, buy the merch.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Right.
Buy their CDs, buy their T-shirts.
Gone are the days where you will sell hard copies by the million. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to support a band, go see them live, buy the merch, and free handies. Free handies here and there. Yeah. What the fuck?
Yeah, go to Bandcamp and pick up vinyl too. Everybody's
Yeah,
coming out with
yeah.
vinyl. Great releases on that.
Dude,
And
I have a record player that I cannot seem to fix.
Uh-oh.
time for a new one, man.
I got so many things on vinyl. I have an awesome vinyl collection. Awesome.
I'm embarrassed to say I don't have one yet. I got to start one. I really got to start one.
Yeah, same
It's-
here.
It's my big goal.
That's
I
like
gotta
my
do it.
next semi-large purchase
Yep.
item on my. No, it's like 3 down.
Well, see, I'm not even gonna
Wireless
wait for the
mic is
record
up
player.
there.
I'm not going to wait for
Yeah.
the record player because I used to think, well, I'll get a record player and then I'll start. But I'm not going to wait. I'm just going to start getting the vinyl and then someday I'll get a record player. But that way the vinyl will be there. It'll be perfect condition, right?
Right.
And I'll
Yeah.
just start the collection. That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I used to have one of those stand-up, like they look like a dresser thing, but it was a record player. You could keep records in it, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it had the, you could change
Turntable.
the speed, the turntable, the whole thing. I threw it away, and I miss it. I wish I had it. Years ago, it was a rash decision I made, man. I wish I had it today.
Well, everybody.
Well, there was
who-
a period of time where you thought records were.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Going
nobody,
out,
nobody
right.
was making vinyl anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's one of the
And
things
nobody
I
was
talked to.
able to repair them really
Right.
anymore. I mean,
Well, and it got to where the needles were so fucking
Yeah.
expensive too. I remember diamond needles were going up to like $75 for a needle for the fucking record player.
Yeah.
But it's something I talk about when we do the Sanctum Defile interview tonight, is we talk about the resurgence of vinyl, and how it's definitely a metal thing too, man. Especially
time.
metalheads. Metalheads are loving their fucking vinyl
Absolutely.
stuff, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. And, you know, a lot of people, when vinyl went down or, you know, it was replaced by CDs, they got rid of their vinyl collections. And just like you say now, they're like, kicking themselves.
Yeah.
You know, they had all this great shit and people got rid of it.
Yeah.
You know, it's...
Yep.
And now it has returned. Like that
You're
little
trying to
itchy
buy all your vinyl
sore
back.
on your lip that won't go away.
But better.
Yeah, right. Let's switch gears. Let's talk about a few cryptids that turned out to be real on this break. What do you think?
Now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I want to hear about those.
Yeah. For one, panty crabs used to be a cryptid. No.
What?
Okay.
Lord.
They went searching for it with blue ointment. Okay. Anyway, the Kraken. The Kraken, as what was historically been known as the Kraken or the giant squid.
Right.
Yep.
Definitely real.
Yep.
Turns out it is indeed real.
Yeah. And they're fucking huge. They don't
Described
sink
as a-
ships, I don't think, though. They're not that big, right?
They could, yeah.
Really?
They could, yeah. They and sperm, like they're big enough to eat a sperm whale, to like attack and kill a sperm whale. Hi. Sorry. Anyway.
Don't talk about sperm whales.
She's
She's
talking
go
about,
off for
in
like,
case you
know,
couldn't
that's-
hear, she said something about swallowing sperm.
It's that a giant squid is big enough to prey on sperm whales, and sperm whales are
Right,
very big. And
right.
and stop snickering, okay? It's a whale. It's a very big whale, okay?
You can make candles of
It's a real
sperm.
No clue why it's called a sperm whale.
Yeah. Why is it
Because of the bloop.
Right.
Yeah, because of the bloop.
Because of the bloop. Everybody thought the same thing about the bloop.
Right. Well, I thought that they call it a sperm whales because they're the reason the oceans are so salty.
Probably. Probably.
Okay, but that's fucked up.
Right?
But
Right, every
yeah,
time
right.
you got
But that's how
crashed by
big
a
the Kraken
wave.
is. That's how big the giant
But that's
squid
how
is,
big they
is what
are,
you're
yeah.
saying.
And it used to be that was really their only evidence of them was because they would see like sperm whale carcasses washed up on beaches with these gigantic injuries on them that looked like they were from suction
like
cups
suck holes.
from these giant squid tentacles. These giant,
Wow.
and based on the size that the wounds were from the suction cups, they estimated how large the squid had to have been that would have done that, and it was
And nobody believed them.
huge. Yeah,
Right,
I mean there was just
right.
no other explanation for it.
Well, and no video and/or footage, video footage of giant squids surfaced until after the year 2000. Think about that. That's
what
pretty wild.
blows my mind, right? I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
what the fuck happened for 30, 40 years? I
Well,
mean, we had
Your
the
boat got ate
technology.
by them bitches.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, they were
I think
cryptids.
because
Yeah,
I think
right.
because they live so deep. Honestly, I think was the problem.
Say deep.
Deep.
No. Right. You
Because
know.
the depths at which they lived, you just don't spend any time there.
Yeah,
And why
humans don't
didn't their
hang out
bodies
that-
wash up ever? You know?
Yeah.
Again, because they're just so deep ocean creatures,
Yeah,
the
I
bodies
think they
just don't
end
end
up
up.
at the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah,
And there's
they-
no skeletons. I mean, they just probably just
Yeah, no, they're
rot
all-
away.
they're
They
all
get eaten
jelly.
away by
Yeah.
everything.
Crabs and shit. eating
Yeah.
Yeah.
stuff, I'm sure. You know?
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
I told you crabs were real.
The only solid, I think, if I'm not mistaken, the only solid
Cool.
bone in their bodies is the beak.
Yeah,
Which isn't a bone, of course, it's a beak. But I mean, I could be wrong about that. I don't know what's in the suction cups, but I think the beak is the only solid thing, and the beak on those things would probably have to be about.
It would be huge.
It'd be big.
I
It'd
would
be a
imagine.
huge beak.
Right.
Yeah.
I dissected a squid in
Very
like,
easily could have
middle
taken
school,
both.
you know, so it was. I can imagine.
Was it
that on a
giant?
Huge scale. No, it was like this big.
It was an itty squid.
Yeah.
It was a
So
peacock
I can-
squid.
It was a
can you
peacock
imagine
squid.
That thing like coming at
A
you.
wee little peacock.
Right? Yeah,
it was.
something that huge. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I keep stealing our copy of notes and stuff from
I don't know.
us.
You're fine. You're fine.
I don't know. Who knows? But
So that one's real. That turned out to
Yep.
be pretty cool.
Yep. And definitely a sea monster, like full-blown
Yeah.
sea monster.
Well, there was another sea monster that is basically real. I forget its name, but it's like 20 feet long. It's got a big fin on the top and everything, and it's real. And it's probably the thing that would have in the old maps how there's sea monsters in the old maps and everything like that.
Right.
It's probably what it was because there is a creature that looks like that, and it's like 20 feet long.
Right.
It's some big giant eel or some shit.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, because there are some very large eel.
Yeah.
Right.
So between that and the Kraken, I mean,
that's
sea
what I
monsters
call the
are
crypt
ju-
stick, is a very long eel.
Yeah.
That's a cryptic.
Cryptic.
We're talking cryptids, but
Cryptic.
that's a cryptic.
Cryptic. Ah.
And it's electric.
Well, also my question is like, how many of these things exist really? Are we talking like is the sea just fucking full of them, or is there like 100 of them?
I would guess no, just because there was so, like the bigger
Such
something is, the
scant
harder it
evidence.
is to feed it. You know,
That's true.
Are they,
Hard
like,
to
about to be
sustain its
extinct?
existence.
I don't know.
Yeah, but the ocean is vast, and they got to
Right,
get
there could
together
be
and mate
plenty
and
of
everything.
meat.
And there's a lot of them. It's just like whales. There's thousands and thousands and thousands of them. I mean,
Yeah.
There's a lot, you know.
Yeah, yeah. So no, I've never heard what the estimate of the giant squid population of the world is, but yeah, I mean the ocean is so huge.
Yeah,
and so
could
deep,
be.
You know, that there could be like populations of them that we don't even know exist. You know, I mean there would have to be, I suppose. You know.
The Canvey Island monster. Let's go by the Kraken.
Okay.
Because you know I'm gonna fill in your Kraken. Yeah, you know I had to make that joke before.
Well, what's our tallywhacker at? I mean,
Yeah,
we're we kind
where's
of running
Tallywhacker?
Tallywhacker,
There it is,
man.
yeah.
I'm
All
gonna
right.
stick
27, but
stick
that's-
my Tallywhacker in your Kraken.
You guys got to keep us honest with the tallywhacker, by the way,
Yeah,
because
right.
for the first part of the show, the engineer
a
wasn't
different
watching the
engineer.
dick
Yeah, it was a
jokes.
zero.
Attention, yeah.
You know, so
We
if
had
you
a
see the-
stand-in engineer.
If you
tonight.
ever see the tallywhacker at 0 and it's not like the first minute of the show,
Yeah.
please get on the chat board
Yeah.
and help keep the tallywhacker honest.
Don't let us have a show with a broken Tallywhacker.
Yeah,
That's
no,
real
no
cool.
one likes that.
That's
Limp
real cool.
tallywhacker.
So you're blaming the new guy. You're blaming the new guy.
blaming
right?
the
It's
new
like,
guy.
Fuck the new guy.
You broke my Tallywhacker.
No one likes a limp tallywhacker.
He was here for the first half an hour, and he was the opposite of Viagra to our Tallywhacker.
Yep,
tonight.
no.
Exactly.
Our tallywhacker stayed at 0.
Fucking god damn it. Yep. He was a on our Tallywhacker. What did we decide last week was the name of an Oscar given to a penis in a movie and or play? A Schlosker? Wasn't it a Schlosker?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Something like that.
We
A
decided
chubby.
we're gonna do plays with my dick. We're gonna do Hamlet.
He
we're
uses
gonna do
we very
We.
loosely.
Well, you have to do stage production.
Well, it's him and his dick. That's
You're
two
in
people.
charge
I
of
mean,
costume
it's like,
design.
Right. Who's going to operate the camera?
God damn it. Anyway, I don't know where the fuck I went there. The Canvey Island monster, you guys.
Yes, what is this?
It's a fucking monkfish. That's what it is.
It's a what?
It's a monkfish.
What is
Oh, a
it?
monkfish.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
It was.
what?
It's a carcass that washed up on the beaches in
Okay.
Canvey Island. Where is Canvey Island?
I don't know.
Anybody? Somebody
Hang on,
out there?
I'm gonna have
Canvey
to look up
Island.
what a monkfish is. Hang on.
But it was described as being 2.4 foot long, having gills, bulging eyes, and reddish brown skin. The carcass was cremated after zoologists deemed the creature to not be a threat to the public. However, in 1954, another one washed up on beach, even bigger than the one before. But at that point, it was determined that they were fucking monkfish. They are
That's-
monkfish.
What is
Anticlimactic. That's
It's
pretty-
anticlimactic,
yeah, that's kind
right?
of a letdown, you know?
Interesting.
In
Okay.
Essex,
It's a
England,
weird
by the
looking
way.
fish, that's for
Well,
sure.
a lot of that is where they were legend at one point, and then it was a mistake of, they mistook what it was.
Mistaken
basically.
identity, yeah.
Yeah, right. A mistaken identity.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That happened to me when I was a kid. I was at a pond, and I saw this, it looked like a sea monster going across the water, real calm water, and it was clear as day, and it was going, and it had green, stuff all over it and everything. And that always stuck in my head as a kid. I was like, God damn, what was that? And then recently, I saw a film of a beaver doing exactly that thing. They pile a bunch of moss and sticks and stuff on their backs.
Oh, okay.
And then they swim across, and it looks exactly, I saw it, I was like, oh my
that's
God, that's what I saw.
interesting.
Totally
How
what I
about
saw.
that?
Oh, that's cool.
Really, I thought there was a sea monster the whole time.
Aw,
That's
that's
nice.
cool. That is neat.
It's a fucking
actually.
beaver.
Right?
It was a fucking
Nothing
beaver.
wrong with that.
They're all otter-like fucking
Yeah,
animals.
Save a beaver.
Okay,
Right.
Fucking
that's
beaver
cool.
messing everything
That's
up.
cool, man. I had a similar hazy incident when I was a kid. I can't remember all the details, but it had something to do with a pedophile. I don't know. But the devil bird.
In a van,
guys.
on a very long trip.
I got to see a doctor tomorrow. Anyway. Okay, the devil bird, a.k.a. the alama, is a bird known to give off human-like shrieks from within the jungle. These
That
are
wasn't
in
a human-like
Sri
shriek.
Lanka. That
Never
was pretty
mind.
good. That was pretty good.
It wasn't human-like, though.
I wanted to use that shriek in one of our songs coming up. Yeah. But this actually, in 2001, was determined that all of these sightings amounted to being spot-bellied eagle owls.
Spot-bellied eagle owls.
Yes.
Not a spotted owl or a
The funny part about that is, I didn't know that was fucking real.
I was going to say, I've never heard of a spot-bellied eagle owl.
Right.
But we could say, fuck this. We're gonna go find the devil bird. It's not an owl. It's really out there. We're gonna take our helicopter and go find a devil
I'll
bird.
go on a search.
Because that's a cool place.
I'd
Sri
go
Lanka.
looking for
Sri
a
Lanka?
spot-bellied
Yeah.
eagle owl. That sounds
Yeah.
kind of like a
We believe this spotted owl
cool
stuff.
bird.
Yeah, none of this fucking
Where is
spotted
this?
owl bullshit.
This is in...
Sri Lanka.
This is
Sri
in-
Lanka.
Right,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Within the jungle. You do know the jungle's kind of
Food's kind of gross. Yeah.
Well, it was more than just the food.
Well,
the jungles suck.
It kills you.
They're
There's
really
a lot
humid.
of shit to kill you.
They're really humid and they're really like big spiders.
So look, I just looked at the picture of this owl, guys.
Okay.
If you saw this thing in the woods shrieking at you, anything like what you just sounded like at all, you would be fucking terrified.
Yeah.
This thing has like these massive eyebrows, is what I'm going to call it.
Right, okay.
Eyebrows that shoot off like devil horns.
Like evil eyebrows, like angry eyebrow. Look.
Yeah.
You got yourself ice cream on the floor.
Definitely, and it's very
that's
spotty.
awesome.
Go Google a spot-bellied
Google
eagle owl.
Spot-bellied
He
eagle
looks
owl.
angry.
Okay, maybe that
like,
was it does look like the devil.
Well,
It does look like the devil.
Right.
I still say we go to Sri Lanka and determine it for ourselves.
Confirm it for ourselves, yeah.
That'd be a fun trip.
Yeah.
But next up, the motherfucking platypus, which we alluded
Hell
to a
yeah.
little bit earlier.
I'm still not sure I believe in that thing.
I know, man, right?
It's fucked up.
One of my all-time favorite comedians,
The
Richard
only
Jennings.
mammal that lays eggs, by the way.
Rest
Only
in
one.
peace. Yeah, right. What the
You know.
fuck? Richard Jennings used to do a comedy bit about the platypus, you know,
Yeah.
being all fucked up, and and I miss you, rest in peace, Richard Jennings. But yeah, man, you wouldn't have believed this until you saw one that they exist. Nobody would believe that shit. They got a duck's bill, they got a fucking mammal that has eggs. It's a fucking weird goddamn
And
animal.
it's a marsupial.
Right.
It both lays eggs and is a marsupial.
Yeah. Isn't that the one where he says something like, God must have been stoned, and he's like, let
Yeah,
me put a beak on it and
right,
fucking
right.
let it lay eggs. And I'll give it a
Beaver's
give it a
tail.
pouch.
What other pieces we got laying around here?
Right, yeah,
It
exactly.
is like a mad scientist experiment.
Exactly, yeah. I mean,
The
it's just one
island
hell
of
of an
Dr.
animal.
Moreau.
Yeah, he makes one. He's like,
Yeah.
it'll never live, and it's like they're breeding. They're doing it. That whole egg
Bunch of these
pouch
fucking
system really
things.
works. God damn, I didn't think it'd work.
Right.
Yep, there's something else, I'll tell you.
Yeah, pretty wild. And like the other ones, it was determined that it was actually just a sighting of Dennis Rodman the whole time.
Yeah, exactly. But now this one you could really understand where people would see this thing and report it, and they'd
be like,
be
"What the fuck?
You are
Right.
crazy."
Right.
People
yeah,
be like,
dude,
yeah,
you're
okay, yeah, what else did it have?
And then people who saw it. It was kind of like Bigfoot. They would be shamed, right? They would be embarrassed to tell
Right.
anybody.
Right.
that
They'd be
they
like,
saw
I can't
this
tell
thing.
anybody
It's like,
about
"Oh,
this."
They're gonna think I'm a
Yeah.
kook.
They're not gonna believe me.
Right? Nope.
Are we properly queued up for the next
No,
song?
I
Milo?
just was noticing that. That's what I'm doing on my phone
All
over
right.
here.
So I'm gonna buy time and
I'm going to excuse myself.
and
for
I'm
one
gonna
second.
talk to you guys about another cryptid.
Okay.
All right.
I don't know what it's gonna be yet though. Okay. All right. Well, let's talk
We
about
got plenty.
the Akapi. Akapi.
Okay.
It is described as a combination of several creatures. It's a donkey, a zebra, and a giraffe.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, right.
Is this one? This is one of the ones that was proven to be real, though,
Yeah,
right?
this is proven to be real. This
'Cause I've
strange
seen these
description.
weird-looking creatures.
Right,
They
right.
are
I have
very
now
weird
too.
looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an African unicorn.
It's
says.
known.
Yeah.
It was described as the African unicorn due to its fantastical description. It wasn't the Apache's live capture. It wasn't until one was captured alive that his existence was recognized by the mainstream science world.
Well, that's what they're going to have to do with Bigfoot. They're going to have to
Yes.
catch one live,
Yes.
or shoot one, and bring
Yeah.
it, bag it,
Right.
and bring it in.
That's what's
Yep.
gonna have to happen.
That's what's going to have to happen.
Yeah. I know you have a lot of information on Bigfoot.
Right.
Well, I think the Patterson film is fascinating. Whether it was a hoax or not, I think it's really fascinating. So I dug up a little on that.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
Spent a little bit of time on it,
Okay.
which I've done before, and it's always fun to revisit because you go back and you look at it again. You're like, man, if that was a hoax, it was a really good monkey suit, a really good monkey suit.
Well, the dude who apparently was in the suit supposedly came forward and said, "Yeah, that was me." I forget when that was.
Recently.
Yeah, it was like
Right.
10, 15
Yeah,
years
it's
ago.
fairly recently. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
recent compared to the Patterson film, yeah. And it was one of those things where, I mean, whether you believe him or not is up to you. But they had him walk in front of the camera to see if it was the same, like if the walks
same
looked
gait.
the same. Yeah,
Yeah.
it looked very much the same. It looked like the dude had this weird walk, like there was something wrong with his hips or something like that.
Yeah.
So
well,
yeah.
and the animal has whatever's in the film has a weird walk.
Yeah,
Has
and
a
this
very
dude had
weird
it.
walk.
This dude
Yeah.
had that weird
Yeah.
walk. Yeah, so
Yeah,
maybe that's
so-
why his buddy picked him if it was a hoax. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, I tell you what. Let's play a song, and we'll come back and let's talk a little bit in depth about Bigfoot, shall we?
Let's
do it. Let's
And
do
we're
it.
not just going to speculate the size of what such an animal's dick would be. We're going to get into
We're gonna
much
do
more
more
detail.
than that.
We're going to do more than that. We will do that.
Right, yeah.
Done plenty of that already.
Right,
I'm
yeah.
not going to overlook that. I mean, could you a Bigfoot dick? Anyway.
I mean, just, yeah.
Right. I mean, just the sheer size of it. You know, it reminds me of like, has anybody seen the pictures of Shaquille O'Neal and his current woman? She's like this big. I just can't see how it works. I can't see how it works, man. But Kenny, why don't you introduce the next song? Brother?
Sure, man. All right. So, well, listen. You know, I suffer for the people. I listened to a ton of albums over the last couple of weeks because I found one of those, you know, kind of reviews that just had a lot of stuff in it that I'd never heard before, and I was like, oh wow, a new pile of new music and everything. Right. Most of it sucked. Just most of it sucked. But this was a gem in there. And so it's by a band called Funeral Marmori. They're from Italy, so I don't know really how to pronounce the name. Right, but it's just really, yeah, it's really heavy, groovy doom with a lot of organ and a lot of. I know you like your organ, you know, of various
I love
types.
my organ. I do.
Very big on the organ thing. Yes.
I am.
All right.
And so, yeah, that's what it is. The song's called Boletus Satanis, which might have something to do with Satan. I don't know.
I believe it does.
Yeah, I think it probably does. And
more
this
power
is
to 'em
off
for
of
it.
the album The Deer Woman. It's a little bit. It's from 2016, but I just discovered it. I've really been grooving on it, and you know, there you go.
If it's new to you, it's new.
That's right.
Right on.
Yeah, I'm loving it.
Let's check it out. We'll be right back. Keep getting through the rear end of your hump day with us, you guys. And there's a little bit of doom for your diet.
Like that.
All right.
Taking it, Kenny.
That was a doom that was short and to the
Yeah,
point.
what's up?
It's short. I mean,
4.5
well,
minutes.
you
Less
know,
than 10 minutes.
I
What
know.
happened?
I feel like they got their point across in that one. You know,
Right,
that's
right.
basically, if you like that, you like the whole album. There's a lot
Yeah.
more of that kind of stuff, and
Right
you know,
on.
there's slower stuff as well. But you know, that gets the point across as to what
I
they're
love
all
it.
about.
Yeah, man, it got all doomy on me. We should blaze through a couple of talk sessions, but
Yeah.
I do want to very quickly, off topic of cryptozoology, if I may, I want to give a couple of shout outs because they are certainly in order for our growing awesome fucking group of motherfuckers out there, you guys.
Oh, are you talking about our Metal-O-Maniacs?
Yeah, man. I want to first give
Okay.
some love to Aubrey Lozano. Aubrey fucking rocks. She is a new admin on our Metal-O-Mania group.
Right.
And we were talking, actually, the way this all started even, we were talking, and I've seen her, she was in another group, and with a whole bunch of admins, and they kind of were stepping all over each other's toes, and I saw an opportunity to yoke her up and give her the
Just
center
steal
stage.
an
Like your
admin.
own.
Yeah, how would you like to take over
Would you
and
like
be
to
in
be the
charge?
queen?
And I did. And you know what? Because honestly, our group, we have over 3,000 people in our group. They're the quietest metalheads in the world. They just are.
It is
Waiting
what
for
it
someone
is.
else to post something.
Right.
Well,
right.
not even because they don't like it or comment on it.
I'm sure they watch it. I'm sure
It's
they
a
look at
metal
it.
thing.
Right.
It's a metal
Right.
thing I noticed. Dude, that one metal, I forget which one it is now, but I'm in one metal group. It has 22,000 people.
Good grief.
And somebody will post a Slayer song, and there's 3 likes on it. What the
Yeah.
fuck are you not liking the Slayer song for? Why are you in a metal group if you know what I mean? 22,000 people?
Yeah.
Right.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
And I made a joke about it last week. You know, it's just today's, metalhead is like, entertain me. You know, they're very, fuck you. I'm not going to click a like on you and shit.
Right.
But
Well, you're just not joiners, or you're not,
Right.
you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, that's
But
not you by
to
nature.
ourselves,
so.
though,
Yeah.
we should be.
Yeah, within our clan group.
Within our group.
Our
Let me,
tribe.
I hate to say this, and I'm going to, honey, you're listening to the show right now, and I love you, but I'm going to call you out here. I've had to have conversations with my husband because I'll post something on Facebook, and I'll be like, or someone else, a family member or something, I'll post someone on Facebook, or a friend will post something either happy or sad or something, and I'm constantly saying to him, did you see so-and-so's post, or did you see my post, or did you see this? And they go like, yeah, I saw that. And I'm thinking, I didn't see a like.
Yeah.
I didn't see
Right.
a comment. I
Right.
saw no proof that he had even seen the thing ever. And I'm constantly telling him, honey, you don't have to, but people like it when you make some sort of evidence that you saw it.
It's so fucking hard to go like this. Going like, I can't. do
Right.
it.
Well, he just doesn't think about it. It's not that he's being an asshole. He's just like, I saw it. Yeah, it was sad. Or, yeah, it was funny.
I feel your pain. This fucking dickhead doesn't like on nothing. It'll be about her.
It'll be like, I posted this big, sweet,
Scully
loving
kicks ass. You don't
thing,
like the
and-
fucking post about Scully.
Okay.
God damn it.
Not to start any shit, but she likes almost all of my
Oh,
posts.
I know. I'll get it even, did you see Layla's post? I know Layla
Not
was
trying to make
Layla
things
went for a
awkward.
bike ride. I'm like, I just posted a fucking thing about loving you, bitch. Fuck Layla's bike ride.
Layla's posts are like maybe 2 sentences and a picture.
Yeah, see, my shit's long. She don't like to read.
Yours
That's
are
the
like
picture. You just get
5
straight to the picture.
inches.
Yeah.
Right.
I can write some long posts. I've been doing them more lately.
God damn it.
You'll like them too. It's just now I know you're not reading them.
That's right.
You're
That's
so
right.
awesome,
She's not.
Layla.
She's not. Yeah.
Look at all those words. She's amazing.
Awesome.
I mean, I'm not knocking you. I love it. Keep it coming. I don't care if you read
God
it.
damn it. And
I
it's
just want the
well
likes.
established that we are like horrors, right? It's a like horror world.
And let me emphasize, not just liking, but it's the heart react.
heart is great.
She's all about the hearts with me. It's
I'm
great.
an overharder. I'm an overharder.
I am
I've
too.
been accused of being an overharder.
I am
on
too.
Facebook.
It's
Yeah.
very rare that you'll actually just get a like from me.
Yeah.
Usually it's a.
Well, I don't have. My emotions don't work like that. I don't just like things, you know,
Yeah.
and I don't just dislike. I love or hate. That's
Yeah.
my range. That's who I am. You know.
But so then, if you're all heart and then somebody gets a like from you, it's like, oh.
Well,
I feel
right.
bad.
I know.
I feel bad when
I know.
every now and then I give someone just a like.
Yeah.
But it's appropriate. It's maybe because they
Right.
said something that you don't love this
Well,
thing.
if you
Just,
post a
know.
video or something and I
earn
like
the
it,
love.
I'm
Right.
like, I like that you posted that.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Not the song so
Or if
much.
like someone says, something to
Yeah,
the
I
effect
see.
of, I went to the grocery store today and someone held, I held the door for someone and they didn't thank me. Those fucking assholes. I'm not gonna love that.
Yeah,
I'm
right,
gonna
right,
agree with it by liking it.
And are you gonna do the angry one?
I'll
Like,
probably
I'm not
make the
gonna do
angry face. That's
Now,
probably
see,
what
no,
I'll do,
I
yeah, or
won't
something
do
like
that.
that.
Like I don't get angry.
You've
and
never
angry.
hit the angry face on
Well,
something?
probably when it first came out, but I mean, since then, I'm like,
Oh, I'm the extreme guy, man. I'm love, I hate, I'm angry. I'm
Somebody post animal abuse. I'm all about the angry face.
Right.
you know.
I hate. I hate.
I very rarely hit that little blue thumb anymore, just because this,
It's so mundane.
Yeah,
you know?
every now and then it's actually the most appropriate, but not
Right,
often.
right.
It's hilarious.
Fuck that.
Right. Anyway.
But yeah,
This is
but
social media
back
101
to
here.
Aubrey Lozano and building our case
Yes,
for
Aubrey. Yes, we're here to give. We love you, Aubrey.
Aubrey, we love you.
What
yes.
the hell does this have to
And you know, well, she is doing things to get the people more involved, and it's working. And I love that. It's cool. Doing more polls type of thing.
Yeah.
You know, doing
Polls
more,
are cool.
posting this kind of thing. You know, and she did this week. Called out 5 metalheads and said, if you guys post a certain amount of videos this week, we're going to give you a shout out live on the show.
Uh-huh.
Of the
nice.
5 she yoked,
She definitely knows what she's doing.
only 2 of them did
Yeah.
it. But it's a start. It's a
Hey,
fucking
man,
beginning.
who cares?
Right.
Yeah,
They played along. They played along.
Right.
That's right. So we're going to give those shout outs right now, as a matter of fact. First to Sarah Mitchum. Sarah Mitchum.
Right.
Who is awesome. She posted some impaled offerings, some traders. By the way, the traders, RIP, I'm going to play that song next week because fucking kills.
Nice.
Good
United, Terror, Universal, and Oculus, all badass songs. Sarah Mitchum is awesome. She is a worker at Fort Bliss, Texas, El Paso, listening
Nice.
to our metal show,
Nice.
surrounded by the full bird Army colonels and Army captains.
Nice.
Or not listening to the show. Or
They are,
All
yes.
right,
Apparently she puts it
She's
on
a
her
civil
desk.
service worker.
Yeah.
Oh,
right,
hey.
right.
Hey.
So
nice, very nice.
she turns the whole office on to the metal show. That's very cool.
So does that mean more dick
Straight-laced
jokes?
metalhead.
Do we need more dick jokes? Is that what we're hearing?
Yeah,
here?
right. They're all like, my cryptid is the fucking channel changer. What the fuck? I can't find it. Doesn't exist. But also John J.
Hi, Sarah.
Rambo. Yeah, Sarah,
Right.
we love you. Thank you for hanging out with us very much. Aubrey, you are awesome. And John J. Rambo. John J. Rambo actually is in a band. He is friends with Manuel Harlander, who is behind the Global Scum project that we played a couple of weeks ago. Who awesome, by the way. That Global
Small
Scum
world.
killer. And he is in a band called Dying Eden. He's also from Austria, like Manuel Harlander. I promise you I will check out Dying Eden, sir. I promise you I will. I just haven't yet, but I will. I promise I will. But he is also someone who posted the 5 videos. He posted some Infest Dead, which was awesome. Ectomorph, Fear Factory, Cold Chamber, Mechizazo, and Assassino. Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce those ones. But you're a badass and you're awesome, brother. I love it.
Thanks for the
Very
participation,
cool. Yes,
guys.
thank you, thank
The
you.
participation is awesome. And I love it. I love that we're building it up and getting it more active and getting it more going. That's what's happening.
Fuck yeah.
Kathy Freebird from the Frankie's Metal group. We've become really good friends with those. And Frankie's Metal Collusion. If you're looking for another really cool metal group to join on Facebook, check them out. And To the Pit, of course, Tim Dougherty in the group. We love them. We give them shouts out every week. We love them all. They're, these are groups you should be involved with, as well as the Finger of Doom.
Sure, yeah.
Right.
Come on over, Finger of Doom. I switched it to a page, so you don't have to join the group. It was too hard to manage.
He's
but,
not a joiner. He didn't want to make you joiners.
I know. Yeah, exactly.
But he wants
I
your
want it
like,
to be
though.
open. All you got to do is come and join. You don't have to
Yeah.
be let in anymore. It's an
Yeah.
open party. Come on
Right.
in.
Come
And
on
you
in.
have to like things in order to keep seeing it in your feed. If you
Yeah.
just look at things and just let it go by and
right.
enjoy it without engaging in it, you'll stop seeing it.
Yeah.
The
So-
algorithm
Well, it
will
helps
pick
the
up that
bands.
you like metal, and
liking.
it'll show you more. Yeah.
Exactly. And it helps the bands, too. Right?
Yeah,
Because
right.
that's what we're trying to do is
Right.
promote the bands and support the bands and
Right.
get the word out there of these
Right.
awesome bands. So
Absolutely.
Subscribe to their YouTube pages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And right, exactly.
Yep.
And go to Bandcamp and buy the shit. We talk cryptozoology, Bigfoot, all that crazy bullshit. But yeah, that is the reason the show exists. So you go and love these bands and follow these bands. Again, Snipers of Babel. If you haven't followed them,
Please.
I don't know what the fuck you're doing with your life. I don't understand. You should be charged with something. I don't know what it is.
Failure to
While we're on
metal.
Yeah. Yeah. While we're on the shout outs, though, I definitely want to take a minute because.
Yeah, and we also did something very cool this weekend. I forced Skully this weekend. As many of you know, Skully just had a birthday. Happy birthday, Skully, by the way.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Will you do some dirty? Anyway.
That's enough.
But Skully just turned 411.
Right.
And you
Give or
don't know,
take.
she's a cryptid of a different species.
Plus or minus.
But what I decided to do, we got our anniversary coming up. 19 fucking years somehow, by the way. Holy
Fucking
shit.
insane.
Sorry to hear that.
I know, right? I could have killed her and I'd been free by now. But and of course Valentine's Day coming up. So I bought all these things together and said, here's what we're gonna do for all these things.
Birthday, Valentine's
I
Day,
sent her on a
anniversary.
right, all that. And you are very key to this happening, by the way.
Right.
Because you introduced us to some of the more awesome people that we've met recently. And I'll let you
Some of
talk,
my
babe.
favorite people.
Yeah, go ahead, babe.
So, yeah, Saturday I spent the day getting my photos taken, which was an amazing day.
Sexy.
It was awesome. The entire day. Basically, I had Stereo Vision Photography, did my photos. We got Carlo and Elise. They are amazing. They're both very, very, very good at what they do. I'm very a little nervous, a little uncomfortable. You know, definitely it was outside of my comfort zone, and they were amazing. Perfect posing coaches. And
Yeah, they really they put you at ease right now, right?
Yeah, like totally got me in my zone, and we had no problems there whatsoever.
Nice.
And Misha, Makeup by Misha, she is amazing with makeup.
You looked amazing. Like the pictures that we just like the selfies that we saw
Yeah,
afterwards.
I took a couple
was like,
of them, but yeah. I can't wait to get all the pictures back. I mean, she did my hair; they looked so beautiful. My makeup looked so beautiful. I did 2 different shots.
Our
we did, of course,
mistress of metal.
a Skully shot, so I'm all made up in metal.
Right.
But I also
Made up
did
in metal.
another shot where it's kind of like a pin-up style.
Right.
And my hair was all curly and cute, and I had this beautiful blue polka dot Dorothy looking dress.
I got that also.
It was
by
just
the way.
adorable.
Oh, awesome.
But she matched hair and makeup perfectly. She just did an amazing job.
Fantastic.
And
is
it was very
We love 'em.
comfortable and easy. You got somebody in your face.
Yeah,
I know,
so
right?
get your metal look, man. Don't do
poking
some
at
You
Yeah.
never
metal
get
and
used to
scary
that,
look.
by the way.
No, but it was totally comfortable. No, you know what I mean?
Well, they did Layla's your Freddy Krueger poses
Did
and all that stuff.
my Freddy
Yeah.
Krueger shoot,
Yeah.
and the other shoot that I also did where I was the theme for the shoot for the other one was where you're reenacting some kind of a phobia, and the phobia I chose was fear of the dark.
Dig it.
And I got the opportunity to make this really cool door prop that actually, it was supposed to just be sort of like a side item kind of thing, and I put so much freaking work into it that the shoot almost started to be more about the door than it did about me, because I was so proud of it. And it's in my living room now because I'm just really, really proud of how well this door came out. So anyway, so they did those 2 shoots with me, and yeah, same experience. I mean, they're like good friends of mine anyway, but. And Carlo also has a band, 51 Peg. I'm wearing their shirt, so go check out 51
Which,
Peg.
yeah, they
Where are they
told me a little
located?
bit about that. We have not checked them out yet, but
Alexandria? Was it Alexandria?
So, yeah, their studio is in Alexandria.
Virginia. Alexandria.
The
Virginia.
Stereo Vision Photography Studio is in Alexandria, Virginia.
And Misha came there.
And
Met
just
us
so you
there.
know, though,
we did everything.
they'll do all kinds of different poses. They'll even do some type of boudoir stuff with your woman and all that. I couldn't quite talk them into doing a lot of the reenactment scenes with my penis, but I'm still working on it.
Yeah, they
Everybody
maybe
draws a
next
line
time.
somewhere,
I mean,
you know.
you might want to
Right.
they don't.
I'll
get
make
to
them
know
more comfortable with me and reapproach them about it.
Right.
So. But the pictures they did of you 2 ladies, amazing job. And
Definitely.
so look forward to that, Metalheads. We'll be showing you some cool ass Skully metal pictures coming
Go
up.
find their pages on Facebook.
Yeah.
I'll
And for the
definitely be
nerds
sharing
out there
links.
like me, any of the dorks out there, the other pose, I call her Peggy Carter pose. They look like Peggy Carter from Marvel's Agent Carter show.
Right.
And these were ideas that she came up with. My ideas were ideas that I came up with. So you can go in there with your own ideas. But if you don't have any ideas, it's totally new to you. You just want to have fun. They've got a lot of things that they specialize in. They can make suggestions. It's really just fun to have a day that's all about you.
It's awesome.
Get behind
Yeah.
the camera and get some people who are there to make you feel like it's all about you and pamper the hell out of you for an hour or 2.
So
Just go
when's
do
the
it.
day that's all about me?
It's not, babe. Stop. We're talking for a second.
Right? It's not about you, remember? Weren't we just saying that?
After 19 years, you should have known that.
I know. I'm a slow learner.
No, but seriously, these guys are amazing. I'll put up the information on my Facebook page. Definitely go check them out. If you want your photos taken, if you want to give it as a gift to somebody, definitely worth doing.
They do give certificates, gift packages. Yeah.
They'll be whoever gets the gift will definitely be happy about it. Yeah.
Well, speaking of gifts, I got a gift for everybody right now.
Oh dear.
Okay.
And it is a fucking badass metal song. I know.
Okay. Woo.
He keeps threatening to do that. We're always afraid it's going to be the moment.
No, is it now?
This is our last show ever.
I know. Scully told me last week she's always worried that I'm one comment away from the show being shut down forever.
Yeah.
Right.
It's right on the edge the whole time.
Right, we walk the edge.
It was like that day you say that one thing, that'll be the end of it. You know?
No, you couldn't say that.
Yeah, see, I don't know. I think you can say a lot of things on a metal show, so I probably will fuck this up eventually. But no, we're going to go to Texas for your gift, actually.
Fantastic.
We're going to Austin, Texas to pick up your gift. Because it is a brand new release from Expander. Yeehaw! It's a brand new release from a band called Expander. The brand new album is called Endless Computer. They are a crossover thrash outfit. And this album, actually, Endless Computer, is their first full-length release after 2 EPs that both came out in 2015. So,
busy.
Very excited that they're here to do it. You're going to fucking love it. Let's check out the title track off of their brand new fucking album, Endless Computer. And keep coming on our Facebook. Ripping it up in Texas. Awesome. Expander, go get that Endless Computer, man. Go to the... you fuckers. Yeah, that was like the 17th time I've been hushed on my own show, by the way. You fuckers. Send these
You
motherfuckers
wanted to be
the-
sitting between the two women.
What was I thinking?
As I recall, you were like, I'm going to have one on either side of me. It's going to be great.
Yeah, you insisted on that, remember? You
Really?
insisted. You had, you know.
Like, he's done shows with us before.
I
What
am
is
a
he
masochist.
thinking?
Didn't we talk a little bit about that on the fetish episode? I am a little bit of a masochist.
It's not like it is in the pornos.
Right, he bases things on how it is in his mind, and
Right,
his
yeah,
thoughts,
and
you know,
in
but
his
it's-
porno movies. Like, sorry.
Yeah. There's a lot less muffin in real life. A lot less. You know. The chick showed up to deliver my pizza the other day. I pulled out my dick. It did not go anything like that porno video.
I did see a funny thing the other day. It was like, I don't think my neighbor watches very much porn because I've been here for 15 minutes and I'm still fixing her sink.
Oh, fuck me.
Yep.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, you know, I keep trying to get the ladies together. You know what I mean? you try to bring all the ladies together, and in your mind, it's going to turn into like a big porno of women everywhere and shit. But that's not how it happens in real life.
You'd have had a better chance if you set them together. You should have gotten out of the way. You're in the way right here.
I hate to
Kenny,
break this.
Then I'm forgotten.
Okay.
Okay.
See? Somebody's been
I'm not
there.
that fucking stupid.
Somebody's
all right?
experienced it before. That's how it works.
We all know when it comes to ladies having sex with ladies, they're all spaghetti.
Yep.
They're straight until they're wet.
Yep. Never heard that, but that's true.
Hot and wet, I think they have to be.
Yeah, whatever. You know. Yeah, but then I'm fucking meatball. I'm forgotten. I'm out over there hanging out with the garlic bread, dude.
Hey, got anything else to do?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we'll get around to you, honey. Your part's only gonna last 7 minutes anyway. We'll let you know when we'll get there. You know. Okay, but anyway.
We can do this all night.
Unfortunate part of being a man, we can't. And if you just take breaks, if you get close and take breaks over and over again, it hurts. It's a painful thing.
All right.
You know.
What?
I don't know. I'm talking about Expander still,
Oh.
right? Am I still talking about Expander? I think I am. The band we were listening to.
I don't know.
Oh, but good shit, man. I love that album. Good stuff. Good stuff on the metal scene, man.
Yep.
And speaking of the awesomeness that is metal right now in this Metal-O-Mania, we got big fucking plans, you guys, man. Big
yeah, you
plans.
do.
We're
Yeah.
talking about, first of all, Kenny Finger's own show, Finger of Doom show.
Yes.
Yeah, thinking
Yes.
about it. I mean, you know,
Right.
we'll see if we can pull it off. So
A lot of these things are very preliminary right now,
yeah,
but
very preliminary.
yeah.
But I think it'd be great. I got a lot of great ideas for it and everything. I'm just trying to, figure out if it's something we can pull off. So, yeah.
So you should think about how you can hang out with us more because we are going to go. We're going to relaunch a 24-hour, 24/7 Metal-O-Mania network. It's going to be our entire network. Radio VPS will be a sister station to us at that point. We will have 24-hour programming. You'll be able to come to us for metal 24 hours a day. My goal is to, during the day, have some audio shows, kind of like radio, basically, during the daytime.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to bring Gonzo back, have him do his show, the Inexhaustible Quest for the Cosmic Cabbage show. But my long-term goal, and I hope to make this happen as soon as possible, and if you guys want to participate, help, let me know, let's talk. But I want to have a weekly show, a nightly show, every single night of the week, followed by like a stand-up show, like a David Letterman type,
Yeah.
For lack of a better description, I guess, like Jon Stewart used to do on Comedy Central. We'll have 11:30 to 12:30, maybe, whatever, every single night, Monday through Thursday.
Yeah.
Right.
A talk show centered around metal, what's happening, new albums coming out, hopefully get guests on the Skype.
Yeah.
You don't have to come into the studio these days. It's 2018. We can get you as a guest right there on the Skype video. Talk to you about whatever the fuck's going on. Hopefully maybe get some live music in and out here and there kind of thing. So I got really big plans for that. Right. What I would like to do is like Monday's a Doom show, for instance, followed by that nightly show, which I don't know what we're going to call it yet. But then Tuesdays maybe a hair fucking metal show. Mark would love to do a glam show, and I'll tell you what, it's not my genre, but the glam scene is on fire again.
Really?
If you're into that,
Is it?
it is Sweden and
Was
places
not
like
aware of
that.
that.
Holy shit. There's fucking bands that look like Motley Crue in the 80s putting out fucking albums every day right now.
Wow.
Less in America.
New music in this, not a resurgence of the old.
brand new sleaze rock is what they're calling it, I guess now. But
well, that's a better name than hair
yeah,
metal.
right.
Sure.
But there's a lot of it, and if you're into that scene, I could foresee having a show built around it. Why not? I want to do maybe a black metal show, maybe a show dedicated to death metal. Wednesdays will still be this show. I still see this being the flagship show. Metal-O-Mania. We'll do this format. We'll be dumb assholes talking about some crazy shit.
Yeah. Well, if you did all the different genres, you'd have the whole week filled up right there.
Right,
you could
exactly.
you just keep on going. You wouldn't have enough time.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and I very much, and this is the key to my plan, my visionary plan. I want to have a Saturday show. Saturday night, similar to a Saturday Night Live show. I want it to be comedy. I want it to be metal related. I foresee having stupid skits that involve fake Aussies kind of thing. I mean, I got lots of ideas on this kind of thing.
Live bands?
Yeah? Yes,
All right.
absolutely, man. I really want to do that. I'm very excited about some of the possibilities. We have green screens at our disposal. We have multiple studios at our disposal at this point. We have the full backing of Brian and the awesome staff at Radio VPS.
Thank you, guys.
Including King Reg, who I love, sir. Thank you for being here tonight. And that means the sky's the limit. The only thing that can hold us back is ourselves.
Right.
Yep. So
Let's
unleash
do
the
this.
creativity and do
Yes,
it is
indeed.
what you're saying.
That's right.
All right.
Let's go to the next level. I want to be a fucking 24/7. Bring it here for your ultimate metal fucking entertainment. Somewhere you can go, somewhere reliable.
Can the world handle 24/7 of you though? I mean, you wouldn't be on 24/7.
No,
though, I guess.
yeah.
Not you
No,
personally,
yeah.
because that would be.
I promise to
Do you
give you
want my
plenty of
opinion
breaks
on
from
that?
me.
Yeah, you. Let's ask an expert on this 24/7
Right,
Crypt.
right.
How's it going over there?
Right. Hey, you just watch your mouth. But yeah, we got a lot of big plans and a lot of big things that there are things we want to do. Like I said, Bongwood and hopefully you guys. We're going to work on this record thing. I really am excited about doing that as well. There's the sky's the limit. Metal-O-Mania is here to stay, and we're growing. We're like a fucking, underwear monster.
Like a.
I was trying to think
like
of
a
cryptid.
fungus, like a fungus.
Right, yeah.
Well, a cryptid, I don't know.
I was trying to think
Underwear
of a cryptid,
fungus?
right? An underwear fungus monster.
We're like a giant squid. We got to be down there somewhere. We're going to come up and get,
That's right.
They got to be a bunch of them.
And we got really big suckers.
Yeah.
We're going to kill you with our giant suck holes. That's.
That sounds scary.
I mean, if something can kill a whale
Scary.
with giant suck holes, that's pretty awesome.
pretty-
I love that.
All right, well, I'm going to talk about this porn. No, okay. You just brought Pornhub back to my mind.
No, you brought it back to your mind.
It's
You're
all
on
It's
It's
your
never
mind.
far from it. It's never
Right.
far from it. Come on.
Right.
Who brought it back?
Right, he's just trying to blame Kenny for his bullshit.
There's pictures of me like looking at Pornhub on my computer, like you were always on my mind. No. But good stuff. There's good things happening in the metal universe.
there is.
And including tonight, we got a Sanctum Defile interview with it. You're going to hear tonight on the show.
When's that?
And no, fuck no, man. We're meddling, man. Don't rush me.
Oh man.
I know we're only on song we're getting ready to start some number 7.
Yeah. Do you want to get to it? Do you want to get to the song?
Yeah,
Is
let's
that what
get
you're
to
telling
it.
me?
Yeah.
All right. All right, we do have the Sanctum Defile interview coming up. We have some great interviews, though, coming up. We're going to be talking to Vivisector over the next few weeks. We're going to be talking to a lot of bands, man. We got some great stuff. And I don't even remember what the fuck it all is, but just trust me. Famous last words, right?
Right, yeah.
Trust me.
Just trust me.
So
just take this drink and trust me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Reverend Jones.
All right.
Let's go to Helsinki. Next up, Helsinki, Finland. Yes, indeed. The band is Kyrell, K-H-I-R-A-L. I hope I'm saying that. Kyrell?
I don't know.
Kyrell.
Kyrell.
This is a debut fucking release from these guys, man. A death thrash combo outfit out of Helsinki. Chained is one hell of an opening statement. That's the name of the new album.
Don't you love Helsinki?
I do
Just
love
the name.
the name Helsinki.
Yeah. I wish I was from Helsinki.
Helsinki. I'll see you in Helsinki.
Yeah.
Let's check out some Helsinki metal right now, man. Orphanage off of the brand new album from Kyrell. Check it out. Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Right?
Thanks for that.
You are welcome. Fucking badass, man. Kyrell. Go pick up your copy of Chained and go to their Facebook page and tell them that you love them. Tell them that, fuck it, tell them Layla sent you, because they don't give a fuck if I sent you. But if Layla did, it means something.
Yep.
Not sure what. No, I'm kidding. We love you, Layla. You know, I'm wearing
Means
my
you're gullible.
dragon shirt tonight.
Yep.
Did you know that dragons are generally considered a cryptid?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because a lot of people claim to have seen them.
Yes.
They
Claim that they exist.
Yep.
Or if not now, definitely once did. And that is very much obviously in dispute.
Right.
And weren't they in the Bible, I think, maybe? Or something close to that kind of like...
Spraying fire, yeah.
Similar type creatures, yeah.
But
Well,
they
you
did
know,
exist. I mean, dinosaurs, right?
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
I mean,
Did the dinosaurs spray fire out of their mouths?
That's what I
That's
think.
the angle of it, right? The fire is the special.
Right, yeah, the fire I think is the big deal. But one thing that has led me to believe that maybe people have that where the dragon thing has come from is actual modern day dinosaurs. You know, like we've been talking about how the Loch Ness monster and those kinds of monsters might be modern day dinosaurs.
Right.
I think
birds are modern day dinosaurs.
Well, I think it's the Mayans, if I recall correctly, have a mythological creature that is a feathered serpent.
Oh.
And you know how they
Metazocal or whatever. I know his name. Shit.
Yeah.
Metazocal or something.
You're right. It's similar to that. Now that you've said that, I'm going to be like, I'm never going to remember it. But anyway, but you know how it's been recently decided in the scientific community that dinosaurs were probably mostly covered with feathers.
Right, yeah. And scales and feathers are very clear. They're the same material, right? For the most part.
I don't know about that.
Well, the evolution of.
Right.
Yeah.
But that dinosaurs were probably mostly covered with at least downy feathers, if not actual like flight feathers, but like similar to like chickens
I
and
want
ostriches.
a fucking dinosaur downy feather pillow.
Oh man!
You know what?
You know?
Bed Bath & Beyond is fresh
And
out
a
of those.
coat. Like, can you imagine having a dinosaur feather coat?
A dinosaur
How
feather
warm
coat,
would that
son.
shit be?
That'd be way better than a peacock.
I don't even remember what I was saying.
But, you know,
Right?
right
I don't
onto
feel like
the
it'd
plane,
be
right?
soft.
That-
I feel
that's
it'd
my
be probably
comfort.
kind of coarse.
Right? Well, you
Strut
would use,
onto the plane
you
with
would
that
use the
shit.
down
Much
feathers.
more beneficial.
Yeah, you would use the one, not the surface feathers, not the ones that shed water and stuff like that. The ones that are underneath the
Oh,
heat.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
They would be down
I'm with ya.
feathers. They would be.
I like it.
No, but
so cool.
But some dinosaurs did have feathers. I mean, Archaeopteryx, right? Archaeopteryx.
No, actually,
That's the
like most of them now
Right.
that
The
they're
theory,
determining. Yeah,
the current theory is
but
that a
those were
majority of the
really
dinosaurs.
fully developed.
like T-Rex and
feathers.
raptors
Yeah. Right.
had like the idea now is that the Archaeopteryx was just another
Right.
normal dinosaur.
But it wasn't down. I mean, it had long feathers. It could fly and everything.
Yeah, no,
I
no,
would have
no.
loved to have seen.
They're
those,
theorizing
Can you
that-
imagine what those
Wow.
things look like? I mean,
Have you seen the recent sketches and ideas about what raptors look like? They look basically like Archaeopteryx. They have long feathers on their arms, long
Yeah.
feathers on their tails.
That's badass.
Yeah. So the idea is that maybe the Archaeopteryx was very normal, that they mostly look like that.
Yeah, that's cool.
That is cool.
I know,
Totally,
yeah.
that's
Yeah,
totally,
I love that shit, man.
That's metal.
I know,
That's
you know, and
metal.
everybody's saying, you know, well, that wouldn't, like, you couldn't make movies about dinosaurs that look like that. They were
Why
just
not?
like giant chickens. And I'm like,
That'd be
look at these
awesome.
damn
That'd be
dinosaurs
awesome.
with these feathers that they're like doing the artists
Oh.
are doing these reenactments or not reenactments, but, you know, renditions of these dinosaurs. They're whack looking. I
Hey.
mean, you know, they're no less scary, and the colors are crazy, and they just look like you couldn't make this shit up. You know?
Well, if you grew up around chickens too, then you would realize that giant fucking chickens that can hunt and eat you, are
don't wanna
really
get,
scary.
Yes,
Like,
you
really
don't want to
fucking
get
scary
found
things.
by a giant chicken. I promise you.
Dude,
You think a little rooster is scary? Wait till you
I
see.
smell an upcoming Metal-O-Mania skit coming up. I'm gonna
Right?
fuck-
Yeah, look, see, look, you're pulling them up. Yeah, see, that's a that's what a raptor. I wish we could show you these
Yeah.
pictures. These
Wow.
are go Google feathered dinosaurs. This is some cool shit.
I can
have
see a
not heard
good
all
skit
this.
coming up.
Turn this and show this to Kenny.
Absolutely.
Can you?
Oh, yeah, now I can see it from
Yeah,
over
you
here.
see that? Yeah, that's
oh, yeah.
that's a
See, now that's,
raptor.
now that's scary. I
Yeah.
mean, that scared the fuck
Is that
out of
not
you. If you're
scary
like,
as shit?
That's chasing you.
They
around.
decided they weren't going to do the new Jurassic World movies after that. They weren't going to do those because they wanted to stick with the original dinosaurs in the original Jurassic Park movies because that was just what they've been doing.
Despite the factual
Yeah.
inaccuracy.
Exactly. And they don't think that would be
refuse to
scary.
believe.
Turn that here. Look at this shit.
That would be scary.
Look how scary that freaking shit looks.
Y'all
I mean,
are
this
just
is like something out of a
teasing the
nightmare.
fuck out of our viewers right now.
Google it yourself.
Yeah.
Right? What did you Google?
Feathered raptor dinosaur.
Go Google that shit.
Raptored dinosaur.
Go Google that shit.
Hey, you know, but another
There are things you can Google that aren't porn, so check that out.
Not that.
Another cryptid is the griffin, and that is supposedly based on them finding fossils of some dinosaur that had like the long beak and the crown.
Right,
and
a
everything
lion-looking
like that.
head.
I believe it.
Right.
Yeah, I totally believe
and
it.
it turned into that.
But that's where,
Huh.
what like you were saying, I think a lot of these things come from is if not finding fossils, possibly even actually seeing modern day dinosaurs. You know, like a lot of people theorize that the jungles are as
Dense.
inexplorable and dense as the ocean, and so deep in the heart of the jungles, you could have these creatures still alive,
Whoa.
and those subtropical conditions in jungles are very much like what dinosaurs had because the earth was warmer. Yeah.
And that's before you get into Hollow World theory.
Into what?
Hollow World theory.
Hollow world?
This is true. I'm not making it up. There are those that believe the Earth is hollow. There's a subterranean level underneath
Alright.
a mile under the Earth's surface or whatever. But it's believed that dinosaurs still exist there.
Oh, interesting.
So, yeah.
Interesting.
If you're a buyer of the Hollow World theory, then you believe that dinosaurs are living under the Earth
But
still.
H.G. Wells wrote that book, right? Wasn't that
Yeah.
Journey to the Center of
Yeah,
the Earth?
Journey
which
to the
is a
Center of the
really
Earth,
cool
right.
movie from back in like
Right.
the 60s or
Which is
something.
supposedly written as the result of someone who claimed to have found some portal into the Earth too,
Now,
by the
isn't
way.
this very close? Well, that's called a cave, but isn't that?
Those have been proven to be real.
Well,
caves do exist.
No, man. The caves take you one place. It's a portal if it takes you to where dinosaurs
okay,
are, man.
Stargate.
Fuck yeah, right?
Having intellectuals on your show can be very boring.
If there's dinosaurs on the
Call
other
the
end.
cave.
Yeah.
but that's close to the flat Earth theory. It has to be hollow Earth. Flat,
You're not
right.
spelunking if you end up down there with dinosaurs, man. That's a whole different trip you went on. But anyway, I don't believe in none of that bullshit, but it's fun to think about.
You're right.
Fun to talk about as well.
Yes, it is.
Right.
Yes, it is.
So where were we?
We were playing metal and talking about cryptid.
I was gonna
right.
say,
Right.
yeah. We got on the feathered
Pretty much
dinosaurs
that.
thing.
Oh,
and
That
then-
is a cool thing, though.
Right.
I do dig that. You know, the
Feathered
whole
on
feathered
dinosaurs.
dinosaur thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's pretty cool.
I'm extremely excited.
I'm
about all
such
that.
a geek.
love it.
I love all that shit.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yep. Dinosaurs
Awesome
are like
stuff.
my favorite geekery, honestly. I could do a whole show about dinosaurs with you.
Well, I can foresee a fucking Saturday Night Live-ish skit for our show then where you come in. Remember when Johnny Carson used to have the girl that came in every so often with the new animals? She would show them.
Yeah.
And they would
Right.
always piss on them and fuck with them and do all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
Climb on
You
the
can
bed.
come in
here with
with
dinosaurs?
fake with real, but you know, like
I would love real dinosaurs.
what we have today is
you
a
find
real
me some, I'll be
fucking-
on your show
yeah.
every day.
we'll have to CGI something, but you know.
You're gonna have to find a
I
badass
brought with
costume
us today
designer
the
for that.
fucking, you know, whatever, tardigrade or whatever the fuck, you know.
Right, yeah.
A
Tardigrade,
life-size
yeah.
tardigrade today
yeah,
for you.
what-
Right.
This is an ancient tardigrade. They were much bigger back then.
Right.
They were about the size of cats.
You could be she was the zoology lady, if I'm not mistaken. You could be the cryptozoology lady.
Oh, my
God.
goodness. Oh,
That would be so funny.
That would be fun.
We could have so much fun with that.
Yes. Oh wow. Let's
The
share notes.
Cryptozoology lady.
Let's share notes
we're
later.
Going to. We're doing this. You're good, you. We're doing this, you. We're doing it.
Oh my god.
Anything else? I'm going to go into some jams, unless we want to. Do you want to
yes.
cover any
We're
more
about
shit,
to
or
go
do you want
into
to
the long break. So
Yeah, let's go into the joke and toke, for lack of a better term. We still haven't named this. Help me name this, Layla.
What, the joke and toke?
Yeah, man. There's so many elements to it that it needs to be into the name. What we do every week. Well, you know, you watch the show and hang out with the show. But for those of you who don't, who may be watching us for the first time tonight, every week we play a 3-song jam. There's a new song, then a little bit of comedy, and then an old school. That's where we put our old school jam every week, and then we do that every week, at least one old school jam, and then a little bit of comedy, and then another new jam. We've called it the joke and toke. We've called it the break. We've called it the fucking workout fucking thingy, whatever the fuck, I forget even now at this point. But it needs to display that it's our old school jam, and it's some new school, and it's some funny shit. You know what I mean? It's new school, old school, and laughing. So the current name is the joke and toke, because we used to joke that we only really do this so we can go downstairs and smoke joints on Route 1 during the...
So why do you need my help?
Bad name.
What do you, sounds like you nailed it to me.
Yeah, joke and toke. It's not bad, but Scully hates it. But,
Right.
but let me tell you what we got in the whatever the fuck it is. We're going to open it up tonight with some Accuser. I don't know if you guys have heard their new album, The Mastery, but holy fuck. First of all, these German band Accuser has been around for a motherfucking long time, man. They, I believe they formed, I didn't take very good notes on it, but they formed a long time ago. They're legends. They're still kicking ass.
Recently confirmed to
Like in
exist.
the 80s, though. No bullshit. Sometime in the 80s.
There's video of them now, so we know it's true.
We've confirmed their existence.
They found them in their mom's basement. They found them.
But what's funny about these dudes is not only that they've been around for a while, but it seems to me that this album has taken a very decided change to the approach to the music, man. It's got a fucking thrashy feel to it, but they're definitely incorporating more of that groove element. The groove element is taking over. I'm now hearing groove death metal bands.
Right.
You know, straight death with that kind of groove thing running. I like
That
it.
makes me happy.
I like
it.
it.
makes me very, very happy.
Yeah,
I
man.
like that. Yeah,
It's
because those
like-
are my two favorites, really, is groove and
Pantera
death.
means
you know?
death or something. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
But I like it. So Accuser's got a new album. It's called The Mastery. We're going to open our break tonight with the joke and toke, whatever the fuck it is, with Time for Silence off of it. It's amazing. Great fucking song. And then we're going to play Slayer. You know, Hanneman's Birthday and the end of Slayer,
This
perhaps
is the
on
one
the
that you've never
horizon.
played before that you
Never
okay.
played it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, I'm hoping, has anyone been on there telling you their metal songs that they never want to hear again?
No.
We need to, no, fuck that.
They're waiting for other people.
I refuse to like
They're
or
waiting
type.
for other people to post
Right.
theirs.
I'll participate after you do.
Come on, guys. We're all antisocial. We get it, but we're stepping out.
Right.
You
We're
know?
out here doing this for you.
I would rather be home right now, eating and watching television. Not really, but
Well, doesn't our brain
Yeah,
get it?
that was last
Actually,
week.
so you totally have to give her
Yeah,
that.
last week our comedy break, the dude was like, I know, let's go home. You want to go home?
Right.
Every time I walk into any room, my first thought is, let's get this over with so I can go home.
He's like, the meaning of life is fuck this,
Fuck
let's
this,
go
let's
home.
go home.
Right,
yep. So I get it.
See?
But I do want to know, what are your songs? What are your metal songs as a metalhead? You know, again, rock and roll fans, a lot of them never want to hear Freebird again because it's overplayed. They never want to hear Stairway to Heaven. They never want to hear You Shook Me All Night Long. I know I never want to hear You Shook Me All Night Long
I never
ever
wanna hear it
again.
again.
Ever again.
Yeah.
And Rock and Roll by Led Zeppelin, I never want to hear it again. There's just certain songs I never want to hear. Not that they're bad songs, they were great. But now just overdone.
Yeah, the first 1,000 times you heard them, they were great.
Awesome.
But then it's
Right. We're into the millions now. So to Hotel California, another one.
No.
Yeah.
So what are yours as a metalhead? What are your specific to the metal genre songs that you're like, I loved it at one time, but enough already. Enough with the bread. You know? So Slayer's Angel of Death may be one of yours. In fact, on my list, probably Slayer's Angel of Death. I love it. I'm playing it tonight. Slayer's birthday, Handel's birthday, Slayer's Last Tour. I figured, got to play it eventually,
Yeah.
But, for me, Master of Puppets is probably on my list. For me, Peace Sells, But Who's Mine, my Megadeth, probably on my list. Practice What You Preach by Testament. Never want to hear that one again. Pretty done with that. Mine are probably mostly thrash.
Okay.
But, so let us know what yours are, though. Very much like that. And I want to hit you guys up for some additions after we come back from this break.
Sure.
So think on that while we jam this stuff. But we're going to come back, though. We're going to close out this big, long jam session with motherfucking right out of Brazil, another groove-tinged fucking death metal band, man. Broken and Boned. If you guys do not have Hypocrisy Hymns, it just came out on January 6th, so I'll give you a little bit of a pass,
Right.
and that is brand new. But you have no excuse.
But get it.
You have no excuse. I'm
Yeah.
telling you. This Broken and Boned is fucking amazing. I have listened to the entire album about 14,000 times already since January 6th. You're going to love it, man. It's
and basically all the guys from the band are hanging out with us in the chat.
Oh, really? Awesome. Awesome.
Nice.
Dudes,
Yeah.
Very nice.
I love what you fucking did here, man. The fucking Broken and Bone is going to make you want to break some shit. So go to a safe place right now. Get your fucking pelican or your peacock or whatever you need. Whatever it takes to find your safe
Dinosaur
place.
feathers coat on. Get yourself all snuggled down.
Fucking grab a big old handful of cock and balls and fucking brace yourself for this one because you're going to love it, man. Check it out. Accuser, Slayer, Broken and Bone. Keep hanging out with us because we're not fucking done yet, you guys. Let's keep doing it. Metal-O-Mania. Oh, yeah. Broken and Bone. Something is on. What is this? There we go. Oops, I was jamming it on multiple levels, you guys. Broken and Bone. That fucking album is called Hypocrisy Hymns. That song is called Vengeance. And they're fucking badasses, man. Love it. That Accuser, badass, Slayer, fucking good shit.
Yeah.
Played good shit on the joke and toke tonight.
Right? The joke and break and funny and
old and
new and
yeah.
And a little cold.
And a little cold. It's the old and golden joking sticker. All right, I don't know.
As good
Come
as any.
on back, Scully. Come in here and join
There
us.
she
We're
is.
back. Look, you took the detour back to the studio tonight. And they're talking. They're asking, where are you on the board?
Uh-oh.
There's a whole bunch of people like, where the fuck did Scully go? What the fuck? She was on Route 1 earning nickels. So, have you guys had fun so far?
Oh, yeah, hell yeah.
It's been a blast.
My goodness, yes.
It's been fun, right?
Still trying to figure out which one of us is the cryptid.
Well, the signs are there.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, we never said what the bloop was.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Let's do that.
Okay, so let's talk about the bloop.
Okay.
Let's revisit the bloop.
Yes. So if any of you weren't here for that episode, so the bloop is a sound that was picked up.
What year again? 97 or something like that?
I think so, somewhere around there in the 90s.
Okay.
But scientists, of course, have underwater recording devices all over the globe, and
especially since World War II,
right.
Yeah.
And this sound was picked up on I don't know if it was all of them at once, but it was a lot of them at once.
majority, right.
Yeah, like way too many for it to have been like a single animal kind of thing, because that of course would have been in one area, and these are all spread out. And it was I forget what the frequency was, but at any rate,
Right.
so
one of the loudest underwater sounds ever recorded.
yeah.
Ever.
And
It was really low, right? Very low tones?
yes,
deep? Like-
yeah. The reason they called it the bloop is because when they played it back at speeds that you could hear it, it sounded like a bloop.
Right.
Literally like a bloop, kind of sound. But that's not what it really sounded like. That's what it sounded like when they kind of meshed it together and
Right.
so you could hear it.
Well, and just to further expand on that a tiny bit, when they played it back in higher speeds even, it had kind of an animalistic sound to it as well. So then it began to take on a really mythological...
Right, yeah. Well,
Go ahead.
in all actuality, when you played it at the speed at which it occurred, it sounded nothing like that. It was very low frequency, like you were saying.
Right.
Well, what it actually turned out to be was an ice quake.
Oh.
An ice quake. Now, let
That
me
makes
explain to you
sense.
what an ice quake is. An ice quake, in this instance, was a piece of the Antarctic ice shelf. Or one of the Antarctic ice shelves, breaking and moving.
Yeah.
So it was the sound of this ice,
Shearing apart.
yeah, like moving and rubbing and it's the same idea as an earthquake.
A tectonic plate, but with ice shelves.
Right, but with an ice sheet instead, and it made this really deep, loud, loud as in like because the sound carried so far, sound. But as you know about low frequency sounds, they carry very, very, very far.
Very far,
but
especially
they're
in water.
Right, yeah, but they're not. But they're low, so they're not, it's not going to sound like this roaring ice continent, from across.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Well, and it was speculated on episode number 54, I want to say, I believe that was the episode that the Snipers gang came barreling into the studio one night, which was a lot of
Snipers
fun.
of Babel came and crashed the party.
It was a lot of fun.
Because they're cool like that.
And Tommy Mott guest, and we were on
We
board.
were on board. We were like, he was correct as far
Right.
as we were
Totally made
concerned.
sense that it was
Right.
probably a big sperm whale.
Well, we talked that
Yeah.
night about the 50 hertz whale. Remember?
Right.
The 50 hertz whale was supposed to be the loneliest animal in the world. It's still very, speculated to exist. And be
Right,
the-
this whale whose calls, because of course whales communicate with each other
Correct.
through these low frequency calls, that,
Right.
that can travel miles.
Right. Yeah.
And that this one particular whale, for whatever reason, his or her voice box
Tone was off.
Yeah, is not formed correctly and doesn't make the same frequency, so
Right.
other whales literally can't hear this whale.
We determined it was a whale with a speech impediment, basically.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know.
Essentially.
He's a lonely whale.
And he was the loneliest whale in the world, and it's
Yeah.
garnered a lot of attention. People have really rallied for this lonely whale theory thing.
Poor whale. I guess
So,
it
Tommy
speaks to
Mott-
us all on some level.
Is
Yeah,
he
right.
a crypto, whatever it is?
Technically, the 50 hertz whale would be considered a cryptid.
A crypt, I suppose, yeah, because,
Because
it's
it is
not,
not
actually
proven to exist.
It's really sort of more just internet folklore.
Speculative. Right.
You know? Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yep.
The sound is attributed to a lonely whale, but it could be other things, technically.
But this was supposed to have been the source of the bloop, is what you're
Well,
saying?
no, the night that we-
this was Tommy. This is
Tommy
Tommy's,
Mott, who was
you know,
a guest that night, speculated that the bloop.
Tommy is an
was the-
extremely qualified theorist.
Yes, yes, we love him. We love Tommy.
Does that mean
In fact, dude-
imaginative, I guess? Or what?
Well, he decided that perhaps the bloop sound was the 50 hertz whale finally found a way to come. It finally found a mate or a way to jack it or whatever, and it
masturbating.
finally had an orgasm and it created the bloop. That we
Whale
heard.
baiting.
Or went to a whale party
Whale baiting.
and
Right,
it was
right.
just like the last one.
He found a
thing,
whale hooker or something,
Right,
you know.
or something.
Right,
Yeah, it was
right.
either it was the 50 hertz whale.
Well, you
Finally
know,
happy.
On a side note about that episode that we did, that was the Unsolved Mysteries episode. We
Yes.
talked a lot. It was a good episode.
Yeah,
it was a
there
lot
was
of fun.
a lot of mysteries jammed into that
You
episode.
should go back and check out that episode. We talked about a lot of fun stuff. But what's funny about it is sitting here, there was it was a lot of commotion. There was me and you and the whole band and everything.
When we crash something, we do it right.
Yeah, and Tommy and Jeremy were way over there.
Yep.
And I kind of live missed a lot of what Tommy and Jeremy said, to be honest with you, because I was kind of over here with you and Mike Mosier.
Yeah, yeah.
And we was kind of almost like, we were so separated that they would talk, we would talk, they would talk, we would talk.
Yeah, yeah.
When I went back
Did you go
later
back and,
and
I was
watched
gonna
the
say,
show,
when you go back and watch the episode,
yes,
right?
Tommy was fucking hilarious, by the way. Him and Jeremy both.
Tommy's role in our band is kind of. You ever seen Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Yes. Yeah.
He's
Love it.
Raphael.
Yeah, right on.
You know,
There you
that's
go. Right
Tommy
on.
all the way right there.
Well, I love Tommy too. He'll come do the show and he'll be like, "I got some beer, man. What's up? We ready? Let's do the show." And yeah, man. I missed a lot of the great, funny things he said live.
yeah.
And when I went back later and watched it, I was like, "That shit was fucking funny." Goddamn.
So those are the little like Easter eggs for the show. That's why you gotta go back and rewatch them.
You really should. You really, if you like the show at all, we've done some great ones that I promise you they're worth your while to go back
Hey,
and look at.
what's the easiest way to go and find the archives? Where do you go and find them?
So go to our website, theradiovps.com. Click on the tab that says On Demand. And then what I suggest is go to where it says Category and the drop-down box and click Metal-O-Mania.
That way, because there's lots of shows on the network.
Right.
in
That
the
way you don't have to
archives.
go through by date.
But if you do Metal-O-Mania, it'll just be past episodes of
You should
Metal-O-Mania.
check out some of the other shows too. They got some good
Yeah,
shows
that's
on
right,
there.
man. Radio
They
VPS
do.
kills.
They really do.
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah,
if
we're taking
specifically,
over.
right? Yeah. Specifically, if you're looking for Metal-O-Mania, that's how to do it. But
And
while
I know
you're
that
there,
we are talking about there's I think a new website involved with Metal-O-Mania that's about to be launched over even the next couple of days. So I will make sure you guys know. I'll hit you up on Facebook, let you know how to follow that. But we're building things.
Info to follow.
And my hopes are to see right now. What kind of sucks is when you go in the archives, it's really by date. You know what I mean? That's the Metal-O-Mania on this date,
Right.
basically.
Yeah, yeah.
I did take the time. I know that Layla and Skully gave me much love for, which I appreciate. At one point, I did post there. If you look through the Metal-O-Mania page, which every now and again I'll pin it to the top and get it back up there. But
Say, if you hit him up and ask him for it, he'll get it to you.
yeah, oh yes, I will.
Yeah.
Yes, I will. And that's got a paragraph about the episodes, and I kind of just picked like the top 10 or so.
He made this really, really concise sort of top episodes guide
Yeah,
kind of
and
thing.
put the link in for
complete
each
with
one.
links. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you want that, send him an inbox,
Yeah.
real quick and say, hey man, what were you saying
Get
about that
in my
episodes guide?
inbox.
He will, he will be like, I got you, bro, right here.
I promise.
You
I
know?
promise. Yeah, well, especially since I spent like 3.5 fucking hours making that goddamn post.
And it really is. It's very much a best of the best.
Yeah, there's some great
kind
ones.
of- yeah.
The Satan episode me and Kenny did.
Yep.
Every episode you appeared on is on there. So.
Why do you think I'm pushing this?
One
The horror
was
movie one, I
missing.
think, is on there.
Which one was missing?
The Friday the 13th episode is
But
missing.
but it's in the
available
comments
now.
It's in the
We
comments.
did put it back in there, so it is right. It is in the comments now, right?
You guys mentioned it in the comments,
Right.
so
Well,
there's an Easter egg in the
Right.
comments.
Right. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Easter eggs again inside of Easter eggs.
In the comments.
Yep.
So
Look for it.
it's worth your time to check out past episodes of Metal-O-Mania
Yes, it
because
is.
we've got great interviews. I mean, the playlists are always different. We almost never repeat. I think we played like 3 songs twice in the entirety of the history of our show.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
and even that's been very much like last week. I played Lost Society's Riot because, for me, I just wanted it for me. So I decided to do
Yeah,
it. So.
no, you guys very much. This is the show to come to for new music. If you're looking for the old familiar stuff that makes you feel good because you've heard it 1,000 times, this is not your show.
That's right.
This is the
That's
show
right.
to come to hear something brand new that you've never heard before.
We'll probably come up with one of those
Yeah,
on
we-
our station.
as we branch
you know.
out, maybe we will.
Right?
Just
Yeah.
because people still want that stuff. You still need that
Right.
stuff.
Yeah,
you
not
know.
not knocking that stuff at all, but
Yeah.
this
But
is
Metal-O-Mania,
this is-
yeah, that's not
This
what
is
we're here
all
to do.
about the new stuff.
Right.
Well, I'm here to dispel. I'm here to shove something into the mouth of every metalhead that says metal sucks since the '80s. I'm here to totally dispel that myth
Yep,
because that
wrong.
is such horseshit. That is so metal
More
is
people saying there's no good
alive
bands
and
anymore.
well, yeah,
Yeah.
crazy talk.
There's
Yeah.
too many good bands. That's
Right,
the opposite
too
problem.
many good
Right,
bands.
yeah.
Need to get to.
Right.
You
It's
can't get
hard,
to
but yeah, you just can't. It's
Oh, dude.
overwhelming. It
This
really
is by
is.
far the best time for me.
I'll give you
ever.
guys a peek behind the scenes. Even what I do, I get fucking at this point. I get new records from promoters. I get new records from lots of different sources, and I love you guys for it. We have a broadcast license, which enables us to get a lot of things. So I'm really able to get my hands on a lot of brand new metal as it hits the market, and I have a growing folder of them.
Yeah.
You know, and I go through them every week. I several days a week. I sit there and just listen to new albums, and I kind of have a way that I do it. Some things immediately I know I like it, so I make a new folder for that.
Yeah.
Now those are things we're gonna get on the show.
Right.
Some things I feel like, all right, it's got something, but I need to listen to it more. I need to properly get this.
Right.
You know, it requires multiple listens.
Those are actually my favorite songs.
Those turn out to
those
be.
go on to be my favorite songs.
Those
of
are the
ever.
ones
Yeah.
that last
Yeah.
the longest with you
Yeah.
very
Absolutely.
often. Right. Very much
They
true.
take some time to get to know them.
Right.
Get to,
Right.
They're
into the
showing
groove of
you
what they're
something
doing.
you haven't
Yeah.
heard before and
Right.
don't necessarily have context for yet.
Agreed.
You know?
Agreed.
Yeah.
And I create a separate folder for those.
Nice.
And those I do go into often and listen to. You know, give them their proper
Yeah.
listen.
Right.
And then there's another folder which is I don't like this. This is not good.
Right.
This is not good. This is not.
There will
Or,
always
well,
have to be that folder.
let me actually include a caveat. It's not that I don't like it. It's necessarily, but this is not Metal-O-Mania. This is.
Right.
There are some bands that I've heard people who have sent songs to me that I do like it on a personal level, but it's not Metal-O-Mania. You know what I mean? It's not for this show.
Right, right.
Maybe we'll have a show that will, be dedicated to that coming up as we branch off, and I hope we do. But this show is definitely very much about, if you watch us every week, you'll notice we start with the thrashy crossover type of stuff, and we get more and more towards the death stuff as we go. And by the end of the show, we're full on death in it.
Right, right, right.
If we do an interview with a thrash band, you'll hear that interview in hour 1. If it's a death metal band, you'll hear it in the second half of the show. It's just kind of how we do it here.
Yeah,
So.
it's great.
And you'll throw in the occasional Bongwood Jam hardcore type thing.
Yes.
you
Oh,
know.
well, I love to throw a hardcore jam out there for Bongwood
Yeah, yeah.
often.
That's also for me, by the way.
Awesome.
You know?
Awesome.
Yeah.
I call those Bongwood Scooby Snacks, actually.
Nice.
He works his ass off for us all the time, so I got to keep throwing him Scooby Snacks
Very
for his
nice.
efforts, man.
Very nice, yeah.
Hey, let me ask you this though.
Sure.
So lately, how you go through so much music and you hear something you love and you listen to it for like a day or two or a week even, but then new stuff's pouring in. I've been going back and purposely going back to, albums I discovered earlier last year or just whatever, albums that I loved at the time and got away from because too much new stuff came on. Man, that is that's my PSA announcement for everybody. Is everybody should go back and do that. Find
That's a tough edge of the blade to walk.
Yeah.
Especially doing the show. I very much, because often I'll even get into something for like a week or two while we're doing it on the show.
Yeah.
And really check out the whole album, not just the song we play. But then I'll go kind of later and, you're moving on. It's new, something new, something new, something new. And then 2 months or 3 months will go by, and sometimes I'll look through I have a big folder of, all right, we played this.
Yeah.
And every now and again, I feel like, well, if we played it, obviously I like the band enough to play a song. There's maybe another song on one of these albums to check out, which is why that folder exists.
Right, yeah.
And when I go in there, though, sometimes I'll see something like, oh, fuck yeah, I love that shit. I want to play something else off of that, Last week even, we played a hardcore song for Bongwood off of the American Ghost, Great American Ghost, the Great American Ghost album. And dude, when that album first came out, I could not stop playing it. Hatred Stems from the Sea. That's what the name of the album even. And then I kind of got away from it because new stuff.
Yeah.
And then when I went through that folder last week, I was like, fuck yeah, I'm playing something else off of this album. You know, people got to know. People got to know.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, and if it's a great album, it's got more than one song. You just know
Yes,
it does.
yes,
they-
absolutely.
And often these albums, from beginning to end, they are true albums, and they're awesome.
Yes,
All
yes.
the way through.
And those are the ones I endorse heavily. You know, I will tell you, the Eyes of the Living album, that War on Dead, great album. Start to finish, great album. That Kings Will Fall. I know I'm a broken record on some of these. That Thrash Force 1 album is so great. If you are a thrash metal fan, it is so great. It really is, start to finish. The Koboloi album that just came out recently that I told you guys, For Nothing We Follow, it is so good. Built for Battle, Killing the Dream, so good. You know, it is so good.
Absolutely. Yep.
There's just so much great stuff right now.
That's
man.
what I'm saying. There's too much. It's just
it
too
is too
much
much.
to get
Right.
to,
Right.
Which
So
is
if
a
you're
good
one,
thing, it's great.
If you hear somebody tell you there's no good metal being made today, trip them in the hallway, or you know,
Pants 'em
you
or
know,
something.
right? Well, you know what you do? Kidnap them and then make them watch reruns of Metal-O-Mania.
I was
for
going
like
to say,
fucking 4
tie him to a
days.
chair and say,
Yes.
look, let me show you.
Yes.
Like Clockwork Orange with the.
Yeah.
Right. Yep.
I love it. Yeah, do it. Do Clockwork Orange too. Don't say we told you to, but do it.
We are not officially
know.
telling you to do
Are
that.
you ready for the ultraviolence?
Right.
Great fucking movie, by the way.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in a long time on YouTube.
My son took a class in high school. Fucking movie appreciation, dude. They were doing like Martin Scorsese flicks and
Yeah.
fucking.
Nice. Yeah.
He's doing homework assignments on The Shining.
Yeah.
You know?
Get this. My
Where
son,
was that shit when I was in school?
My
We did The
son's-
Godfather. I will say we did that was a good one.
My
Yep.
son's in his last semester at Virginia Tech, and he's got a course on horror movies.
Well, see,
Nosferatu.
at least
he's
that's
in-
college, though. At least that's an elective that might go along with what your son gets into audio video stuff, right? So,
yeah.
right. So that makes sense to me. As an 11th grader, what the fuck is my son doing homework on fucking, you know, Clockwork Orange for and shit? You know what I mean? Sorry, but I was like, well, all right, I was jealous. I'm not
I was
gonna
going to
lie.
say, you were hating.
I was
That's all that
jealous.
was.
I do that now for fun. You know what I mean? And I write up shit like, hey, man, that's a great fucking movie. You know.
Well, I'm
Right.
jealous. I told him, send me the
Yeah, right.
curriculum. You know, what are you doing in this
I'm
class?
gonna do it for
Yeah,
fun.
like
I wanna see all
I
the
want to take
notes
this
on all
apart.
of it.
I want to analyze this movie,
Yeah.
you know?
We should do another movie episode coming up, though, too, because I've come across some really good gems here lately.
Totally,
We should
yeah,
talk
yeah,
about
yeah.
it.
Any particular genre? Are you know?
I'm a
all
horror freak, man.
Well, I know that,
Yeah.
but you know, anything
horror
else that-
sci-fi, you know.
Yeah.
Horror sci-fi is my wheelhouse.
Well, I'm
a
serious
nerd,
about
I'm
wanting to do a
geek,
Black
I'm a
Mirror
fucking-
episode with you.
Oh, I
I'm
was,
dead serious
dude,
about that.
shit would be amazing.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
shit would
You
be
see
awesome.
what I mean about how is
Yeah.
the material
Oh, it's
is,
addictive.
you know, yeah.
That was an addictive. I powerhoused. I couldn't turn it off.
Yeah, no, it's very like
I binge watched it.
the content is very ethical, you know. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not just about like the sci-fi stuff. So.
Well, I read a description of it that I thought was apt. It was a peek at what society, as we take on more technological advances, not just what it does to our technology, but what it does to us as human beings
Yeah.
and our value system.
Yeah.
Cautionary tales.
And
They're
it's
serious.
very cautionary. Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah,
Definitely
very
what
much
you
so.
wish for.
Yeah.
Very cool.
But we'll talk more about
The
that later.
episode where they're killing the rats. Good episode.
Whoa, which one was that?
Yeah,
gotta
the
go
rats.
catch up on
They
it.
were going after this
Oh, sorry.
insurgent. Were you
I
telling me
said
to stop
no.
talking?
No. Well, I mean, don't blow it for everybody, but no, I won't.
Oh,
I
yeah,
just
she was
bumped
like,
you.
shh.
No.
But they were seeing the rats. They were like the soldiers. They were soldiers. They were going into
Yes,
the town. and,
yes, yeah, the
you know,
monster
the
things.
monster things. Yeah.
yes,
right.
no, yeah.
Cool episode, man.
Yeah,
Very
that
cool.
one messed with my head too. You know, most of them did. That was just really. Anyway, yes.
So I highly recommend Black Mirror.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Me
and
too.
I will tell you this. On a side note, if you're fat, ugly, and old like me, that's what I'd brush my teeth to as a Black Mirror and do my hair and get out of the shower and I make sure the mirror is black.
So let's talk about Corpse Hoarder.
Let's talk about some corpse hoarder, shall we? Is
Sounds
that a
good.
cryptid? Is there a cryptid called a corpse hoarder?
I think that would fall under cannibals.
Yeah, they probably
Like the
exist.
serial
I think
killer
they
episode,
exist for
maybe.
sure.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, or yes,
well, there
serial
might
killers.
be some animals that hoard corpses that we don't know about. I mean, maybe Bigfoot has a whole shit
Do you
ton
ever
of fucking
see?
bodies.
Do you ever see the movie The Ghost in the Darkness? About those two
Oh,
lions?
yes.
The two lions
Kurt,
actually based on a true
Russell,
story.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
No, Michael Douglas.
Michael Douglas.
I don't know why you
You're
said
right.
Kurt Russell, and I thought, yes, Michael Douglas.
Well, you know what? Those two cross sometimes in my brain.
Yeah, but anyway,
Michael
Michael
Douglas,
Douglas
you're
and
right.
Val Kilmer. Yeah, based on a true story about these two lions, and they said that all of the major details of the movie were true. I don't know about, I didn't look to see whether or not this one was true, but in the movie, yes, those lions had been hoarding human carcasses in a cave.
See?
Oh, wow.
Corpse hoarders.
Yeah.
Exactly. And caves.
Fitting.
Dozens.
And caves.
Dozens.
No portals, man.
Right,
Well,
right.
you know.
In
the fastest way to
underground,
the
secret
corpse pile.
underground worlds.
Don't dumb me down, man. All right? No.
Caves.
Let me talk creatively to T. Okay, but Corpse Order. All right, let's talk about Corpse Order, because this is some badass new metal from Philly.
Nice.
You know, and we got to grow. And, man, I know Philly, they're just talking about the Super Bowl and all that shit up there right now, but I want to talk about the metal when I talk about Philly.
Yeah, you may not be able to
fuck
talk
me.
about that anyway
What,
on
the
the
Super
radio.
Bowl?
Yeah, I've heard
Yeah.
a lot of people on the radio recently talking about you can't say that word. They'll
What?
sue you for saying that word.
For saying
What?
Philly?
Super Bowl.
Oh, Super
Oh.
Bowl?
Huh.
Yeah, for real. Who knows?
Oh, is that like the Olympics or something? You can't use it. With
Probably. Oh, I'm excited about the Olympics coming. You just said a fucking fucked up word, man, because I'm excited as fuck about the Olympics. Do you get into the Olympics, Layla?
Do I what?
Do you get into the Olympics?
No, actually, no.
Oh,
What?
my God.
certain
No,
things.
I don't know why. I mean, if I
Oh.
let me put it this way: if they're on a TV in front of me, I will sit there and I will watch them and not be able to stop. But I don't go
Summer
This
too?
seek
You're
one-
out
not really
and
into
find
the
them.
summer thing either.
Right.
This one's going to be sitting on the couch for the next 3 weeks crying.
It's 2
Alright.
weeks,
Yeah?
but yeah, I
Bawling.
cry.
Right.
I
yeah.
cry at the good stuff. I cry at the bad
See,
stuff.
every time they
cry.
show a parent in the stands,
I
she's
believe
bawling.
it. I believe it. Yeah.
I
Because the
can see
parents
that.
are like doing the routine with
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, right.
Like when the high jump, they're like,
Right?
Watching the ski things, the parents are always like,
so funny. Watch them. You'll see it.
Oh my
You'll do it.
goodness.
she does it on the couch.
Oh my
I do.
goodness.
I
She'll be
really-
watching the bobsled like,
I just can't help it.
yeah,
I
we love the
it.
Olympics.
And
What
I
about
love
the
all like
figure
the
skaters?
feel-good stories
I love the
that
figure
go
skating,
with
too.
it.
I used to date a girl that was a semi-professional figure skater, believe it or not.
wow.
Actually. And went to a lot of events and stuff. I grew to appreciate it. There's a lot
Now,
of
can
cool
you
stuff.
handle the guys, or is it only? I mean,
Yeah, I don't
what's
care.
your?
Oh my
like
goodness.
The team stuff is the best stuff, even in my opinion, man. The trust. I just
Yeah,
can't get over
that
the
stuff's
fact
really cool.
that we've trained for 12 years or however long
Yeah.
together. And if you fucking fuck up, my whole shit is gone.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
The
one
trust and
drop.
the, oh my God.
Because the pressure, they're so perfect at
Oh.
that one drop, one
Yeah.
something
Oh
like
my
that.
goodness.
Yeah.
Any flaws.
And it's over.
Any flaws count.
Dude,
And they're doing crazy shit, quads and shit.
If you're in a
Nice.
pair of whatever,
Yep.
no matter what sport it is, even figure skating, whatever the fuck it is, in the Olympics, and you do your shit perfectly, and your partner fucks the goat.
Right.
Oh, God damn it.
How
Are
do
you
you
ever
live with
speaking
that
to
for
that
the rest
person
of your
again?
life? Right? I know.
You know, I love that Jerry Seinfeld has a hilarious bit about the Olympics, though. You work your whole life, you busted your ass. You trained your whole life for the Olympics. This is the difference between first place and last place,
Yeah,
you know.
you come in last.
Here, legend. Here, nobody knows your name. You know,
Yeah,
that's
Oh, it's insane. Yeah.
Crazy.
Really is.
And isn't he like, boy, I could have not trained at all, and
Yeah,
I could have come in
right.
last. Holy shit, that was, I didn't have to train at all for this shit.
Yeah, that shit's fucking funny, man.
Yeah.
Funny shit.
Yeah, I love it.
So the Olympics are coming, though.
Yep.
Right.
On your
Start
faces.
on our
We'll be
anniversary
talking
this
about it
year.
on the show.
Yeah.
'Cause
Oh,
we-
I
we
tried
get
to take
into it.
the 2 weeks off.
She wanted to shut the fucking show down
I did.
for the Olympics.
Oh, man.
Wow.
That's so
didn't-
every 2 years they go on.
Not gonna happen.
Can
He
you just
didn't-
have like a
Yeah.
TV running in the studio?
He didn't
We
buy
may
it.
have to. We
Right.
may have to.
Yeah, I mean, I'll have my app running for sure.
And I'll be,
Yeah.
DVRing some shit. We'll be all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the show just switches to live streaming of you guys crying.
Yeah.
Right.
Here's
Well,
another
we've been
metal song.
Right.
We've been watching just past Olympics, just like the summary, like
Really?
show,
Wow.
things. Yeah, and I sit there crying on those.
She can't handle it.
Yeah.
Well, and the Olympics start on our anniversary, our 19th anniversary, February
wow.
8th.
Congratulations.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
19 years.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck?
Right.
Crazy.
Is that where all the gray
Long
comes
ways
from?
to go. pal,
Yes,
long
yes it is. And to all of our metalheads,
Hang in
they
there.
keep telling me how she's too hot for you, dude. And you're not good enough. You're not worthy. Suck a dick, I know. She's not supposed to. Have a motherfucker's back.
Right.
Calling me out, man. Fuck.
Well, thanks, guys.
Only one friend of ours said, "Oh, she's lucky too, because you're awesome." One friend, Chrissy. So I love you, Chrissy. Fuck all the rest of these cocksuckers.
This is a girl, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
She wants it. Oh, I mean, Sorry, Chrissy, I love you. But back to Corpse Hoarder. Back to Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
Because, again, the point I was making is they're talking about nothing but the Super Bowl up there, but we're talking about their fucking metal.
Yeah.
The fucking Eyes of the Living is going to be on our show April 13th. They're from Philly, and I fucking love those guys.
Very nice.
Yeah. I'll start promoting that soon.
Yeah, we'll be on it. We'll be on it at some point soon. We'll get around to it. We got a lot going on. So, but anyway, just before Christmas, Corpse Hoarder released their fucking debut album. Another debut album. See what I'm saying? Brand new shit, man.
Yeah.
Brand new shit.
Right.
The album is called Hard to Kill. The song is called Into the Ground. Put it on your neck brace and check it out. Keep hanging out with us. We ain't done yet. Whole Corpse Hoarder.
Nice.
The perfect soundtrack if you want to stack bodies in the basement.
Right?
You know what
I mean, who doesn't?
From Philly.
From Philly, yeah, boy. Brutal. Philly's a brutal town, man.
Yeah.
Brutal town, buddy.
What do you think is going to... Are you allowed to talk about it? What do you think is going to happen this weekend?
Super Bowl wise?
Yeah.
I think the Patriots are going to win. I don't talk too much sports on here, but
yeah.
Honestly, I'm less of a sports fan today than I probably ever have been.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I've watched less and less and less over the years.
Me too.
Yeah.
I used to eat, sleep, and breathe it, man. I just don't anymore. And I'll be honest with you, the Capitals, the Washington
I
Capitals.
watched the moment it happened.
Yeah.
His sports boner broke.
My sports boner broke.
Wow.
That's so accurate, man.
I did.
The Capitals did it. Well, first of all, I'm a lifelong Washington Wizards / Bullets fan.
Yeah.
Okay. Who have sucked since '78. You know what I mean? The last time they were good, I was 7 years old with Wes Unseld as a player, and before he got behind the scenes and destroyed the team. So, but as the Capitals did it, man. They broke me. The last year when they lost again in a Game 7 again to the Pittsburgh Penguins again for the 3,000th time, it feels like in my life, it was too much. I haven't watched very much Capitals this year. I didn't watch very many of the Orioles games. I mean, I got an Orioles tattoo.
But you know what I find? When you don't watch sports, you get a lot of time back.
Yes,
you do other
you
stuff.
really
I
do,
practice
man.
Drums, practice. I mean, just
And
practice
dude,
your
not
I don't
being
watch
heartbroken
sports.
on Sunday because
Takes
your
too much
team
time.
lost is very
Refreshing, or-
it's uplifting.
Yeah.
It's relieving. It's
I'm not trying to knock sports, but that's why I've never really gotten into it much.
It takes
you
too
know?
much damn time.
Well, think about this. In the NFL, you root for your team. There's 32 teams. So you got a 1 in 32 shot of having a where the fuck season.
Yep,
Really.
exactly. Everybody else is
walking away disappointed.
And,
you know?
and they talk about teams. Oh, first Super Bowl appearance in like 26 years. It's like, well, there's 30 some teams. I mean, that's
Right.
That's what you need to expect.
Right.
I mean,
I think the Patriots are going to win, to answer your question, but I'm not even sure I'll be watching, to be honest with you.
I'll watch it. I know I'll watch it. I mean, I'm kind of interested in the fact that a quarterback has the chance to do 6, wins. I think it's cool when somebody has a chance to make that kind of history.
Right on.
So,
arguably the GOAT
Yeah,
at this point
exactly.
for sure. I won't get into all the cheating and scandals.
Right.
What I will get into, though, is some Bigfoot talk. What
Yes.
do you think?
Yeah,
What do you think, Ken?
You've come prepared for that, haven't you?
Yeah, I came
Yeah.
prepared
Right?
for that.
Yeah, let's
for
hear
it.
something.
I mean, you talk cryptozoology, you have to talk about the Patterson.
You
Don't you
have
think you
to.
have to at least mention it?
Yes.
Yep, I think
Yeah,
so. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Do you
It's
think
very,
people
it's
know
very
what it is?
iconic.
Yeah, it's iconic. People
Yeah.
know what it is. You think, or-
In case they don't, tell them.
So 1967, Roger Patterson takes the famous Bigfoot film. It's been spoofed in Elf, everything, right? It's the famous one. It's on T-shirts and so on.
Right. The one where you see him walking across
Looking
a
over
dry
the right
riverbed
shoulder.
and looks
Yeah.
back over his shoulder,
Right.
and
And
then
he
keeps walking.
was hunting Bigfoot. He was out planning to actually do this, and so that's one of the skeptical criticisms of it is that it's just too good to be true.
Right.
He
I went out
there,
to film Bigfoot and I did it.
boom, Here it is.
Right,
And it's perfect and
Yeah,
everything.
there's generally two types of evidence. There's evidence that is really flimsy and can be easily explained by something else, and then there's evidence that's way too good to be true.
Yeah.
Typically, in any kind of cryptozoology, paranormal stuff, that's most of what you see.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Well, there's another guy that's got Bigfoot shows on right now, and he's got footage, and it's so fake looking, and I don't know why people are falling for it. But the interesting thing about the Patterson film is that, to this day, it really has never been proven to be a hoax. It's never proven to be a hoax.
Right.
Several people have claimed to be the person in the suit. They've tried to explain it with shoulder pads and stuff. But, when experts blow it up and study it in detail, because there are some frames that are pretty detailed, they're pretty convinced that it would be an incredibly difficult hoax to pull off.
Right.
It's actually in that sense, it stood the test of time. Now, certainly books have been written about it that claim it's a hoax. He was a known, cheat and a swindler kind of a guy and stuff like that.
yeah.
But, I mean, still, for 1967, it was quite an impressive feat to have pulled that off. Because that thing, I mean, you can see muscles, you can see when it moves its arms, it's got triceps and delts, and it's really pretty incredible. So if somebody did a suit, they did a really good job with it.
Right,
is the cool thing about it.
So, Sasquatch or the very first furry?
Very first furry?
Yeah. Right. It's either a genuine Sasquatch or it's
the very first furry.
Yeah.
The first recorded instance of a furry.
Yeah, exactly.
What you don't know is that it went off a camera and made a porn with the Debbie Does Dallas girl.
They smelled awful too.
Yeah, exactly.
I think
they
it was
all
Ron
do.
Jeremy. My theory is that it was Ron Jeremy, but
in the gorilla suit.
Actually looked quite a bit.
Yeah.
Not even in the gorilla
no,
suit. You
no,
ever seen
just
Ron
hairy.
Jeremy?
He's a hairy dude.
Well, let me ask you: have you ever seen it? Like when people slow it down and analyze it and everything? Have you ever seen those things on it?
I've seen it in passing.
I've seen some.
I
of them,
had chosen it to be our gift for tonight at one point, but the moon. I lost the moon argument to Scully.
Yeah, it's actually worth going down the rat hole a little bit, and you see both sides, and there's a lot on both sides. People supporting it and showing all kinds of reasons, and people against it showing all kinds of reasons. But the one thing everybody agrees on, it's never been shown to be a hoax. Everybody agrees on that. It's really pretty amazing.
It's never been disproven.
Yeah, it's never been disproven.
Wow.
So
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what do you believe in Bigfoot?
I believe that there's there's shrouds of hoax and not miscommunication, but misidentification and kooks in the field and all kinds of stuff like that. But underneath it all, there actually might be something there, for that one. There's enough evidence that have enough experts convinced that, it's possible.
It's all in how you look at it in a lot of ways. If you put it to me in these terms, somewhere on this planet, there's a big ass fucking mammal that we haven't discovered that exists.
Yeah.
Seems pretty easy to buy.
Right.
It seems, that seems like, okay, yeah, that seems pretty possible.
Yeah.
You
It's
know,
a big world, deep
big world,
forests.
right? Yeah, we don't know every fucking thing.
Yeah. I mean, chimpanzees were very little known until the 60s.
Right,
We knew they were
right.
there, but we knew nothing about them. And
Right.
there's big animals out there.
Right. On that level, it does seem very possible. Whether or not I buy the Patterson film per se, I'm on the fence.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It seems hokey. You know what I mean? I did see the footage that Layla talked about a little bit earlier too, where the guy who claimed at one point to have been in the suit walked with a very odd gait. You know what I mean? And it was kind of.
It looked very, very similar to the video.
The problem with things like cryptids and even, I'm sorry, baby, I know I'm boxing you out over there. But the problem with cryptids and even some of the unsolved mysteries that we talked about, like we got into the crop circles when we did the unsolved mysteries thing, is that if people hear one snippet that it's a hoax, they buy it immediately. It's a hoax. It's very easy to sell people on something was a hoax.
Yeah, but it also draws a lot of hoaxers into these things as well. They want to be the person to, discover it or make some money cashing in if people believe it and everything. So it draws all that as well.
Right.
And sometimes teasing that out of it to try to find out what's really going on, is very hard.
Yeah. Hoaxers don't mean it's not real.
Yeah.
Right, that's right.
Not necessarily, right?
And if they're hoaxers do that shit, you're a cocksmoker. Why did you muddy the water, man? I want to know. I'm a curious dude by nature, man. I got an inquiring mind.
Exactly.
I want to know.
Just
find the giant
get the fuck out of the way so we can figure out the real deal, you asshole.
Yeah. And making any real evidence anybody finds looks bad,
Yeah, you fucking slug.
Yeah, almost like I think of the Jack Black character in King Kong, right? Where he is a swindler. He does steal the boat. He probably owes tons of people money. But lo and behold, he caught the tiger by the tail. And actually, he had King Kong there. He's like, oh my God.
Right.
But he,
Yep.
The believability of the people in the circles is very much often the question when it comes to cryptids. It does seem to be people with a blurry reputation at best.
Yeah, lots of them.
And that does cloudy the waters.
Also, too, even my observation has been that even people with the sincerest beliefs, they're not hoaxers at all, tend to be very emotionally driven. You know, they want it to be real. So when they see something, then they see something as supportive evidence. And the problem is you can't do science that way.
Right.
You have to want the truth in all of its whatever it is.
The truth
Your
must be
brain
paramount.
can kind of make things up. Or
Exactly.
You can see
Yeah,
things
you
that
can see, you know, you can find hair on a trail and you can be so excited that you think you found Bigfoot hair that you don't test to see if it's the next most obvious thing.
You interpret everything in favor of your theory. You
Right,
know,
exactly, yeah.
Everything I see confirms it.
Right. And then you just look like a nut.
Then you're
because, you know,
subliminally doing yourself dirty. You know what I mean? You know the whole, suicidal song back in the day. You're fucking with me subliminally. You're fucking with yourself subliminally at that point.
Yeah.
If you have pre-drawn your conclusions, right, your brain will fill in the blanks accordingly.
Now, and I'll be straight with you.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I like, as we've already discussed in this show, I love dinosaurs. I'm a huge dinosaur fan. I knew the names of dinosaurs when I was a little kid before I knew, the proper names of things around the house. I will be the first one to, I know, right? I love me some dinosaurs. But I'll be the first one to tear down all of the Loch Ness Monster stuff because I've done, enough research to find out whether or not it's real because I want it to be real. I want, if there's a creature in this lake, a prehistoric dinosaur
I want
creature,
to believe.
I want to know it's there, but the only way to know for a fact it's there is to try to disprove it's there. Also, not just try to prove it, but also try to disprove it. And if you can't disprove it, then that's tangible. That's a big deal.
Right.
But it's really, unfortunately, very easy to disprove.
Well, and if you want to hear
Ness,
Layla completely tear apart the Loch Ness Monster theory, you can go check out our Unsolved Mysteries episode.
I did. I blew it out
I
of the
thought
water.
you did. It was awesome, though.
I poo-pooed it. I was like, no, it's not real. It just isn't. Sorry.
In very many ways,
Like the lake
food
wasn't
supply,
even
the
there.
whole thing. Yeah,
Say what?
The lake wasn't even there until recently, I think, is for one thing.
Yeah, well, that was one of the things I mentioned is that the most recent, because it was a glacier, it was carved out by a glacier. It's along a fault line, and it was carved out by a glacier over multiple ice ages, and the last ice age glacier that was in it was 11,000 years ago.
Yeah.
And the dinosaurs that would be, the aquatic dinosaur that would be in it would be 65 million years old. So
that math is not working out so good.
That's one on a list of reasons why it can't, that there's not enough fish in the lake to support a monster population that size.
If the Loch Ness Monster is there, that motherfucker owes me about $350.
Right.
I mean, there have to be enough of them to breed and survive that long and everything. They would have been found. In
The
a small
amount
lake like
the amount of fish that are in that lake, I think they
Wouldn't
estimated
sustain,
to be about 74 tons of fish, which is actually a very small amount of fish for the size of the lake it is, and that is not enough fish to support a monster population the size of. You would need a population of creatures that were, if they were about 500 pounds each, to have a lot more fish than that, and there would need to be about 30 creatures minimum to sustain a breedable population. The amount of fish that are in that lake right now could only support about 10.
Yeah.
So you don't have enough for a viable breeding population.
I'm going to feed you to Nessie, honey.
All right. In addition
You
to the fact
fading
that
on me?
they breathe air, so
we
they
have
would have to come to the
Chessie right here.
surface.
You don't
All
have
the
to go that
time,
far.
yeah.
I could feed
Well,
you to
not all the
Chessie.
time,
His
but you know what I
cousin.
mean.
Yeah. No,
Nessie, I can go to
multiple
Chessie.
times a day.
Right.
And if you had 30 of them in the lake coming up to the surface multiple times a day, you'd see them all the time.
Yep,
So,
absolutely.
anyway, I could keep going. And this is
that's-
something that I want to be true. I want to. I was so fascinated with this creature and every other, like Chessie. And there's a Congolese monster too. I forget what it's called, but it's like a little mini brontosaurus.
Makembe, is that the? It's called Makembe.
Makembe Mutombo, man, he's
Something like
real.
that.
I've seen him.
Right.
Yeah. Is that what it is? Is that the one it is?
I'm talking about a basketball player.
Oh. I don't know. That sounds like what I was talking about.
I don't
It's very
remember the
close to
name
that.
of it, but yes, something similar to that.
Mokele or
it's like a brontosaurus that's about
Yeah,
the size of a
a tiny one.
hippopotamus. Yes, supposedly in the Congo. Now I haven't done a whole lot
I
of
rode
research
one of
on
those
that one,
once,
so-
but then the acid wore off.
Right.
Sorry.
Anyway, we could do a whole show about Layla debunking all of the dinosaur
Hey,
monster things.
and who the fuck said we won't?
Right, we might.
So,
Yeah, that would be a good one.
good stuff. Good stuff. You guys are fucking smart, man. You guys you guys like think and stuff.
Yeah, we like, red.
Caves.
Caves,
man.
not underground.
It's not a fucking portal, dude.
World.
What a fucking portal. What are you, video game playing, dick?
Fucking cave.
What the hell are you
cave.
smoking, man?
Right.
Read a book.
Read a book. Yeah, right on. It's a fucking cave then.
Hey, but squids are real. That's a cool one.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, they are,
That's
yeah.
right. Speaking of giant squids, cadaver disaster. Hey, like that. Actually, what I got for you up next for our listening pleasure is a very awesome thing that I'm very excited to play for everybody. Our buddies, our new friends, Sanctum Defile.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
I fucking love these dudes, man. We played Coffin Fields from them about a month ago. We were going to play this interview with them that we did 2 weeks ago. We were going to play it last week, but we decided to kick it back a week so that we can play a brand new song from these motherfuckers.
Nice.
So we got a chance to sit down with the Kroll brothers, Eric and Jason, our buddies, our friends, your buddies, your friends if you're fucking metalheads, man. A death outfit out of our own backyard, Southern Maryland.
Nice.
Southern Maryland cats, man.
Nice, right?
They were nice enough to spend some time with me and talk a little bit about the project they are working on and to share with us a brand new jam called Cadaver Disaster. So check it out right now, you guys. Keep hanging out with us. We still ain't done.
Crypto, I'm on the phone with the fellas from Sanctum Defile, out of motherfucking Maryland even, our local guys, man. It's good to talk to a local band for a change, you guys.
Hey, I'm Jason Kroll from Sanctum Defile. I play guitar and do the vocals.
Hi, I'm Eric Kroll, and I'm the drummer for Sanctum Defile.
And you guys formed Sanctum Defile in 1988, is my understanding, right?
Yeah, it was right around there. It might have been shortly before that. We started out playing thrash metal, and we quickly went to death metal.
Yeah, man, we played Coffin Fields on the show a couple of weeks ago, and man, I gotta tell you, it's a badass jam. I dig what I've heard so far.
Yeah, that's some of the latest of the older material that was around 90-ish, and actually the vocals were just finished up recently. And then we have several new songs that we're working on, and it's going to be great. And we're putting out a lot of the older stuff that we did through the 80s and early 90s.
Are you going to put them out kind of song by song? Like I noticed that you released Coffin Fields as a single. Are you going to release song by song, or are you going to? Is the plan to ultimately release an album of it, or what's your approach?
Yeah, we have the album coming out. We've got 10 songs. We have one new song on it, but the other 9 are the old songs, and we're going to put the whole album out. But I think we'll put out another single or 2 before we put the full album out.
We all live quite a distance away, and hooking up to jam. Sometimes we can't do it every weekend, so sometimes we're only practicing once a month, sometimes less. So we're still trying to get organized closer to where we can get more done in a shorter period of time. But for right now, it takes a little bit of time.
Right. Well, I tell you what, I talk to a lot of bands these days that seem to, everyone kind of does their own part in their own place, and then they, digitally put it together.
Send it. Yeah. We could probably do that. We're kind of close, but we'd have to do some arranging. But we did like being set up in one spot and rehearsing to try to be ready for some live stuff. Plus, it's great being together live. But yeah, I thought about that too. But we're in the works of getting stuff a little closer to where we can do that too.
We like to do things old school style. We just jam together and record it.
I'm all for that myself, man. I think there's something to be said for the creativity that comes from jamming together instead of, doing it individually. I wonder if we lose something by doing it that way, to be honest.
I think we might. We're just used to doing it the old school way, and that's probably the way we're going to do it. But you never know.
Do you have a title for the album that's going to be out?
Not yet. We're still working on that. We had a few ideas, but we haven't set anything in stone yet.
It may just be one of the song titles.
Well, let's talk about the other guys in the band, man. Who do you guys got? I know that, Jason, you do the guitar and vocals, and Eric, you're on drums. So who do you got? What do you got? Jim Colton on bass, correct?
That's correct.
And that rounds out the threesome, correct?
That's right.
So, man, I love a good fucking three-piece band, brother. I think that's the fucking... You guys really do everything old school. I do like that, man.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we just do 3-piece, their rhythm tracks, their guitar, vocal down, and that's it, just to balance it. And so it's pretty much raw, pure, something that's going to be produced live. Pretty much the same effect is how you're hearing it. Pretty much how you hear it is how you're going to hear it live.
That's the way it should be, brother. Well, so you guys are brothers. Did you guys grow up as little kids knowing, man, we're going to do this fucking metal thing?
I don't know. We both really just got into the same type of music and stuff. We got into metal, and then we started getting into the thrash metal, and then it just progressed from there. And I guess I was about 15. Around 85, I got a drum set, and we just started messing around and decided we were going to start a band.
So who were some of you guys' favorite bands when you were coming up through the scene? Who were the bands that really did it for you?
For me, it was, I guess we were listening to Sodom and Creator and stuff like that. The one that I really liked was Celtic Frost and a band called Necrobore.
Yeah, pretty much the same. A lot of them, Necrovores definitely was just outrageous. Hearing the obituary when they were Executioner was crazy when we first heard that. Some of the old Sepultura was really getting us into the more brutal music.
Right.
And then, of course, Cannibal Corpse, Deicide, all them bands coming out of the 80s, 90s, Morbid Angel. Demos of bands that never even went anywhere too much, like maybe Dead Conspiracy.
And Massacre.
I think they ended up putting something out. I'm not sure what members, but yeah, it's been a lot of stuff. I'm really like one of my top bands are like Carcass, like Nile. Lately, I've been listening to All Is At an End. The Brutal Nature, which is something that just recently came out, I think 2017. And I'm waiting for a new Nile to come out because Nile is working on something here soon.
Are you able to get out and do some shows? Is that something that you're planning on amping up when you move closer together, or what's the plan for that?
Yeah, we're planning on doing some shows, but we're trying to finish the recording on this album first. I'd like to do some vinyl too, but we'll see.
Yeah, man, vinyl's making a comeback, I notice.
Oh, yeah, big time, especially the metalheads.
Let's tell everybody how to follow the band, though. Everybody out there who's listening, all the Metal-O-Maniacs out there, how do they follow Sanctum Defile?
Okay, well, we have a Facebook page, morbidseed.com.
Sanctum Defile at Morbidseed, which is MORBIDCY. Sanctum Defile at MORBIDCY.
And, of course, our Bandcamp page.
Which Coffin Fields is available on Bandcamp right now, correct?
That's right.
Go out there and pick up your copy of Coffin Fields, you guys, man. Awesome jam.
We're excited about it, too, and we just can't wait to get this thing out, and hopefully people will like it. This is Eric Kroll from Sanctum Defile.
And this is Jason Kroll, guitars and vocals of Sanctum Defile on Metal-O-Mania with the motherfucking Crypt.
you are welcome again. Fuck yeah, man. Those dudes are awesome, man. Jason and Eric Kroll, Sanctum Defile, awesome. Working on some projects. We are going to play it for you as it becomes available more and more for you. I promise. And as you can tell right there, man, brutal death.
And when's that one coming out?
That
Did it
is,
already come out?
well, that song was world premiere.
That was premiered.
Yes,
here.
Cadaver Disaster. No,
Nice.
you've never been heard by anyone until right
Just
here, right
now.
now. Yes,
Just
sir.
now.
I love it
Yes,
when
sir.
they do that. They
Yeah.
did that. They did that for us too. I
Some
love it when they do
snipers,
that.
yeah. We were
Yep.
the first to play 25th Parallel from Snipers of Battle.
Yep.
And we were actually the first to do play Snipers version of Another Body.
Yes, that's actually still not released. That was
Yeah.
a one-shot, one-and-done here.
Killer
you know,
fucking
that's gonna
version
it's gonna
too,
be
man.
on our EP when it comes out,
Awesome.
and which is coming out very soon, by the way.
Awesome.
Very
Killer,
soon, like the next
killer
month or two.
version of that song.
But nobody, y'all have heard it one time. If you, what episode was that on? Because we can tell people to go back and look for it. Right. Yeah.
Look it up.
Sorry.
That one.
Might have been.
I'll look it up and I'll share a
It
link on
might
Facebook
have
or
been the Nightmares episode. It was either the Ghost episode that I did. No. Was it when I was here with Bongwood? The first one that I did with.
It was the.
It was the night they cried. Everybody cried.
Yeah. It's
No,
the
that
night
wasn't Another Body Murdered. That was.
Oh,
25th
no,
Parallel.
you're right. No. You know what? When we played Another Body Murdered, it was a Jeremy episode. Jeremy was here. Jeremy Dyer was in the studio with us that night.
Was he?
When we played that, I believe.
Why did I think I was in there? I don't know.
Yeah, I think that was a
we'll
Jeremy.
find
I
out.
think that was
Yeah.
a Jeremy.
I think
visit.
you might be
If
right.
I'm pretty sure.
I think you might be right now that I think about that.
I'll dig it out of my anus and put it on
Yeah.
Facebook as I do
I
most
was
things.
dig it out of the ahole.
My a-hole. Dig it out of my fucking cryptid a-hole.
How
If
long
I did it,
ago?
it's cryptid, right? You know?
Was it a while ago?
I'm the
It
crypt,
was,
so-
yeah. It was.
Yeah, it was a little bit ago. Probably in the. Maybe
I-
that one.
back in
Yeah.
September?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
You think it was our September episode?
September, I think we played Another Body Murdered on motherfucking the Metal-O-Mania
September
show.
6th, if that's it.
I think
don't
it's
know.
9/6/17 over there.
Jeremy was definitely on that show, so September
cool.
6th.
Cool. Check it out.
We will. Yeah. If
We will see.
Why don't you guys go watch it, find out, and let us know?
I'm telling you.
Get back to us on
If you enjoy the show at all, there really are some really great ones in our archives.
Yes,
you
they
know,
really are.
we've put
They
up some.
really are.
We've put some shows now. Sometimes we just phone it in and fuck it, but sometimes we put a lot of work into it, and those ones are worth checking out. The rest of them, fuck them.
Even the ones you don't
But,
put a lot of work into that are just like off the cuff. You know, I mean, come on. There's, you know.
I'm pretty proud of those, to be honest.
Yeah.
Funny motherfuckers.
Yes, I mean, when you're just, you know, when
You
you
mean me, all right.
when you naturally got it, you know, what's gonna happen?
Yeah, right. Good things are gonna happen. You know, I'm the fucking crypt. The show is cryptid every week.
And
I don't know why I'm talking like this.
I don't know. I was gonna say I don't know where that came
I
from.
don't know what fucking happened.
Suddenly in the Godfathers.
You fucking capiche.
Or good fellas.
You're gonna watch the archives. Yeah, fuck. Or you'll sleep with the fishes. Anyway. Anywho.
Yeah, moving on.
Do you guys want to talk about anything cool?
Are there any other cryptic beasts that
Fuck
you
that.
need to
Yeah,
mention?
where were we? Yeah,
you know, I went through most of the ones I gave a fuck about
We went
as
through
far
all
as
the ones that have been, at least the ones that we had on the list that have been
Right.
proven to be true.
And y'all talked about the super moon, blue moon thing, right?
Yep.
Yep.
That we got the super amazing.
We gave some love to the
blue blood moon.
Yeah, right. We gave some love to the Facebook folks, Sarah Meacham and John Rambo.
Yep.
John Rambo.
Great job.
John, yes.
Yeah.
Does that name sound familiar?
Yeah, right. His name was John too, right? John
Yeah,
Rambo.
John J. Rambo. That is exactly was
John,
his name. In the
hit
movie.
me up and let me know if you are named after the John Rambo in the movie, sir.
The movie character.
Is the Sylvester Stallone character inspiration for your name? All right, I got something off topic that I'll bring up since we've covered some of the cryptid stuff.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Go.
I've been talking a lot on Facebook with people about metal music, obviously, what we do. But the fact that there's so many metal, what you might call elitists out there.
Okay.
And it's got me to do a lot of thinking about that whole thing, the elite. For what brings it, a great example is Aubrey Lozano posted a poll a thing on the Facebook group earlier this week.
Right.
And it was if you had $100 and you could make a concert happen out of these bands.
Yeah, that was cool.
Well, most of them were new metal, NU metal, you know, which I like some of. I like Nonpoint. I like Slipknot. I like several of the bands that were on there. But a lot of the metal fans I noticed responded with, "Fuck that! I'll save the $100, buy some beer. Fuck all these new metal.
Right. Yeah.
Fuck all these new metal bands and blah 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 blah." And,
Those
you
are all
know,
the people who don't click like on the good stuff.
Yeah.
and right on. And it did get me thinking, like, they have this elitist approach, and I'm guilty of it on certain things. We're all walking contradictions. Never forget that.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
we're all
Absolutely.
We're all walking contradictions. We're all going to say something today and contradict the fuck out of it tomorrow. It's who we are. We're human beings.
Yeah.
But it got me thinking. These so-called elitists.
Yeah.
Aren't you taking away fun from your own life at that point, man?
Well, how would you describe an
closing
elitist?
windows
What would you describe as an elitist? What would you say?
If you won't even entertain the idea of listening to a song based on the so-called genre it's under.
Yeah.
Like a lot of these guys, like new metal,
or you're just a
fuck that.
negative Nancy about things like that.
So cynical. And
yeah.
Yeah, see, I don't understand people coming in and crashing the party and saying, this shit sucks and everything.
This shit's
Like,
if you don't like it, keep moving, right?
That's why there's some for everything.
I've started lecturing people about that kind of stuff in the comment sections on Facebook lately.
think
I'm like,
that's a good
why are you
practice.
even saying anything? You can
Right.
keep scrolling.
Well, sadly,
you don't
they're
have to
more
stop and
quick.
shit on us.
Right, yeah.
They're more quick to stop and shit on you than they are to compliment.
I was going to say.
Than they are to say something
I'm
good
calling
about
you out
something
right
they
now.
like.
You're the people who aren't liking the stuff you do like. You're not
Right.
clicking the like button if you
Right.
do like the song,
Right.
or making a comment on
And
it
then
if you
running
do
your
like.
mouth when you don't like it.
Yeah.
You're a cynical
No,
dick.
No, don't do that.
Let's call you what you are. You are
Right.
you're not a metal elitist. You're not some kind of cool metal guy.
Right.
You're a cynical dickhead. Is what
If you-
right?
If you,
You're an ahula.
You're an ahula.
ahula.
If you want to earn the right to say something negative, you need to balance it with
Right.
saying something positive on
Right.
another post.
Right.
If you
There you go.
absolutely have
Right.
to,
All right, I'll
we'll
give you
give you
that.
that.
I'll
We'll
give you
give you.
that.
There's
All right.
there's the compromise. You can
Right.
shit on this post if you love on this post.
Right.
If you can't love on this post, shut your mouth.
Or
Well,
if-
dude,
if
all
you-
love,
yeah,
but
if
shut
you're
your
gonna
mouth.
Shit on something, explain why.
Right.
And you give a reason for it and express that it's your opinion, and it's okay to,
Respectfully.
something.
Yeah.
Well, I think it ties into who we are as people nowadays.
We love
Whether
to
it be
gripe.
political, whether it be musical, no matter what it is, in the social media age, man.
Yeah.
You know what we are? We are now people who have been trained by movies all our life. All our life, the movie director throws in that little goofy scene that gives you the background. The main guy in the story, she has a boyfriend. They give you that one scene, though, where the boyfriend's a dick. He says something shitty. The whole guy's entire existence has been summed up in this 2-second shot of him saying, bitch, where's the scissors? And now he is an asshole piece of shit. Just fuck him.
Yep.
If she cheats on him with this guy, fucking A, do it. You know? And it's who we are as people now.
Yeah.
That's all we can absorb. That's all we can digest.
Yeah, we live in a world of fiction. I mean,
Right,
that's how
it's
we
a
learn.
world
what,
of fiction.
I think you're
Commercials,
absolutely right
everything.
when you use the word trained, because I think that's
We are
exactly
trained,
right.
yes.
When you're raised watching more movies than you are actually having friends.
Right?
or going and doing
that's,
things.
That's me then.
And
shit.
I'm not criticizing. That was me. My childhood
too,
was
shit.
devoid of friends. My parents lived out in the woods. We had no neighbors. I had no siblings. My dad took us away to North Carolina every single solitary weekend all summer long. I am not joking. So I grew
That's
up
tough
with
on a social.
I grew up with more TV than I did with friends, and I'm still having to undo that damage today. And I'm
Yeah,
telling you
right
right now,
on.
if you spent that much time watching TV as a child, you are one of the
It's
people who's
brain
doing
damage,
this.
Yeah,
man.
you're damaged.
You know?
It's
Yeah.
brain damage.
Absolutely.
You have been trained to not dig deeper. Shout out to Final Drive. But you have to dig deeper. That's what I want to start a movement almost, like we got to look deeper. A person is more than the 2 seconds you gave them before you size them up. I promise you they are.
Yep.
And
You
in
know?
real life, you don't have a soundtrack going with you that's ominous, like
Right.
music playing and all the special effects and everything.
That doesn't stop you from filling in your own blanks, though.
Right.
That doesn't stop you from, we all gone down the street and someone trips and that person's a, klutz dipshit.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Right. Yeah.
Might have been the only time they've ever tripped in 7 years, but they're a klutzy dipshit now.
Or they had a
That's
bad
the way our
day
brain
one
works.
time. They had a bad day one time, and said
He's an
something,
asshole.
a little nasty too.
Right,
Whatever.
right.
Yeah.
That person's
Yeah,
an
yeah.
asshole. Fuck them forever.
Yeah, and here's the
You
other
know?
thing too that movies have trained us to do. Pay attention to this one, guys, because this is big. It's trained us to find a good guy and a bad guy.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. We're all somebody's good guy, and
Yes,
then also
we're all
somebody's bad guy.
Right
You know,
on.
it's all we're
Right,
all
right.
really a lot more even than you think we are.
Right.
Okay, there's
So
not
true,
bad
man.
guys and good guys, and somebody's gonna win the battle or lose the battle. There's actually a term for that psychological process of always having to find a good guy and a bad guy.
Huh.
I forget what it is, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, psychologists study you people,
Yeah.
and figure out, try to
That
figure out
you're fucked up.
why you're like this.
Well,
So stop doing it.
And they always want the story to wrap up very neatly and nicely.
Right,
but
Yeah, and
always
it doesn't.
Usually violently.
It doesn't.
And clean, and it's happy, and that's not
You know,
reality.
Everybody's so fascinated with serial
Sitcom
killers.
nation, man.
Everybody wants to talk about how serial killers are why do they do this? And everybody wants to pick apart their childhood and
Right,
you know, go back.
right. You want to
and
go
that's
so
true.
deep into that.
Yeah, and that's true. These are
Let
bad
me
guys.
figure out the minutia of a serial. I want to get
Right.
in there and eat it up.
Well, everybody's like that, okay? You've got
Right.
all these serial killers you've done all this research on to find out how they were abused as kids and what's caused them to be like this. When they were born, they were innocent, okay?
Well,
you know, and so, you know, they had a life that led them up to a certain point.
Well,
all of us have had lives that have led us up to a
Right.
certain point. Every single solitary
Every
one of us.
individual is more than a mile deep. I promise you they are.
Right.
The shit you see on the surface is just the shit you see on the surface.
Didn't you have a serial killer show? And I think you gave some
We did.
advice on that about
We
how
did.
to not be a serial killer. And
Yeah.
your first advice, do you remember this?
Don't
The
fuck
first-
your children.
Don't fuck your kids.
Yes. Yep.
Start by not fucking your
Start
kids.
by not fucking your
Rule
kids.
number one.
It's true, man. It's true.
Right.
That,
That-
fuck
that-
your kids, they're gonna be fucked up, man.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The sad part is that you have to tell people
I was
that.
gonna say that.
Yeah,
yeah,
you know.
Glad you
Why
told
do
me
I
that.
have to get out here on a
Well,
metal show
I'll
and
tell
tell
you
you
what.
not to fuck your kids?
Well, when
You
I
need a
saw that,
microphone.
I sat there. When I saw you say that, I sat there and was like, "Fuck, 18 years too late to get that advice."
Ah, shit, man, where the hell were you?
Wow.
You know?
I missed that in Parenting 101.
We joke
Damn
about this.
it.
However, I was talking to somebody, this was about 10 years ago, but I was talking to somebody who apparently at their church, dead serious, the pastor was preaching about something. I forget what he was even preaching about, but in the middle of it, he stopped and he looked at the whole congregation and he said, in the middle of whatever he was talking about, I don't even remember what it was, he said, and parents, stop having sex with your children. He was dead serious.
Wow.
Congregation was
The world
dead
is broken, you
silent.
guys. The world is broken.
I mean,
Oh, man.
you know.
Boy,
The
can you imagine? I would have liked to
world
have been
is
in church
broken.
that day and seen that. That would have been pretty awesome.
Oh,
Is
my
it any
goodness.
wonder I look forward to coming in here and talk about Bigfoot and playing metal sometimes, man?
You know?
What the fuck?
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think
You
Bigfoot would be a
fucking
headbanger
people.
for sure. Don't you
Yeah.
think?
Oh,
Headbanger
Bigfoot
of
is,
the
would
crypto.
definitely be a metalhead.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I think
But
so.
anyway, if you hate everything, the point we're making, you're a dick.
Yeah,
Exactly.
So this all comes
Find
back
what
to
you
just
like.
being negative. Stop being
Yeah.
so negative.
Yeah.
You know,
Find
there's
what
a
you
lot of
like.
negativity in the world already.
Yeah.
Don't add to it.
Right.
Say something nice.
Don't spray your jism on my face hole.
You know?
You know?
Yeah.
What the fuck? All right, so let's play some genocide.
Right.
Wow.
Now I'm angry, so let's play something
Right,
fucking
yes,
angry, man.
let's get some metal in here.
Rock it.
That's what metal is for, right?
Dude, I have actually been in contact with these dudes, man. Genocide Pact, they're from Washington, D.C.
Nice.
The fucking album comes out on February 2nd, I believe. We double check that for me, Genocide Pact. It's called Order of Torment. These dudes are out of our own backyard, man. Washington, D.C. Dude, Washington, D.C.'s penchant for fucking death metal stays strong, friend. Our kung fu stays strong.
We got that
Because,
shit.
man, I'm telling you, dude, the scene is killing it right now, man. The fucking Criminal Elements getting ready to come out with something new, man. Vincent and Malik. Oh, my God, dude.
Billy.
Dude, Malik, that dude is unreal.
Right.
He let me listen to some of the stuff they've been working on. That dude is silly.
Nice.
Silly.
Oh, well, it may have just come out on
When's
the
it coming?
January
Okay.
26th.
All right.
So,
Oh, I thought it was February something, so I wonder if they moved it up.
Ooh, very nice.
Well, shit.
Gotta
Order
get
of
on it,
Torment
get it
is
on that
out,
list.
I guess, if you get it in its digital copy, I believe.
Oh, I guess that's the deal. Okay.
That's Genocide Pact?
Yeah, oh, man. And this is a band, you guys have heard us talk about it before. This is the band, our daughter took our Metal-O-Mania truck to college one day in Annapolis. And while she was there, I guess somebody saw the metal truck with all the metal stuff on it and wrote a note on the left it on the windshield
that
and
them?
said,
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
if you haven't checked out Genocide Pact, check them out. And actually, at that point, that was way back when we first started doing the show. We checked out their last album and totally dug it. And we played some shit off of it. But this is brand new, man. Brand new. So Genocide Pact is back on the scene. They fucking got lots of shows coming up, some of them local to us. So go out there and check them out. Buy your merch from them. And pick up your copy of Order of Torment, man. February 2nd is the actual release date. So
Nice.
For the CD.
for the CD.
In
yeah.
digital.
That's cool. They did that to the van, though. Went right up there.
right.
And had,
Just left it-
you know,
left
Yeah,
it
that was
out.
cool,
Yeah.
man. Very,
Very
cool.
cool.
And dude, I'm telling you, well, I'll tell you what. I'll shut the fuck up. Make up your own minds. Genocide Pact, Structural Dissolution. Brand new motherfucker. You don't want to jerk off while looking at the moon only, though. I mean, that's crazy.
Why not?
Well, I do, especially tonight.
Come on, look at that. It's huge.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah. It's a supermoon. What else are you going to do with it?
It's a super moon.
What it's there for?
If you get off on the moon being spectacular, tonight is the night to do it, for sure.
Are we going to get off to the moon being spectacular?
we are
Probably.
not going to judge you for it tonight.
Sweet.
Absolutely not going to judge you for it tonight.
Awesome. I like it. You go at that ass like a werewolf would. How's about
Go
that?
ahead and do the werewolf call.
Yeah, do the werewolf. Where's your werewolf call?
Who? Mine?
Yeah, do you got a werewolf call? Break it out.
No, I'm not doing it.
Oh,
that was pretty good.
That was actually
What do you
That
think?
was pretty good.
No, not bad at all. Yeah.
Definitely
I
not
got
following
some.
that, no,
I got some American Werewolf in London in me.
Yeah. Now, did
Yeah.
you practice that, or you just bust that out?
No, I
right
just
now?
busted that out actually.
Really? No
Yeah,
problem.
That was cool. That was awesome.
I'm available for your recording needs. Okay. No.
One take. They call it one take.
Well, they
Crypt.
call me.
Yeah, right.
It's all one take over there. That's fucking funny. Well, you know what, man? I got to tell you, I've had a blast with you guys tonight, man.
Absolutely.
I have had a
lot of
fucking
fun.
It's been a good night. Very good night.
awesome to have you both here with us. I really hope that I can get you back here often.
Thank you.
Very,
Thanks for
very
having us.
often.
Awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Yep.
All right, I got out of the way for the knuckles, but she was just hitting me
Oh.
instead. So she just punched me in the side of the fucking head instead. Bam, motherfucker. My apologies to our friend James Chang and Sect. I promise we'll play the song next week. We did end up having to push a little bit backwards because I've enjoyed talking with you guys all night.
Yeah, we
man.
talked a
Good
lot.
time.
Time has flown by.
Yeah, we're way over on time, as we generally are. But I've had a blast, man. It's been a good time.
Yeah, man.
It's been a good
Great.
time.
Thanks.
Absolutely.
We've enjoyed talking cryptozoology with you guys tonight, man. And me and Layla are already trying to get the brain spinning on what we're going to get her in here to talk about next time with us.
Excellent. We didn't really solve any crypto tonight, though. I don't think, did we?
No.
Solving
Loch
isn't
Ness
really what
was
I
pretty,
do.
Pretty definitive.
Yeah, well, sorry. I gotta shut the
was?
door on that one.
What
Loch
was?
Ness.
Loch Ness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah,
Yeah, we
that's what I do.
chopped a few down. We
Yeah.
did do that. And
I really still feel like the
And we came
one
up
that was like the snake, fish, dog thing basically was describing an otter.
Yeah. Well, we came up with a band name or an album
Oh,
name.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Where was?
Do you remember what it was?
Groot slang.
Groot slang, right? Yeah.
Groot slang.
Right.
Which basically
Ballwood, hit
means-
me up, man. Let me know.
Great snake, right?
Yeah.
Which
yeah.
I mean, is there a better name than that?
right,
Great
yeah.
snake.
Dude.
You know.
That's what I call it.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say that's
I'm
like
a
your
snake and I'm
nickname,
great.
right?
What else do you want?
That's right.
What, super snake?
Groot slang. Yeah. It means great snake. That's right. Groot slang.
Groot slang. And Megan, we need you to do the artwork. For that.
Yeah, fuck yeah. From now on, honey, I will expect you to refer to Mr. Happy as Groot slang.
Groot slang. Groot slang and his neighbor Ahul.
Ahul. And yeah. Let me suck your Groot slang and tickle your Ahul. What do they call that? They call that a Groot slang now. They call that a crypt.
Fucking awesome.
They call that a crypt did it. Well, on that note, I guess we're going to get the fuck out of here
Wrap
tonight,
it
you guys,
up.
man. Wrap it up.
Yeah.
All right. We'll be here next week.
We will indeed. We will indeed. We're going to be here next week. Despite Skully wanting to take off through the Olympics, we're not doing that. We're going to
Well,
hang out and
next
do
week
the medal.
we're clear. It doesn't start until the day after. It starts on a Thursday. So
Oh,
So the
well,
following week
we'll
is going to be in
still-
discussion.
We'll still be here.
we'll be here next
doing
week.
metal.
It's
We'll be here
Layla's
doing
right,
metal.
though.
No, we're not. We're not skipping episodes. We'll be here. We'll be here doing the show. They need us.
It's
They
also
need us.
Valentine's
Dude, my
Day.
folder, remember earlier when I was
Well,
discussing the folder
it
that's
will-
growing full of music? It
Yeah.
ain't going to
Right,
get no
right.
shorter about taking weeks off.
No,
Right.
it's gonna make
So
it
you don't have
worse.
plans to take me out for Valentine's Day either, then?
No, that's on the
That's on a
Valentine's Day
Wednesday.
is on a Wednesday.
It's on
We
a
will be
Wednesday.
here.
Watching the Olympics.
And that can be all over there. We can be here watching the Olympics over here. I will squeeze your butt under the table and tell you I love you while we play metal fucking music for our Metal-O-Maniacs out
There you
there.
go. That's
more
our
could you want for
Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day?
Boom.
That's the
How are you
perfect
guys spending your
Valentine's
Valentine's Day?
With
Well,
us.
not like that. Not like that.
Right.
Right.
How do you tell the loved ones
I'm gonna
that you love them?
I'm gonna pull out a fucking Tootsie Roll on ya.
Oh no, that sounded gross.
Whatever it is I think I see becomes a Tootsie Roll to me. Anyway, enough about anal
I don't
sex.
know. Yeah, let's.
Enough about
Yeah.
anal sex. Let's close the show. Thank you very much, Kenny, Finger of Doom, for being here tonight.
buddy. Thank
you
you.
very much, Layla.
Always.
Snipers of Babel.
Always.
Go to both of those pages, the Snipers of Babel and the Finger of Doom. Like them, love them.
Please.
Make very grotesque sexual innuendo comments to them. They can handle
Bring
it.
it.
They've been here doing this show. So
It's
they got
it is as of right now solicited.
Yeah, it's open for business. on
Right.
that front.
Go to Skully. I know. Again, we got the Vivisector interview coming up. We'll be playing that. I'll give you more details on that as we head that direction. But mark April 13th on your calendars. Don't forget, we're going to have a Metal-O-Mania concert in Baltimore at the Depot.
April 13th is a Friday the 13th.
Friday the
13th. Well, y'all will both be there, correct?
I'm planning on it.
Yeah, I expect to be, yeah.
Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome.
Very awesome. So, many, many great things to look forward to, again, and the expansion of the Metal-O-Mania Network. So,
Fuck yeah.
keep hanging out with us. Hang on Skully's every word.
Look for updates.
Dig it. All right, so what we're going to do is close the show tonight with some death metal out of Champaign, Illinois.
So sophisticated.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Sophisticated death.
Champaign, speaking of death metal.
I feel like death metal is a level of sophistication.
Damn right, man. A beautiful death. A beautiful death. I always refer to that, man. It strikes to me certain songs hit me like that. Although I don't know that the Buried with the Mortician is a beautiful death. But certain death songs that are so, almost operatic and fucking badass.
Mm-hmm.
It always makes me think of the Spartan term, for a beautiful death. In Italian, obviously. But anyway.
Back to the Italian.
Back to the fucking Italian. Eh?
Right.
A beautiful fucking death over there. But anyway. Let's close on Bury the Mortician. Bury the Mortician has just put out a fucking EP. It's a 2018 EP. It's got some fucked up shit on it. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I struggled on what songs to play because they're all fucked up as hell.
I'm reading the names over here.
Yeah, dude.
So much for sophistication.
Yeah, sophistication left.
I'm sure it sounds sophisticated, but the names are
right. Well, their EP that they put out in 2015 was called Forced Out Fetus, and they put out a single called Scream Come Die.
Coming out swinging.
Still feeling sophisticated. But they got a brand new EP and it's called Split in Half. Again, it's Bury the Mortician. I almost played Time Travel Pedophile tonight for you.
Oh.
But instead I chose to go with Anal Chainsaw. And you're going to thank me later, man. It really is good, though. You're going to dig it. Brutal metal. Brutal death. You're going to dig it. The great way
a theme
that
with
we
all
like
these
to...
titles.
Right? Anything anal, though, it gets the preference around here.
Yeah.
So
right.
We're going to play it for you.
Can't lose.
Even if it's a chainsaw. That's
Even if it's a fucking chainsaw.
That's hard.
What was that old 80s, slang term? Fuck me like a chainsaw or whatever. What movie made that big? Heathers.
Oh.
Do you remember the movie Heathers?
Was it from Heathers?
Wasn't it? Shannon Doherty and
yeah, I saw it like twice.
Winona
so
Ryder
really
when she was younger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck me with a chainsaw. Well, Bury the Mortician is about to fuck you with a chainsaw to close out Metal-O-Mania tonight.
Anally.
Wow. Go check out the moon.
Yeah. Go look at the moon. It's really big and awesome. And
check out the moon. Anally. And keep following our page. Much love, Aubrey, and all of the Metal-O-Mania group people. Keep hanging out, and we will be back next week to do it again. Thank you guys for hanging out with us, all of you.
Absolutely right.
All of you in here and all of you out there, much love.
This is Vince Matthews from Criminal Element, and you're listening to Metal-O-Mania.
This is Christos. This is Peter. This is Alvar. And this is Olof. We are Fidian from Stockholm, Sweden, and you're listening to Metal-O-Mania with the Crypt.
This just in. Scientists have discovered that once you've been infected by Metal-O-Mania, there is no cure. Contact Skully right away for more and more metal to feed the dragon.
This is the Crypt. I got my headphones on and my fingers in your steak maker. Let's party. Metal-O-Mania.
We now return to grainy footage of a potential Bigfoot that will surely spark a lively debate in your household.
I'm not a fag. I'm a werewolf.
Werewolves are people, just like anyone else.
Sounds like a freak of nature to me.
Has anyone here seen the show Finding Bigfoot by chance? Standard show starts out, there's some idiot who lives out in the woods somewhere, and one day he hears a twig snap. And he's just like, yep, must be Bigfoot. So he calls up the Bigfoot Brigade, or whatever the hell they call themselves, and tells them about the twig snapping. And then right away, just every time, they're just like, oh, that is classic Squatch behavior.
We know your legends
Give me a keg of beer.
That's all, bitches.
This is the Crypt from Metal-O-Mania. Make sure you catch previously aired episodes on demand at www.radiovps.com. Have a very metal day.
Metal-O-Mania on Radio VPS.
You're listening to the best Radio VPS.